Hello, my friends, and welcome back to We Watch Movie. I am Mike.
I'm Jay.
And we together. Hey, by the way, don't curse. Don't curse for a minute. You know what I realized the last couple streams?
What?
You open up, I think like 2 streams ago, you said something about BFing.
Yeah.
Put that together. And then another one, I said
Boyfriend?
something about effing an M or
Oh.
being my L on some T's. And immediately it was like limited ads. So I think the trick is like you got to let 30 seconds go before you say something like,
well,
Salamander Sally.
Sugar. Oh, sugar. Oh, sugar. It's so awesome to see you, wonderful peoples.
Damn straight.
It is like really hard. Like it's just I just don't want to talk.
We missed a super chat. I think 2. I'm gonna try to find the other one last time. So I'll start with those real quick. But Emil, E-M-I-L. It's a dope name. I like it. I just don't know how to say it right. I met a guy named
Emilio.
Emilio.
Emil.
I met a guy named Mile, by the way. Nice guy. It says, have to renovate our new house in a month. It's going to be bang energy, sawdust, and wham ad-free 24/7, baby. Take my YouTube premium.
I like it. It sounds like a disastrous place if we're on there 24 hours and go, oh my God, you're going to get run out before you even move in.
It's way to look at that positive though. Like instead of being like, man, I have to renovate my house. We're gonna have to sleep in a camper. It's like, man, it's gonna be sawdust and energy. I love that positive outlook on life.
Come on, let's fucking rage.
Oh, you did it.
No, it said it's minute 45 now.
Yeah, it's a good test. It's a good test.
Or like swim with the seagulls or whatever you said, Mr. Schneasel.
Oh shit. Hey guys, I'm fucking excited about the stream, man. I'm really excited about the stream because there's just so much to talk about. And when we did our spoiler review for Halloween Ends, we did our best, but there was just so much in that movie. I felt like when I edited it and put it up, I was like, man, we missed like tons of shit. But the people won't let us forget. The people will tell us.
Listen, I think this is the best Halloween movie I've ever seen in my life. And I'm just going to go on record. You hear the sarcasm dripping from my tongue? Good, because I'm laying it on pretty thick.
Oh, dude. Okay, no, that's not that one. I'm trying to. Okay, I can't see the other one here, so maybe it was just that one. But yeah, man. I like wieners and stuff. But
I know. I've seen it.
You know, one thing I'll say before we get the ball rolling on this Halloween Ends discussion is I respect the shit out of whatever your opinion is. Jay does as well, obviously. If you thought the movie was a big flaming turd, that's okay. If you thought the movie is the greatest Halloween movie alive, that's okay too. The last thing anybody should do in this world that we live in, talking about movies, we talk about practice, is tell somebody that they're not a real fan because of their opinion. That's the most cringeworthy thing I think I can hear. You're not a real fan if you liked or didn't like this. I mean, shut the fuck up.
Mike, what was your score?
7.5.
You're not a real fan. This piece of shit.
Suck my white ass, boy.
God, you piece of shit. Just go home. That's your home.
Dude, the comments over this week have been so fun. Already 452 people in here, by the way.
Hey, all right.
Welcome, friends. Right. Dude, the comments have been so ridiculous. One guy, like the accusations, and from people who've been around for a long time, there was one that was like, stop letting Hollywood blind you guys. Your bigness has gotten to you. I'm like, bitch, I ain't ever even been to California. We ain't shit. we Blumhouse is not paying us to say shit. And if you've seen us talk about the movie, you know we're not seated with rose-colored glasses.
Sir or madam or whoever said that in the comments, there is no way in hell that I would pass up an opportunity to take money from Hollywood and say whatever the fuck they wanted me to say if that opportunity presented itself. But guess what? Ain't nobody knocking on the door because they fucking hate us. They hate us because they ain't us. But no, it's probably because we were just a really bad investment. And we're going to say the truth. So it's not going to work. So no, trust me, I am not incorruptible. But at this point, there's no way there's money's been exchanged or like, hey, if you got to say this right, we'll give you a couple of free access tickets to the next big Blumhouse movie. Suck it, asshole.
It's ridiculous. And like, for the people who say, well, yeah, but you're friends with certain people and this and that, that's ridiculous too, because even the people who were in the movie and worked on the movie have problems with the movie, like just like any movie that they're in. You know what I mean? Like they're not one to be like, don't say anything bad about the movie because I had this one piece of this gigantic cog in this machine. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? As long as and then there's the other side of people though who are like, I hated the character of Corey, so I'm gonna probably message and death threat Rohan Campbell. Like, you're a piece of dog shit, man. If you got if they came to you and they were like, hey, do you want to be the face of the new Halloween movie? Here's the script, and you read it and you fucking hated it, you'd still be like, guess what? Yes, I will do that because you're an actor and you're working and it's a fucking Halloween movie. I don't care if they made you take a Cleveland steamer on Michael's chest. You take that fucking role too. So don't hate on the fucking.
If anybody, like, if you're threatening actors like death threats though for a movie for real though, that you're like the type of person that at a convention, like they would hold up every Transformer and you'd be able to name it right away. But when they showed you some boobies or vagina, you'd be like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
I'd be impressed if someone knew all the names of the.
There are people out there.
Show my
there are people out there. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just using as an example.
Randall,
like, fucking virgin motherfucker. Jesus Christ.
Scott Jean, thanks, buddy. First super chat of the night says, first question I got is why is Michael dragging people into the sewer? And that
so they can watch and take a shit. I don't know. That's a good question. Now I have questions about that myself. I'd only assumed it was because he was trying to he kills a little bit, like he's like a junkie or something. Like he kills a little bit, a little bump here, a little injection here to kind of keep the old ticker going. And that's, he gains his power by killing them, but it doesn't make any sense why he just drag. And then I was like, is he eating them? I was like, he only eats dog, lady. Like, so I'm not sure. Yeah, that was kind of weird. I'm not sure why he just drags them in there.
Well, and also, if you notice, when Corey's outside of the tunnel, by the way, there's a gas station and a McDonald's right there. So, like, Michael picked his hiding spot perfectly. A, nobody found his ass. And B, and that's something they could have touched on, too. They could have been like, we've been searching. There was almost nothing said in the memoir. How do you say it? Memoir? I always say memoir, but everybody
memoir?
Me wrong. Memoir?
What are you talking about?
Memoir.
You sound like you're stroking, dude. I have no idea what you're trying to say.
Memoir. When you write a book about your life.
A memoir. Not memoir. What the fuck are you, Rich? Hey, in my memoir. In memoir, I would write down all of the recipes. That's more Italian. No.
Hey, it's me, Memori.
Memoir.
I think a line or two added about like the search for Michael or like how the town feels about him being missing. It feels like nobody questioned the fact that he was just gone after all this shit, but except for maybe the radio DJ. But yeah, I mean, if you're at first when I saw that and he like drags him in all creepily, I was like, that seems a little dumb. But that's one of the things, if you think about it, though, if you're Michael Myers and that happens and you're just sitting in a cave and you're weak as shit and you want to kill, but you're tired, dog, and like this body just falls right in front of your hole, you'd be like Keanu Reeves in Knock Knock. You'd be like, free pizza. Nobody says no to free pizza. I feel like that's why that happened. But it is confusing because the hobo guy mentioned people go in there and they don't come out. How'd you get out? I'm Michael Myers.
Because Michael liked me. You really liked me.
I think maybe that's how Michael has sustained. If his killing is transcending or keeping him alive, that's very vague. But like in that case, eventually people have got to go in that fucking tunnel, right? Some kids playing around, Megan Baxter.
I mean, I guess if you're in the town of Derry and Pennywise is down there and everybody floats. I don't know a lot of. I do know a lot. I don't know a lot of kids that would be like, "Hey, you want to go play in a shithole? Literally, let's go."
Hey, we went some weird places as kids, man.
I know, like, but I do. Even we weren't dumb enough to be like, "Hey, that smells like literally fucking sweaty ass and like feet. Let's go in there."
Well, the truth is the real scandal here is that nobody asked any questions. The government knew Michael was hiding in that thing, but he was helping control the homeless population in Haddonfield, so they turned a blind eye.
I see. Yeah, and you know what? Like the housing market right now is not solid. Michael needed a place to stay.
Yeah, I honestly,
I'm not living in a sewer my fucking self.
At these rates, I would probably go sleep in that sewer with Michael Myers too.
Motherfucker act like Splinter down there. Splinter.
We're almost we're at 6:50 right now. You guys, fuck yeah! Thanks for showing up tonight. Foxhound, thanks, buddy. Really appreciate that. I like is that Metal Gear Solid? I think
yes,
in the picture there, and that's what's going on. Call me Snake. God, it's been so long since I caught a live stream. Been going through the worst period of my life, and watching your all's channel helps more than I could ever express. You guys deserve all the success. Happy to be here. Hey,
man. Thank you, Foxhound. Now that's the positivity that I like to see around the crack. I mean, around this area. That's so stupid. Yeah,
get
man,
inside of that thing.
Thanks, man. That's really sweet of you. That's really nice. And you know what? It's gonna get better. Don't you worry. Don't you worry your bunions. It's gonna get okay.
It's always darkest before the dawn, my friend, and we've all been there. It's you know what you're doing though. You're being proactive and saying, I'm not just gonna sit here in my own filth and shit my pants and
like
and
Michael
cry
in the
about it,
sewer.
or what I do on Saturday nights after football. But you're going out and you're finding something that puts a smile on your face. I don't know why it's us, but if that's part of what it is, then you're doing yourself service. Keep doing it, man. Be good to yourself.
For sure.
Aaron Roman.
Hey, man, I love the profile picture because that's how I felt on the inside with how they treated Michael at the end. I was like, well, you just burned my fucking face off.
Blake Corley, thanks, buddy. Says, love you guys. Would love to know what Luke is thought of. In Michael. I think he's trying to say what Loomis thought of Michael and Halloween Ends. That's my best guess. That's what we're going with here.
There's no Lucas.
Yeah, what look?
No, I know. I'm kidding. I know. I know. I'm just fucking. Yeah, you know, look, he's a piece of shit. He smells like shit. He lives in shit. I feel like it matches up. And he's a dirty old cripple living in a goddamn sewer feeding off the homeless. I feel like he's in the right spot. And I wish he had just died in that goddamn scummy water. But you know what? It never would have matched his breath. His breath perpetually smells like poop water and pee-pee.
It's probably true, dude. You do not want Michael. I bet when he grabbed Corey by the throat, Corey's like, that's probably what possessed him. It was actually
you know how Michael stayed alive for so long, dude, and he's almost immortal is because his own breath keeps him from dying. Like it brings him out of it. It's like a fucking jolt when he's breathing in his mask. Woo.
Did you hear how he breathed on Corey when he grabbed his face? He was like, oh.
Yeah, that's another.
Corey's like, God damn.
That's another good point. It's like, how did Corey survive that fucking smell when he put it on? Jesus, that'd be like putting on like that would literally like someone's like used jockstrap and pulling the part where they have crustacean without representation on a skid marks and putting it on your face and walking around.
They call me old skid mark face. Sean Tubby 123, thanks, buddy. Says walked out after Corey stabbed himself. Watched the ending later off of Giggle Bush and laughing my ass off. Didn't like it, but the grocery store scene was awkward and cute. You know. To each their own. I mean, I definitely see the problems in the movie, but I definitely don't see it as well. But it is an easier movie to walk out than in others because, like, be like, I got the shit at home. It's on Peacock.
That's true. I mean, I never really wanted to walk out because I was like, I paid money. I'm fucking selfish. I was like, no, man, I ain't doing that. I think there's only one movie there was a couple we walked out of, but one of the worst ones I've ever seen. I don't even remember what it was. It was it was Chris Hemsworth like water movie or some shit. I don't even know what that. I went in and I was like, it was like 30 minutes. I was like, fuck this wailing shit. I don't even know what the fuck is going on. I left, but I was like 6 beers deep and I thought it was going to be, and I was like, this is fucking stupid. I've seen Storm of the Century. It's way better. But yeah, I never walked out, but there were a lot of moments where I just made those look though. And I saw like moments, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh.
Dude, where your headphone strap meets your chin, it looks like you have one of those one of those beards that like you're in Megadeth.
No, I know you've told me that before. I always think it looks like the guy from Anthrax.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, like one of those little like a rat tail on your mouth.
I can never pull it off, but that dude can.
But the grocery store scene, man, I thought that was adorable as shit. Like that whole I like your face thing and all that. I love those too. I don't want to see. They could actually make a comedy, a rom-com about their lives afterwards, and I bet people would watch it. That's how cute they were. Inky the Alien, thank you so much. Good to see your mouth. I don't know why I said mouth.
Yeah, you might have embarrassed.
I worked 11.41, that's specific, hours last week and only earned $108.41.
What the fuck?
And that's before taxes are taken out. Needless to say, I'm pissed and need some goddamn wham up in me. They not doing time and a half on your overtime?
Listen, I've heard of people getting fucked, but it's usually when it's consensual. You just got fucking raped. Holy shit.
I'll put the system on trial.
What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck were you doing?
You must be like working for like
the only way you could do it. Were you picking up bottles and cashing them in?
That makes sense.
Because that's the only way I can figure it out.
Yeah, they gotta pay you that overtime, Inky. Ashley Bell, thanks so much. Says Corey's mom's kiss. Discuss.
I don't like. As soon as I was like, this fucking shit was like people under the stairs meets flowers in the attic meets fucking goddamn your uncle from down the street that says sit on my lap. I don't like it. It was gross,
I
man.
hope you find love.
But by the way, I'm not. I also said that. I think I said that before. I said there are people that kiss their kids on the mouth or whatever. It's just fucking
Tom Brady.
I'm just like when I saw, I was like, oh, allow me to bat myself away. I did not want to see.
Yeah, dude, it was weird as fuck. And you're right. Like, I mean, Tom Brady kisses his kids on the lips, or his dad on the lips, or something like that. There's a little tongue in there, I'm pretty sure. But like, you know, if Tom Brady can do it, I could do it. She's just trying to find the TB12 diet. But no, honestly, that was one of the things I didn't like about the film. That I thought, I didn't like. It's not that I didn't like that storyline, but it was just another thing that was like 2 lines of dialogue could have explained. And I think you can figure out. I'm pretty sure that he's obviously been abused the way his mom treats him because she's kind of crazy. But is he just living with a mom who has supreme mental issues? Or now I'm like, when she just kisses him out of the fucking blue, I'm like, oh, is she touching him? Like, is something weird?
That was weird. I kind of felt like she was more like the mom in It. That was overprotective and like weirdly like coddling her son. He was like, "You gave me goddamn gazebos." When he meant placebos, like that one little skinny that made him feel like he was sick, so she could always take care of him. Like I feel like it was that kind of weird attachment, which is almost like you sexualize your kid in some way. I don't know.
Can someone please fund us, by the way, to make a parody video of cleaning out my closet and just have it be Corey talking about his mom? Because that shit would be fucking hilarious. Yeah. If that guy could be a fucking rapper, he got stories to tell that would make Kim look like a saint. Yeah, no, it was one of those things. Is like, man, two lines of dialogue would have explained this. It wouldn't have made it seem so weird in the movie, and that's why I think certain people had an experience where they laughed at shit or they thought certain shit was jarring in the movie. Lines of dialogue, little stuff here and there. That's one of those scenes. And she also said earlier in the film, she's like, "You've been with that girl, haven't you? I can smell her on you. Let me smell your dick."
No, that's like, okay. Mom, God, go lay down and take a fucking Xanax, you nasty hoe. Jesus, Dad.
The way that she, if you look at this, I put it on Twitter when they zoomed into the dinner table.
Yeah.
When she's eating that fucking spaghetti, you know, she's like, "Don't touch my spaghetti." She's eating that spaghetti, and she has a glass there. And when the camera zooms in, you can see on the glass of milk and spaghetti. By the way, God damn, so
not my cup of tea.
No, but on the glass, if you look closely, it's covered in spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, you know what? Because that bitch was like. That bitch was fucking Pepe the Pig eating that shit. She was, oh God, and then just slurping her fucking milk and be like, "I'm gonna kiss you to bed tonight. Oh, I'm gonna kiss you on the lips." You know, remember
that too?
No, I don't. Oh fuck, I hope not, man.
So you know she left some ragu on his lips.
You know, like also Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey is like, "Why don't you give Granny a little kiss on the lips, just one?" Like, remember when Bill goes to hell? That's
Oh God, yeah, you're right. That was fucking weird, man. Totally weird. Hey, we should do a parody of that scene. Which character do you want to be?
I'm not gonna be either one.
Come on, kiss me.
Like I know it's Kentucky and all, but like the incest thing is just not gonna work. Like I don't even want to pretend to do it.
I think it's supposed to be another window to how fucked up he is, and I get that, but it just seems strange. Atomic number 9, thank you very much. I like your icon. It's nice. Like Scream is asking you to subscribe to their YouTube channel.
Dude, I have a dirty mind. It literally looked like 2 balls and a dick. Like it looks like misshapen kidney balls and a wiener that was going like a carrot wiener.
Maybe the whole Scream franchise is just like a homosexual what do you call it?
Homoerotic messaging. Yeah, you know what? I would feel ink blots like a motherfucker. They'd be like, "This guy's crazy as shit. He's a sex fiend. This guy's like Dahmer, and he's like fucking Bundy mixed into one." Because he was like, "What do you see?" I was like, "Boobies, titties, vagina,
dicks
a weird vagina."
Like, that guy loves dicks.
He's like dicks on his mind all day long.
I like your take on boobies. Do you think it would work to edit kills and ends into one movie, removing all the unneeded stuff and trying to go with the original 2-movie plan? I was kind of thinking about trying myself. It doesn't. I mean, so let's look at how kills ends. It doesn't work because Michael just kills Karen, right? And then it's over with. So it would leave too many open doors, and love is an open door, but this is not one you'd want to step into. So I would. Like if you could edit those movies together, but like leaving that as the end without adding ends on there would just you feel incomplete. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. To be honest, I know I said that I think in the non-spoiler review that we did, and I think I did it in the spoiler as well. While at first in the first initial viewing, it does feel like a trilogy set. The thing about Halloween Ends is so different from the other two that it'd be really hard pressed for me to even like how you would attempt to edit those 2 movies together to make it one movie to make it make sense. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like Halloween Kills or Halloween Ends is so different from the other two. It's almost like its own self-contained universe. at this point. It just feels like, to be honest, that's another thing. I know that they mentioned Karen and that the repercussions of that death, but I felt like there was no like physical thing that connected those movies. Like, I don't know. I just didn't feel there was I don't know. It didn't feel like it flowed together in the correct way from kills to ends. And I think that may have to do where they delayed it and they had to rewrite a lot of things. And then that could have, because I don't know what the original script would have been. I have no idea because of the COVID, of the Kuf coming in and doing what it did. So the Kufafit. That sounds like a fucking a Middle Eastern leader that's about ready to attack. It's like Kofefi. Kofefi is now in control. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you can edit it together and make something cool, man, go ahead. Knock yourself out because that'd be cool to see. But I don't know. I don't think it would work. I don't think it would have made a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Jeff Hill, thanks, buddy, says, when Corey was riding his bike and Allison's fingers were on his face, I thought for a moment it was Michael's fingers and he was riding behind him. Well, I have seen the meme of like Michael holding on to him from the back of the bike. Another hole in the movie, by the way, and I love holes, but not when they are in movies. I like to fuck them. But when he, how did Michael get around everywhere he got, right? Like that is a hole in the movie, and I understand that. But that you can chalk up to any
on a rascal.
Just what I thought you could
mobility.
But like a bunch of people were complaining about how the fuck did Michael get to the house after Corey took his mask? And I'm like, well, I mean, earlier in the film, he was at the house because he stood there and saw he was watching Jamie Lee Curtis, who, by the way, was being creepy shit in that scene because she saw in the window Allison and Corey going upstairs to fuck. And then she just stood there and watched outside of her truck. I'm like, hey, go get some Arby's or something. Let them have their alone time.
Or make sure you like fucking Hakeem Olajuwon, like hook shot some condoms through the window.
Yeah, you don't want that
something.
baby.
Like,
that's not a baby you want. Some people think, by the way, what if Allison's pregnant with Corey's evil baby? That's a crazy thing
I've
too.
seen The Dream Child. I do not want to repeat this.
There is no doubt that there are threads in this movie, by the way, that if they wanted to 23 Skaduya, they could come back and be like, fucking surprise sequel, by the way. The evil caught Lori, like in the original ending we talked about, or Allison has Corey's baby, or like whatever, or Corey's body's gone when we get back. If Blumhouse somehow scoot boot and boogies their way around
boogie
and gets these rights back, there is a chance that I wouldn't be that surprised. I hope that doesn't happen. I'm ready for something new now.
Yeah, I'm not. As far as his fingers and he's right. Dude, listen, if that was Michael's fingers wrapping around his face while they were on a motorcycle, they'd have fucking wrecked and that'd have been the end of the movie. Because you could not imagine the fucking crack smell and Michael sticking it up his nose. Like it would be like a shot of goddamn adrenaline, but not the good kind. Well, dude, I guess there's no good kind of adrenaline, but it would like literally be like someone taking a butthole, like a literal butthole, and shoving it into your nose after someone took a fresh poop and saying, smell it.
But remember, dude, in H2 with the bath scene, that girl, and he goes up behind her and she's like, oh, and she's like sucking on his fingers. Like, how do you know
that is
your
so
boyfriend
nasty,
must pick
dude.
his own butt a lot if you can't tell the difference.
Dude, if that bitch hadn't died when she did, her tongue would have fell out from the disease. By the way, I'm going to tell you this. Well, I was going to tell you this too. Speaking of how he moved around, I also, again, there are like, it's, they didn't explain it, but I was just going to go by what the movie was trying to say. Maybe after he killed, because you noticed that he started moving around a lot, the supernatural speed or the movement came back to him. I don't know. Like he was able to actually leave that sewer.
It's tough though. It's tough because like, why was he so weak in the fight? Why was Lori?
Well, he did get fucked up by those townspeople, and that was a lot of fucking hits. He took a lot of damage.
Yeah. And that's my thing too. Like you can look at it either way. For me, the way I took it, and I'm sure we'll talk about this tonight in detail. But the Corey fight scene, I hated it too. But the whole idea here is that he's weak. He's David Gordon Green. I said on multiple occasions he doesn't feel he's supernatural, which that's another argument. But he is clearly weak. Like that's why Corey was able to go in there and fucking give me your fucking mask.
Well,
and handle him like that.
Well, the only thing I would say he was weak. Like he couldn't take on like Jason or something for sure. But I mean, he could take on. I mean, Corey like he's a little human. I don't know. I don't think he would have been that weak. But it is what it is. It is. Yeah, it is one of those scenes, dude. If I was a producer, I'd be like, you better put that on the fucking. David. I was like, put that shit on the extras on the Blu-ray. We're not putting that shit in the movie. That's a deleted scene, bitch.
Dude, that would have been the best extra of all 5.
I know. I was like, that's a deleted scene. That's the way it works.
That would have been hilarious. So many other ways for him to get that mask, by the way. System Monitor, thanks, my friend, says Jeremy was the next shape. The child that sees things, he hears voices. You remember the mom in the beginning's like he's wet in the bed and all that shit. When he dies, energy goes into Corey. Hence, Myers lets him live. Also, Corey and Laurie both get choked out and have flashbacks. Dark Laurie ending. Corey and Laurie. So Corey and Laurie both get choked and have flashback. What? Oh, damn, dude, that's a fucking holy shit. System Monitor. I didn't think about this the whole time. That awkward moment where Michael grabs her by the throat.
Yeah.
In the movie, holy shit, dude. The movie goes back to all the flashbacks, and it seemed really awkward, didn't it? It's like, why are we doing like a greatest hits collection right now? Why are we doing Rocky driving his car in Rocky 4 after Adrian tells him
that's
he
a
can't
great
win?
scene. No easy way.
Montage, yeah. There's no shortcut home. Like, why are we doing that? Like, dude, holy shit! Because you remember when Michael grabs Corey, his life flashes before his eyes. When he grabbed Laurie.
Yeah.
Was that fucking happening?
I think it could be also poetic the way that they were ending it with Laurie Strode. But I will say, if you're going to, like, again, I said this before, I think they were trying to go with like a psychic vampire or a psychic type of attack. And Michael was, when he choked him, there was some kind of like psychic connection, which again, it's flimsy. It is different, but it is what there's been other like adaptions of Michael Myers where they've tried to do the psychic link, even in the movie Halloween 4 and 5, it was a psychic connection and this evil was so strong and within I feel like it's like that, but I don't know, man. I as far as Jeremy being the next ship, I don't really see that at all. I feel like he was just an asshole kid that fucking got what he well deserved. Okay. Yep. Don't stand outside of a fucking closet space and tease someone and then stand on the third tier, you dumb shit.
The only connection I see to the kid thing is I thought it was weird as fuck that Corey would go back to the house and sleep on the blood spot. Like there was some connection there, but I think that was just
that was his first kill. So it was like a memory thing for him. Maybe it was just like even though it was an accidental kill, it was still his first kill.
They do like to go back to the scene of the crime. And like,
well, I mean, Michael always went back to when he killed his sister and like sits there and jacks off or whatever the fuck he does before Loomis gets there.
I just assumed he just had been listening to the latest AFI record and was feeling super emo, you know, but like, but actually, and that actually ties together to System Monitor because as we talked about in that video, there was an alternate ending or an ending that they were going to shoot that was ixnayed by pretty much everybody, I guess, where at the end of the movie, Laurie tries to strangle Allison and then lets her go. It's like, well, you better leave before I change my fucking mind. And then slams the door and then the movie ends. Maybe that's what they were going with. When they originally filmed that was for that ending. And
I'd have Randy Jackson that shit. I'm like, that's enough for me, dog.
Yeah.
That's a no for me, dog.
Again, it's another problem with the movie. It feels like they filmed. And I think I put this on David Gordon Green. I think that's the correct person to put it on. But I feel like since COVID happened and since the delay, there's been way too much second guessing in this franchise and not enough decisiveness. Pick what you want to do and stick to your goddamn guns. Don't lose interest in Buzz and start playing with Woody all of a sudden. Like, I feel like we got 3 different movies wrapped into one. And again, still liked it, but that's why people are upset. Legends never die says, unpopular opinion, Resurrection is better than Ends. Yep,
I like those Reddit posts. Yeah, you know what? You're not. I actually had a conversation with my brother, and he was kind of saying the same thing. Because he was like, he looked at Resurrection in comparison to Ends, I guess, and he was saying that, well, if Resurrection is a parody in of itself, it's better. But the thing about Resurrection, though, is Resurrection wasn't meant to be like a Freddy's Dead. Freddy's Dead was literally making fun of the pop culture icon that is Freddy Krueger. Resurrection was trying to make a serious movie because it was a continuation of H2O, and it was fucking terrible because they not only make Michael look dumb as shit, and he looks like the lead singer of Sum 41 with that shitty-ass mask, they also fucking have Busta Rhymes kung fu the shit out of him. I say no, sir.
Yeah. And I've seen some people say that too. They're like, there's 2 arguments I've seen. How are you going to be okay with Busta Rhymes beating the shit or punking out Michael in Resurrection? But then be upset, but then not be just as upset about Corey. Yeah. And again, it goes back to the same point before. Michael was weak. Clearly he was weak. They explain as much. They may not have done a great job explaining it for sure, but we knew he was weak. That's why Corey was able to do that. And H8, Michael was full strength. Busta didn't even put a finger on him. He just bitched him out like they were in an NBA basketball game.
Dude, hey. Michael literally looks like that kid from Sum 41, and he just got dumped by Avril Lavigne. Like when he's walking up, dude, I swear to God, that's one of the worst looking masks. When he's walking out of the mental asylum, and he's like, ooh, and he's like, and Michael Myers. That fat guy was talking. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Look, you may. I understand the argument of like it upset me as much as HA did because I was just as disappointed. But as far as movie quality goes, like just straight up movie quality, Ends is and Resurrection are in completely different landscapes. Ends was they went for an arturist view of Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise, and they did their best. Resurrection is a 100% cash grab.
No, yeah.
To get dollars
well,
in
they were
pockets.
using the body cam things like that was popular in the early 2000s, like Fear Factor shit. I mean, they were literally doing like the MTV culture thing inside the Halloween movie, and they were, yeah, dude. There's no that movie is like ham-fisted and corny as fuck. Resurrection, it really is literally corny as fuck. It's
no
cornball city
to me. Jeffrey M says, "I call bathroom break first. I'm already dumping."
Oh shit. Well, then I guess you don't need a bathroom break if you're already dumping.
Yeah, sit in your shit and shut the fuck
just sit on the toilet and shut your mouth.
Jessica Kendall, thank you so much. I like your glasses. Says watch it on Peacock first, then theater the next day. I'm not a huge fan of the movie. I can't talk. I'm not a huge fan of the movie, but I will say the theater experience makes the movie a bit better. Long live Michael Hamburger Meat Myers.
Yeah, maybe there are differences to seeing it on Peacock and then the theater. Look, dude, the movie, like I have a lot of issues with the movie. I gave it a 6.5 because I feel like that's a fair score. I don't think it was the worst thing I've ever seen. I definitely don't think it should have ended the way that it ended. And I definitely don't think that they handled a lot of the material well. But I get what you're saying, though, as far as like maybe if you saw it on a small screen first, you're going to hate it even more. And then when you see it in the theater with a crowd, maybe you'll be like, it's not that bad. I don't know, man. I feel like it's one of those movies that'll come back around in a few years or people will watch it maybe with renewed eyes. I don't know. But yeah, I get what you're saying. And the Michael Hamburger Meat Myers, I mean, who doesn't want to have that ordered at Burger King? Can I get the Michael Hamburger Meat Myers, please?
Yeah, I think that for me, I saw it in the theater. Go lay down. I saw it in the theater on in the HDX thing, and it does make the movie better. I mean, obviously it's going to, and I recommend watching it in the theater. And the sound quality and shit's amazing on it too. But I think that this is one of those movies where it depends on it really depends partly on how you go into it. Being us who have literally combed through every goddamn detail of every little thing that's come out about this movie, I was so better prepared for what was coming at the theater than I feel like a lot of people were, just because, what we do for a fucking living. So I understand how some people came out of their first experience way angrier than they would have been if they had all the knowledge that we knew too. You know what I mean?
You might have been prepared. I felt like goddamn Aaron Taylor Johnson is quick. So he's like, you didn't see that coming.
I tried to prepare you.
I know. Mike was sending me text though, and I was like, stop! I don't want to know anything. Just don't. Just don't. But then, at the end of the movie, it's like Aaron Taylor Johnson comes and slaps you in the face with his dick. He's like, you didn't see that coming? I was like, I did not.
It was a great party. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
No, but yeah, and I'm not talking spoilerish shit either. I did have the movie spoiled. I had Michael's death spoiled.
Yeah, you had
fucking assholes in the comments kept calling him hamburger meat, so I assumed what was going to happen. But just knowing how divisive and strange and weird and the Corey situation, I knew that a lot going in. So my expectation was set in a different pattern, and we've talked about this a million times. Expectations make movies for people; they really just do. So, yeah. I'd say this for anybody, no matter how much you hated it, you may not change your mind on the second viewing. I know a lot of people haven't, but watch it a second time. I've seen it now 5 times, and I still like it just as much as I did.
Mike's going to be doing a new segment for Louder with Crowder, and he's going to set at college campuses. He's like, "Halloween Ends was a great movie, changed my mind."
Pretty much. That's been my life for the past 3 fucking days. System Honor, thanks, buddy. Says, please ask the writer. We're having Paul Brad Logan.
Cool.
We're interviewing him tomorrow night, and then it should be up on Thursday. By the way, tomorrow should be our Halloween Ends commentary, and then on Thursday should be our interview with Halloween Ends writer Paul Brad Logan.
It's going to be great fun.
Oh, I can't wait to talk to him, man. So many fucking questions. Please ask the writer about Myers' mask carving in the cave. Yes. Weirdest part of Ends. Also heard stick figure carving with Laurie is there too. I saw that, but I haven't seen that. I thought somebody was just fucking around. But in that cave, if you guys don't know, there was very clearly right next to where Michael's fucking hiding in the corner. Fuck.
Trying to goddamn Phantom of the Opera hiding. I hope she doesn't see me. If she sees me, I'm fucked.
That's how I lay in the bed when I'm prepared for sex.
Dude, that's how I feel when I wake up and I've slept on the wrong side and my neck's cricked. I'm like, oh, I gotta fucking walk around like this all day.
There's a legit stone, precious stones, rubies. There's a legit stone right there next to Myers, and it's a Myers mask carved into the fucking rock. Like,
yeah,
not explained. I wonder if this is a Halloween.
No, you know what happened
to the stone.
You know what happened?
Hinges.
No, I think what happened. Michael fell in some fucking paint or water, and he tripped, and his face hit it, and it kind of got stuck there. Like he didn't draw that shit. He just was like, oh. Like,
it's not a drawing. It's like literally carved into the thing.
Oh, so I didn't. Well, I didn't even notice that. That's cool, I guess. So Michael had a lot of years down there. I guess he learned how to fucking rock chip.
It's just fucking confusing, man. Dan Heroin Dan says, when did Michael become an evangelist that could cure Corey's vision and need for glasses? Love you guys and hope Scarefest isn't glass.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah. That's true, man. I didn't think about that. He stopped wearing glasses. That motherfucker became Peter Parker after he was bit by the radioactive spider, and he doesn't need glasses anymore. He's like, oh, and he got a fucking six-pack ab. That's true. I didn't notice that. Maybe it was the pure evil that said, woo, touch it, be done. Baptism. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't notice that. Maybe he started wearing contacts. Maybe Michael told him something. He's like, you could wear contacts. You look good at him. You look good at him. Yeah.
I got a guy.
It was a Lens Crafter commercial the entire time.
Yeah, I know it.
It reminds me of Billy Bob. No, not Billy Bob. Bobcat Goldthwait in the Police Academy when he screams and he was like, and he breaks that kid's glasses. He's like, you know, try like contact lenses or something. He's like, you look good in them. I don't know. That's true, Dan. I don't know.
Well, I think the reasoning behind that is because in the previous scripts, David Gordon Green said the other day in an interview that there was different script ideas. One of them concluded with Corey living, by the way, and stepping away from murder, which is so weird. Another one, as we talked about, concluded with the evil being passed on to Laurie. But you notice the guy in the pool hall was talking about that. He's like, when I saw his eyes. And then when Corey like looks down into his car or whatever, and his eyes are very dark. I think that they purposefully darkened his eyes. So I don't know.
The Loomis thing.
They took his
devil's eyes.
Yeah,
devil's
and
eyes.
Lori said the same thing. She's like, when I looked into his eyes, I saw the same look I saw in Michael. So that was either because they were really wanting the audience to notice his thing, or in some weird way, maybe he's like, I'm evil and I don't care about vision.
Well, he'd be the worst killer ever. He'd be stumbling around and fucking not being able to see where he's going. So, God, just put your glasses back on, you asshole.
Oh, we got a fucking bang.
Wow, that's a champion right there.
We got a bag dropper and Jared over here with the fucking nice truck. Dude, thank you so much, man. Seriously,
hey, man, that's awesome.
It says, me and my brother came up with today throughout the whole movie. There are two Michaels killing, one wearing the old mask and another one wearing their original mask. And you do not know who the other killer is until the very end. When Corey dies, Michael around the corner wearing the original mask kills Laurie. Oh, like you mean like, oh yeah, whole new movie. I see what you're saying. So they're both wearing the mask. You don't know which is which. And then one of the Myers dies. And then the one wearing the original mask, which you probably assume would be Corey, is the one that kills Laurie. Corey. Fuck.
But
I see what
you're saying. But Laurie doesn't die.
Well, no, he's saying in a different movie. Like in
a different. I get what you're saying. Okay, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think they were onto something with this team up killing thing, and I thought I was gonna hate it, dude. I really did. I thought the idea of them teaming up, it was something I was scared of. But they were trying to hint it, and then when they did it, I was like, I like this. But Corey, instead of wearing a Michael mask, Corey was wearing the Scarecrow mask, which
because he ain't graduated yet.
You're not ready for this, son.
You ain't. Hey, son, calm down.
But God, dude, if they could use any excuse to use that flashback mask that Christopher Nelson
amazing,
made
God damn,
kills,
so good,
so good. Shit.
Listen, the thing about that team up scene, dude, and we just did the commentary for it last night, which again it'll be out tomorrow night for you guys to enjoy. I don't like that scene. I don't. It feels very Batman and Robin-esque. I don't like it. And then he's like. Then he's like the whole hand thing on the glass, like, shut the fuck up. He's like, give me some titty love, Michael. Like, I'm your biggest fan. Give me some titty love. Like, oh, Billy.
That's one of the That's one of the biggest scenes in this movie that was definitely meant, I feel like, for a different script that they were shooting for. When they just, again, no decisiveness, they changed their mind. Corey looks down at his hand and you're like, oh my God, is he self-healing? But then 20 minutes later, he's hanging out on Empire Records with Allison and he looks and it's still infected. Like that was meant for an idea that they didn't use.
Dog.
And they just left it in the movie. It's like, it's very confusing. But yeah, like I know you hated that scene. I love that scene. That's one of the things. That's probably like the difference in our score. But like, I thought I would hate that, but I liked it.
I feel like the one thing about that is if it had been Jason accidentally teaming up with him, it would have made sense. Because Jason's driven by a force or whatever other than his mom telling him what to do. I mean, he is driven by evil. And that would have been just like a happen chance that it happens where they both kind of combine or they meet in that moment. I just didn't like the fact that he was like, goddamn, holy rusted metal, Batman. Huh? The metal, it's holy. Like, I just felt it was so little. I just didn't like it. I got what they were going for. I just didn't. I don't know. I don't know.
It was well, A, it was obviously one of the big swings of the movie. B, it surprised the shit out of me. And I understand why you didn't like it and why a lot of people didn't like it. But for me, when that camera cuts over and he's wearing that mask and he's got masks.
That scene was great.
Yeah, he's got that bag over his head. I was like, oh fucking shit, I'm crazy. I was like, damn, this is kind of fucked up. It gave me obviously Strangers Pray at Night because the pool, but it also gave me Scream, the original Scream vibes, and it was dark and twisted and fucked up. Now I didn't like how Corey acted. I think that's why Michael looked at him the way he did. Because when he got his hand shut in the door and he's all like, Michael's like, that's not how you do it, dude. You calm, be calm. Watch what I do with this chick right here.
Fucking Corey was acting like he was at a prison and that plexiglass was separating him from having a conjugal visit.
I want my apple juice.
Ooh, kind of if I could touch you, girl. Like
he was acting like his girlfriend was in there. It's like, hey man, a lot of people's girlfriends are in there.
Yeah, it really was. It was kind of like, damn man, you sexual as fuck for him, huh? But I did like that scene when Michael comes, like that. It was brutal, dude. When Michael does come out, when they shot that scene where he stabs the girl, like in the original Halloween movie. I thought the way he moved was awesome, and that whole scene was great. I just didn't. Then when they cut back to Corey, it's like, no, get off of him. The action's right here, you dumbass. What are you doing?
Yeah, I love the scarecrow kill. And by the way, Mathis floating in the pool is a shot in that trailer that's not in the movie again. Like, so there's a lot of shots in the trailer that didn't make the movie again. They made like 4 movies here. I feel like that at least the special features will be amazing. But yeah, no, seriously. I accidentally clicked off there.
Jared,
it was Jared. That's super fucking sweet, man. We thank you so much.
Really nice,
dude.
Man. Thank you so much.
That's amazing. Thank all you guys. Even if you're not super chatting, just thank you for fucking
it's
being
all right.
here.
Don't worry about it, y'all.
We cracked 1,000, which is just insane. That's awesome. We're so thankful to just have you guys giving a shit to hang out here with us here. But thank you guys so much, man. John Carlin, thank you, dude. Really appreciate that. I like your picture as well. You got a nice.
That's all. That picture, I know it's from Halloween 1. It's like a stylized version of that scene when he bursts through Laurie's closet and he's like stabbing at her. But doesn't it look like in this particular profile picture that it just looks like Michael trying to figure out what he's going to wear the next day? Like he's just like looking around and he's like in a walk-in closet. He's like, oh God, that one maybe. I don't know.
What if she's got it in my thighs? Kyle Toker, dude, that's a great name. Found you guys with your ends coverage, and I'm here to say, hey,
Kyle, thanks, man.
Hey, dude, I hope everybody stays after ends. I know that there's a lot of people that they just go online for the Halloween stuff, but we do all the horror stuff. We cover it all month long, guys.
Dude, I don't know why, but I instantly feel like this like connection with Kyle on your profile picture. You look like the kind of counselor that existed in the 80s. That I would go to a camp for and hang out with. Not in a weird way, but just like a cool counselor. Like in Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah, I'd go fishing with him, and I don't fish. They call me I feel bad for the fish. They call me Stamps. Thanks, buddy. Says, you guys should definitely do a skit where Loomis is at the junkyard when Michael's body gets thrown into the car grinder. I think we were talking about last night we're definitely going to do a skit to cover when Corey bullies Michael and takes his mask. Because I think that would be funny as shit, dude. So that's definitely on there's even though we like the movie more than most, there's so much fun parody shit in this.
Loomis reacting to the car grinders. I mean, all it would literally be is Loomis pulling out a popcorn tin from somewhere and eating it and smiling.
Yeah,
I like it. Die. Yes, get ground up, you son of a bitch.
You know what? Dude, I got an idea. I got
that sounded crunchy, Michael. Was that your little wiener?
All we need to do, and hey, we owe this one to you, Anthony, because I think we should definitely do that. All we need to do is go outside and find something like dusty and shitty that looks like a car, like a junkyard. put you in front of it, and just clip from the movie back to you eating popcorn. Like, yeah,
that's all it would be. It's like, yes, yes. It would actually just be better because I have Loomis watching that scene at home, and like watching the scene, like he would like having access to it, and then it would be just Loomis's reaction to that one particular scene.
Yeah, we do it both ways.
That'd be funny. Yeah.
Thanks, Anthony. Emperor of the Sith says the intense sex scene between Michael and Laurie was my biggest shock in this final movie of the trilogy. I'm not gonna lie, dude. With the shit they were saying, part of me thought when he pulled her hair back, I'm like, they're about to fuck. That could happen.
Yeah, there was a lot of unspoken sexual rage in that moment. I would say.
And he was even like, oh.
Yeah, dude, it was. Yeah, you know what? Hey, Emperor of the Sith, by the way, and Nostidius, welcome, child. Your face is exactly. It never changed that expression when I saw that shit ending. I looked just like you in that thumbnail. It was like my eyes glowed yellow, white, red. I was like, do it. Order 66.
Well, James Jude Cordy did say that he felt like the ending was erotic, and I was like, do what? Colin, thanks, buddy, says Laurie not confused how Corey got Michael's mask. I think at that point, she was just like, I'm a whatever, dude. This life I live is crazy. You know what I mean?
I do Activia commercials. I don't fucking care. You stole. No, I think that maybe she just, well, she knew that Corey was evil. So the fact that he was running around with Michael Myers and that somehow gained control of his mask, which fucking still pisses me off. Either way, she was probably just like, it's expected. Yeah, I expected he was evil, and he's evil.
Yeah, she was trying to tell people. It's like, I saw the same look in his eyes. So when he showed up wearing that mask, she was probably like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But I guess technically, though, like where she did that whole fake suicide, self-righteous suicide, when she did that whole thing and shot the pumpkin, you would have thought that when she turned around and shot him and he fell down the stairs and she took off his mask, she would have at least been a little bit like, oh, shit, you're not Michael.
I just, and that's another thing. I don't know, man. I cannot stand the focus. Like every fucking time, it just seems like there's a focus on getting Michael's mask off. I just hate that shit. I hate it. And by the way, and the overall thing I'm going to say about the Michael Myers thing with Corey, Michael Myers, that whole fucking bullshit fight scene should have been like Michael grabbing him. It's like, treat you the way you should be done. Call you my son. Tell you, daddy, I don't want none. It should have been some shit like that. Okay, I'm going to show you how daddy do things. And Michael should have bitch slapped that motherfucker back to the emo school that he came from. But oh no, not today. Not today. Well, Michael is fucking old man Smithers, can barely get up and pee. Can't do it.
Again, he was weak. I mean,
I know we talk about the theories about it, but I hate that fucking scene, dude.
I do too. I do too. No, I totally do too. And I think that there's another thing that they left hanging in the wind in this movie, like a wiener in a hurricane
on a roller coaster.
They left hanging it. You ever just go out when you have a hurricane and you're just like, I'm just gonna let my wiener hang out and then fly around.
Or hopefully it doesn't get ripped off by the gale-like winds.
No, but like, they hinted so much about the mask and kills. Like they talked about it so much, the source of its power, all that shit, the whole, and even in 2018, say something, and everyone's like, figure it out,
say like, all something. That shit. I'm giving up on you.
They put so much onus on this, and then in this one they have Corey go, I need that fucking mask, give it to me, and then. At the end of the day, did they ever fucking like say what the fuck was going on? No, way too many breadcrumbs that led to a big dick in the face.
Hey, Colin, I'm gonna answer your question really quick too. By the way, Laurie not confused how Corey got Michael's mask. It's like this, man. Chicks cannot hold they smoke. They just cannot hold they smoke.
What? I know that
weird science.
Weird science. Yeah, that's what it was.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Viva La Toro, thank you so much. Says, hey, Mike and Jay, just wanted to pass by and show some love, especially with the passing of my grandma, who got to be 102 years old.
Damn,
that's
dude.
Awesome.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Not that she, obviously, just that she got, like, dude, nobody in this room right now, not a single one of us, if you said, if Deal or No Deal came up to you and was like 102 years old, you're like, give me that shit.
I'd probably be like, I can get something better. And I give him like, oh, I got 40. I got to live to be 40.
Yeah.
Which is probably real.
He says, you guys helped me with her loss. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart.
Hey, man. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
And that sucks, dude. My great grandmother, she lived to be 101, and she's a great lady, really a lot full of wisdom and stuff like that. My actual grandmother or my mom passed away in her 80s, but yeah, dude, like, but that's still a long time, man. And 102 years old, fuck yeah, dude, that's badass. You got to enjoy her for that long. That's amazing. I bet she has so many good stories, dude.
Yeah, and that's amazing for her, dude. Obviously not that she, but that she lived that long of a life. Sure. That's awesome. But hey, sorry for your loss, dude. And if we somehow help put a smile on your face in a rough time, that's what, like, it's the biggest honor of our fucking lives, dude.
And I'll bet she moved around better than Michael did in that sewer at 102 years old.
Brandon Houston, thanks, buddy. Look at his fucking face, dude.
Hey, I like that. Face. That looks like an ugly asshole. Oh, it's me. Never mind. That looks like a handsome, ugly asshole.
Mike says, is it just me or did you guys notice any Arnie vibes about Corey from John Carpenter's movie Christine?
Oh, yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Like that sweaty, nerdy, kind of weird kid that always smells like BO and kind of like, and then he gets really dark and twisted. Yeah, I guess so.
I can't remember shit fuck about Christine.
That's what he was. I mean, that's what that's
that. I wasn't the biggest Christine fan though. Like when I watched it, like I thought it was a little overrated, but like, yeah, I don't remember it at all, to be honest with you. Mercurio80 says, hey, I love this movie. It's a solid 8 to me. # Team Corey. Dude, I love Corey.
That's good, man. I'm glad you like it.
I'm glad you dug it, and just barely higher than my score. I flirted with an 8 in my head. You know, I almost.
That's how Mercutio80 is standing there, like with the Superman symbol, was like, challenge me. Challenge me on my number 8. I mean, he loved it so much, he started a hashtag.
I love it, and I also love the character of Corey. Now, the decision to spend this like ultimate finishing of this trilogy on that new character may be questionable, but
I feel like Corey could have been used.
Itself, pretty cool.
I feel like Corey could have been used differently and better, but that's my opinion.
Brad Blitch says, Ends was better than My Date I Was With. Less cringe dialogue and better acting. Good as any Netflix film 2018. 6.3 out of 10. 5 for kills. 5.2 out of 10 for Ends. No, wait. 2018, 6.3 out of 10. Kills, 5.2 out of 10. Ends, 6 out of 10. Favorite of the trilogy for
Hey, there you go, man.
Brad.
Mine was at 6.5. We can't do the 0.7, 0.8, but yeah, man. That's good. And it's always shitty when a mediocre movie is better than the date you're on. You're like, fuck Tinder.
Dude, yeah, I took a date to see Superman Returns once, and we ended up having sex. So that was
that movie's terrible. God damn, Brandon, like it
wouldn't have beaten that.
Hey, you know how he's catching that rocket ship? You can catch my dick tonight. Or the airplane, I mean, not the rocket ship, but you know.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm not going to do any rankings because we still got to do a re-ranking after this, so I won't get into that.
Oh yeah,
I love it, dude. Jägerbomb, what's up, dude? It says, should have introduced Corey in Kills. I'm supposed to care about a character that's getting bullied by the marching band. The marching band,
dude. That's literally what I said. I said the same thing. You cannot introduce a character like that and then all of a sudden people give a fuck about him. Literally, you change the whole dynamics of what Michael is. That should have been at least like sprinkled out like the Salt King, like this in Halloween 2018, and then gradually got a little bit more strength later on, and then you got the whole fucking salmon in front of you at Halloween Ends. You cannot do that's where people were like, what the fuck is going on? Did you just throw spaghetti juice in my face? Like, it was like, I thought I was going to get the noodles. No, you just said, here's this fucking ragu. Eat it. That's so true.
I think it depends. It's true, but it also depends. Like, I mean, every single movie you see introduces characters and is asking you to care about those characters by the end of the film, right? So, and that's just another reason why, as a standalone movie, Ends works in a lot of ways that it doesn't work as a third movie in a fucking trilogy, right? So, like, you're like, every single movie asks you to care about a character in one movie. So I think in their thoughts, they were like, why wouldn't we do that? This is just like any other movie. But then again, it's like, you got to wrap up these other characters. You can't just be like, hey, I like this guy now. Fuck everybody and everything I said I was going to do, you know?
Well, I think but I agree, because Corey had such a significant impact in this movie, like a significant impact, since he was tied in a different way to Michael Myers. This should have been this connection thing, or at least there should have been murmurings about this little geeky kid named Corey or something. I get that totally, though. He is a very important character.
Texas tootin', pew, 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 says, Michael, what are you doing with that young man in the sewer? This movie was unintentionally hilarious. Michael pooping his britches while killing that guy had me dying in the theater. Thoughts on hot Cheetos and Mountain Dew?
I listen now here, Texas Toot. Nobody wants no goddamn hot Cheetos Mountain Dew. I don't know why you're saving your farts in a goddamn Mountain Dew bottle and smelling them, because that's what I think it smells like. Hot Cheetos and probably summer days gone by. And as far as Michael, what do you do with that young man? So you know what he's doing down there? He's fucking him in the poop juice. And that's why that we don't tolerate that shit around here. Ain't no butt fucking going on in Texas. I'll tell you that right now, Texas Toot. You need to toot your ass back to church.
Hey, by the way, Mountain Dew and Cheetos is the goddamn best. I don't know who you're trying to fool. Mountain Dew man, he gets me through every lunch break at the concrete factory.
Well, he ain't goddamn civilized the way he put that in the text. He said, "Thoughts on hot Cheetos Mountain Dew." There ain't no such thing as a hot Cheetos Mountain Dew. Put a goddamn comma in there, you heathen.
I gotta do the Mountain Dew Zero though. Gotta watch my figure. You know what I mean?
Barbara, I gotta watch the figures. You gotta watch what you're doing with that, okay? Because ladies don't like it sometimes.
I've been eating too much of that goddamn that.
What you gotta do? You gotta get them all fat and juicy. They ain't gonna leave you.
Mm-hmm. Matthew P, my friend, says, I just hated how the third installment. I can't shake it now. I just hated how the third installment pulled this with a brand new person we're expected to be invested in. Love the battle though. Gotcha for 3 minutes.
Yeah, dude, that's true. Again, it goes back to the other gentle, awesome person that super chatted. It's the same thing. I agree. I 100% agree that if you're gonna have a new person that's gonna be very significant like Corey, you got to sprinkle that shit in early enough. Okay, it's like it's like goddamn if Bilbo Baggins just burst in for no reason at fucking the end of Return of the King, you're like, what the fuck are you doing here? I thought you died. I don't know, it's just weird.
Brandon Ferguson, thanks, buddy. Says, hey guys, I think the movie was decent. The opening scene was great. Totally agree with you on that. It's a tone setter. Need to watch the movie again because the theater screen was too dark. I couldn't see. Dude, that's the worst. Like, I went to a Regal theater a couple weeks ago, and like I thought I was gonna be, and like it was this tiny ass screen. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm used to like the holy shit package, and now you're putting a fucking shoebox in front of me. So that sucks.
Well, I gotta go pee, but I will say the last thing I want to say real quick about this. That is so true.
You're just gonna take the first pee break. You're just gonna come in here and be like, I'm taking it.
Well, because you took the last one. You took the first one the last time.
You argue with me, but I had to fight for it.
Yeah, but you took it.
You just decided you were gonna go pee first. Huh?
All right, well, fine. I consulted Vince McMahon. He said it's my time. It's my time for the belt. But actually, I will say, at this was the first movie.
Just to be in a mask.
Movie theater experience I've actually been to in a while. And that was the first thing I was noticing. I reached for a non-existent remote to try to turn up the contrast. I was like, it's still too dark. Where's the backlight, bitch? But yeah. All right, I'll be back.
All right. Hi. I'm sorry, Mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry, but tonight I'm cleaning out my closet. I'd let you kiss me, but I just saw you lick your own vagina. So we're not doing that. Don't get embarrassed. Latrell 316 says the fight was lackluster for me. It was barely 3 minutes. I lost longer in bed than that. Come on. I love the direction it went. If it meant anything, by Corey offing himself. Look, the fight, and again, I gave the movie 7.5. I liked it. I liked how weird and kind of punk rock it was to just do its own fucking thing. That being said, that final fight scene was trash. Not in the way it was choreographed, and not in the special effects, and not in any of that stuff. Just because you cannot. We said when they showed the trailer, like if you're gonna like this fight that we've seen in trailer and clip after fucking clip, how many times did you see that big scene of him that tense scene of him trying to put her hand in the garbage disposal? We saw it 1,000 times in 22 different TV spots and 7 trailers, right? So if you're going to show that in the trailer, we thought, oh, there's no way that's the final fight scene they're talking about. Can't take place there. And then you watch the movie and you're like, oh my God, that was it. Like we literally saw 70% of that fight in the goddamn marketing. This is the end of 40 fucking years. 40 years of them fighting and doing this shit. And you advertise this thing like it's a goddamn steel cage match between Ultimate Warrior and fucking Randy Savage. And then you give us 3 minutes of that at the end. You know, it's like watching a Tyson fight and paying $80 and then he knocks the guy out in 30 seconds because he's a big, tall, white guy who's doing his third fucking fight. Like, why did we think this would go any different? It was the biggest disappointment probably of the movie for me. That final fight scene was, for sure. You guys are the best, says G Nasty 88. This guy's always watching, always commenting, always so sweet. We love you, dude. I appreciate that, man. Evan Collins, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Says, Jay, it was cool seeing you at the theater Thursday night. I will save that for Jay because he mentioned, by the way, when Jay got to the house, he's like, dude, I met somebody. He's like, I met someone from the fucking channel at the thing. And I was like, that's rad. I didn't. That sucked. I'll go back to that, Evans. If I forget, somebody remind me. Craig Dukas. That's a dope name, buddy. He says, Jeremy looked like falling beef from an Arby's ad. Windy, I can fly. It was, look, the first time I saw it was not funny because anytime you see a kid die in that fashion, it's intense as shit. But the second time I watched it, I was like, Corey Myers, hey, it's you, you fuck. He's got that he's got the skid mark Michael Myers mask on. Rank this film between 2018 kills. I'm gonna save that for our ranking. Actually, I'm gonna go back and rewatch them all 1, 2, 3 in a row and see how I feel. For sure. But I love your picture and your name. It's fantastic. Gary, thanks, buddy. Says, I don't mind Michael isn't in it much. I just hate Michael got beaten up. They kept saying he's just a man. Corey killing himself was a waste. I thought that when I heard Michael wasn't going to be in this movie a lot, and again, not the lies that you heard that he dies in the first 10 minutes that these assholes were spouting, but when I heard from people who I believed who saw the movie that he wasn't going to be in it much, I was really bummed, and I thought, shit, fuck, this is going to be dark night in Texas. But I was shocked that I actually went through the whole movie, and like I think I was so invested in the other stuff that was going on that I didn't get pissed that Michael didn't show up till when he did. And I was shocked by that. But I think that's because the aura of the movie was so dark and the vibe of it was pretty cool and dark to me that Michael felt like he was there even when he wasn't. So that's why that part didn't bother me either. But when he got beat up and the whole thing about you're just a man, I'm like, y'all need to pick a fucking path. Stop dicking us around with all this shit. Like, you showed us him getting his fucking asshole ripped out by 12 angry Neanderthals in the streets of Haddonfield. And now you want to tell us he's human again. And then you want to say, oh, this, like, just pick a fucking path because you're confusing the tits off my dog. You know? My dog has a lot of tits. She had babies before we adopted her.
I'd have been back earlier, but I was helping Michael plunge a toilet. Yeah, he's still stuck in that sewer, at least in my imagination.
By the way, there was a super chat specifically for you from Evan Collins.
Evan, that's who you were. Yeah, Jay, it was cool seeing you at the theater Thursday. Sorry I screwed up our handshake like Michael Myers missing 2 fingers. By the way, I love this movie, but I wanted to see the return of Cookie Woman. Dude, yes, Evan. Dude, yes, this happened. This was so, and it wasn't his fault. It was my fault. He was like, Jay, big fan. Can't wait to see yours and Mike's thoughts on the movie or whatever. And he was just coming out of the movie there. And I went in for like, I thought he was going to do the fist bump and then it turned into like this. And it was like slow motion shit. Like it was like.
You just put your finger in his mouth?
No, I should have. But that would have been less awkward because our fingers kind of touched and formed a pyramid like this. We just touched fingertips and there was electricity there. I could feel it. And then I was like, all right, well, see you later. It was the worst thing ever. It was like being recognized like as a nerdy kid and the popular kid saying, hey, what's up, man? You did a really good job in the debate today. And you're like, it was cool though, man. Thank you. Thank you, by the way, for stopping and saying hi, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, dude, I love it when people do that. I've had several people be like, I was going to, but I didn't want to bother you. I'm like, no, do it. It really,
yeah. You got to come into the bathroom and pee with me because I peed alone. There's nobody in there. I heard a guy like farting the trumpet in the stall next to me, so it would have been a great distraction.
You do not shit at a movie theater, by the way.
I didn't poop.
Trust me, guys, never shit in a movie theater because the problem is when you go into a movie theater, everybody who's peeing there is in a hurry, so they're pissing all over the fucking seats. So those are the most piss-filled fucking seats of any Walmart or whatever in the history of the world. I'm at 8:19, by the way, 8:19 p.m. on the super chats. Jack Ryan Boyd is where I'm at next.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just get it up there. Like she said, I'm gonna get it up in there. 8:19.
Yeah, 8:19 p.m.
God damn.
Y'all are fucking showing up tonight.
You guys are killing it. I just can't believe it. Oh my God. I never thought, my mom always said, you're just going to wind up making a fool of yourself. I never thought I'd do it in front of this many people. My
Grab
God.
your lunch pail because we're sucking lots of wieners tonight.
I'm still going. You
Wait,
see me
that's not what I
stroking the
meant to
screen.
say.
I'm just trying to get it up there for y'all. Hold on 1 second now. Just calm it down. Jesus Christ. You guys are fucking awesome. Thank you guys so much. This is incredible, insane. But I told Mike about it. I was like, yeah, I ran into a subscriber. It was awesome. And he was like, what was his name? I was like, I didn't catch it because I was like kind of thrown off. I was like, hey, thanks. Because I never expected anyway. And then when someone says to me, I was like, oh shit, am I going to get fucking punched? Because they're like, I heard what you said. I was like, I didn't say nothing. All right. What was, who are you with? 819.
Jack Ryan Boyd's next.
All right. Hold on. Jack Ryan. Okay. I got it.
Okay.
All right.
BRB.
Oh. Okay. So Jack Ryan Boyd. Thank you so much, by the way. Thank you so much, Jack. I like your name, Jack Ryan Boyd. Hey, fellers. Ann's is simply not my Halloween movie. I'm only going to do it this way because you said fellers and I like it. Hey, fellers. Ann's is simply not my Halloween movie. I think all Halloween sequels have good elements in them that maybe could have made a good sequel if combined and done right. Now, I don't know nothing about nothing, but Jack Ryan Boyd, you're just speaking the truth from the pulpit, and I agree with you in some things what you're saying there. But no, I do agree. You're right. You're absolutely right. All Halloween sequels, except for Resurrection, have good elements in them that maybe could have made a good sequel if combined and done right. Resurrection to me is just a fucking terrible movie. And then Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I know people love it. I think the first 35 minutes of that movie are incredible. But other than that, it's a hobo fucking a unicorn that his dead mom dreams about. I don't know. And he talks in it. Wow. Don't like that at all. But I do agree that all sequels have some strengths and weaknesses to it. So yes, you are correct. And thank you again so much. Now we're going down to Ultimate Spidey 24, because the first 23 aren't the real ones. The 24th Ultimate Spidey, thank you so much. Says Hawkins' character art was abandoned after his importance in kills, especially the opening. Absolutely dumbfounded. He gets no closure with Michael. What the fuck? I kind of agree with that a lot. There was a lot of parts of this movie that just didn't explain enough. It didn't go the extra mile to really deep dive into some of these characters that they'd introduced in kills and that their importance, and then they just kind of abandoned them for whatever. I agree with you. And what they did with him, I feel like Hawkins was like a leftover thought, and he was so important in kills. I agree. I agree with you, Ultimate Spidey. Jordan Leggett, thank you so much. He said, "Sup, dudes? I hate how they spent most of kills developing Hawkins, only to throw him aside in ends. 2 scenes talking about fucking cherry blossoms, dude. 100%. And you and Ultimate Spidey 24 are going to be best buddies, and we're all 3 going to be best buddies because I agree with you, and I think a lot of people will agree as well. Will Patton is such an incredible character. He really is not just the Hawkins character, but a great actor as well. And he was supposed to be the vanguard, I guess, in some way of taking on Michael. And I really wanted to see that kind of develop where he's leading the charge in a way. And it really just didn't happen. He kind of got reserved to talk about fucking cherry blossoms and like, goddamn, hey, I'm at the grocery store. Are these goddamn vegetables on sale? Hey, Lori. It was kind of weird, but yeah, it was definitely a departure, and I don't think it did his character any kind of favors. Briar Grace, thank you so much. Because I wish some kill sequences were drawn out more and not off screen. It seemed that Corey's mom on-screen death scene was cut from the movie. Dude, I agree with you 1,000, 100 million, trillion percent plus of infinity. I feel like even again, when we did the commentary yesterday, it was only the second time I'd watched it. Initially, when I watched it in theater, I was like, that's weird, because I felt like they were cutting away a lot. And then when I watched it again, I'm like, they fucking are. They're not showing kills. And it pisses me off that Corey gets 2 of the best kills in the whole goddamn movie. The blowtorch scene and then the smashing of the DJ in the booth. And they give it to Corey. That, fucking fake Walmart Michael, and not Michael Myers himself. So yes, that did piss me off. It feels like they did not show us what, you know, the some of the great, maybe could have been the best scenes in the movie. I agree with you. Michael Parton, thank you, sir, says, don't care what the haters say to BH, meaning to be honest. I thought the movie was way better than Kills. It didn't go where I wanted it to go, but it was super enjoyable. Well, that's fine, Michael, and I applaud you. And that's cool, man. There are a lot of people that did like it. I mean, I know there are some people in here that are ranking it higher than 2018, and that's cool. I personally didn't think it was on the level of what they established with 2018 and what they continue to do, even though Kills was not nearly what 18 was. I feel like it was too self-contained in ends, and I feel like they changed too much of the lore to fit this standalone movie that just didn't work. But hey, man, more power to you, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it. That's what it's all about anyway, man. It's always going to be personal preference, and if you enjoyed it, that's awesome. Thumbs up, sir. Adrian Ybarra, I think I'm saying that name correct, says Corey mom was strict like Arnie mom. The Christine vibes were heavy. Michael was like Christine, being used for getting revenge. Arnie got bullied also. Yes, I agree. I didn't think about that before, but you're the second person that's mentioned the Christine tie-in. I can definitely see it. Corey, this sweaty, nerdy ass fucking guy, gets kind of bullied and thrown away. Nobody wants anything to do with him, and then all of a sudden he gets like the best, coolest, badass like sensei master in Michael Myers that reinvigorates him, and then he goes out with more juice in his cock or something and starts killing people. I get that totally, and it was very much Christine-ish. But
I love juicy.
Yeah, but you know, also Corey kind of reminded me of, I don't know if you guys ever heard of a movie called Toxic Avenger, but it's kind of the same fucking thing. But even though he didn't fall in a vat of toxic shit to get his powers, but yeah, I get what you're saying, Adrian. Third Man, thank you so much. I like that. In there a movie? No, it's not Third Man. It's the Sixth Man, isn't it? With Marlon Wayans. That's a great fucking basketball movie. It made me cry. It's a good movie. But thank you so much, Third Man. Trying to catch up. Norris, Chuck. That's right. What's up, homies? When Lori pinned Michael to the table and walked toward the fridge, I thought she was going to climb the refrigerator and go Rob Van Dam off the top rope to end it. Yes, dude. It's like fucking Backyard Wrestling Part 2. It's like, what the fuck? My God, he's gone to the top ropes and coming down with a thunder kick. Oh, my God, he's dead. Get the ladder. Yeah, I do. I definitely agree with you, Norris. Yeah, it was. I feel like that whole scene felt very... and again, I've said it before. I feel like anticlimactic, unceremonious the way they deal with Michael and the way they just kind of shuffle him off of his mortal coil. I don't like that at all. But yeah, I get that. Yeah, it was kind of very like not my thing. But yeah, I get you. So yeah, well, Mike found now you know where we are. So we're at Norris.
Yeah, I got us caught up, man. That was and I wanted more of that too, man. Like I thought that was weak sauce considering they showed so much of that in the trailer already. Gary said they undead the old woman from Kills, and they never let the cop redeem himself for letting Michael live all those years ago. That's the thing too. And I have to go back and rewatch Kills again, and like now with this new aspect of ends, but like the whole thing about like when he gave him his gun and they hid that Hawkins shot him or whatever, and the police force hid that. Or like, where was that? What was the point of that story? Like, you thought that was going to go somewhere in this movie. That whole story with Hawkins didn't really go anywhere. I was happy that he found love. I hope you find love with Lori. I did love that for him and Lori. But yeah, there was a lot of threads from the other two movies that they just let the rope go on.
Well, that's what I was saying too. And Will Patton is such a talented actor. Why the fuck would you not utilize him? Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and
why would you not utilize him as much as you can? That guy, he could eat scenery, and I'm not saying it in a bad way. Like usually when they say, "Oh, that guy just ate scenery up," I'm saying like he could really be like if you used him as the vanguard of like leading the charge kind of thing, like much like Brackett did in the original Halloween, or what the fuck? And he's probably one of the best sheriffs. What was the sheriff's name in the fourth one? Meeker,
Brackett.
Sheriff.
No, Meeker. Yeah.
I love Meeker too. Like you could have made him like that dude, but yeah, instead they were like, "No, we're good."
Yeah, it just feels like they ran out of time. And again, that's some people's problem with the movie is like you put in this Corey character who I really adored. Like I like that character a lot, but like there were so many. Lindsay, like where was her?
Yeah,
like she wasn't even there at the junkyard because she couldn't be there for reshoots.
And Gary's also correct. They undid the old woman from the black lady that survived that knife attack and Kills, and then it really nothing comes of that.
Sandra.
Except
she
except she yells at, or her friend yells at fucking Lori after she bought some fucking vegetables. from the grocery
Which,
store.
that is an important plot point, though, because it just shows how Laurie's never going to be able to escape this, and it shows how the town's still haunted, and it shows how people can be.
But there should have been, I think there should have been more significant scene in that moment.
Yeah, one of the threads of the movie is just like how Haddonfield's dealing with this whole thing, like, and how Michael's infecting everybody. So I get that part of it. But Dancing Wheels, thanks, buddy, says, geez, all your okay.
Homoerotic.
Yeah, hang on one second.
Yeah, we're going to. Don't worry. It's totally going to happen. Dancing wheels. How do you know that we've not danced the wheels off each other several times?
That's just what you mean. I mean, they're not jokes. We actually have sex. Like,
par for the course, man.
What do you think? Where do you think this channel came from? We're just building towards our OnlyFans. Ryan Shoot, thanks, buddy. Says, thank you guys for all you do. Your channel is always one I can turn to on a bad day to have genuine laughs. Thank you, dude. Loved ends. Corey was great. Thoughts on how they use the radio tower after teasing us? Yeah, I think that's a little bit our fault, the radio tower thing, because it was like one of the first pieces of news after Kills that came out was David Gordon Green mentioning the radio tower. And where that's all we had to gleam on, I think people like us, like, you know, we all thought, okay, that's all I have to go off of. What's it mean? And we started creating these crazy theories about it. So the radio tower did make sense in that, for one, Corey mentioned that that's where he used to go after the thing with the kid happened. And then when Allison sees it burning, I think that's when it clicked in her head that, oh my God, no, Corey did this. And Lori was set up in that situation. I think that's where it clicked for her.
Yeah. I mean, I just, when I saw the radio tower, I was like, I wonder what Michael's favorite radio station is. Is it the softy oldies, or is it something more rock?
Lewis Ruddy, thanks, buddy, says Corey gave Michael his bicycle so he could team up.
Dude, I would love to see that dumb shit asshole driving a bicycle around town and be like, gotta get, and then have a little ding ding like that, when he was crossing the road.
Yeah, it's like that Michael Myers, the Decatur guy. His wife's just like, get in the fucking house.
They made a fair trade. It's like, bro, I need your mask, but bro, here's my bicycle. It's like it's a 5-speed.
Just when I thought you couldn't get any dumber, you do something like this and completely redeem yourself. It's like, how many miles to the gallon do you get on this hog? Michael Parton, hey, good to see you, buddy. Says they could have shown Corey and Michael in bed.
Yeah,
you know, they had to create that relationship somewhere, and that's how I make best friends with my male friends. I'm like, hey, dude, let's fuck.
Well, that's what men folk do when they're on the road together. Obviously, they share the same bed in the hotel room because they can't afford 2 beds.
Well, so some of the best
nothing gay about that.
Some of the best friends I've had in my life, it's come from getting in a fist fight with them and like hated enemies, and then you become friends after going through that together. It's even better when you just have sex. You just
like literally, I don't know, but literally laying in the bed that close to Michael, like just being around him, it's enough to give you like 16 STDs in the same space. So I don't think you want to lay next to him either.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Like that motherfucker is.
He smells like he has an STD.
No, listen, Michael Myers, if you got near him, he's literally a walking, talking, the Center for Disease Control manual. Like that's what he is. He's all of those things in one body.
That shit smells just like bologna. Conserving Liberty says, I really enjoyed it. No Halloween film will ever be perfect. Thank you. But I appreciated what they attempted. I felt a little bad gasping, uncomfortably laughing when the kid hit the
floor. Dude, I did too. I laughed my ass off, dude. I was telling Mike the other day, dude, when that shit happened, they're like, oh, people are like this. I was like, because that motherfucker looked like he does the worm when he hits the floor and he goes, I know.
He bounced harder than Eminem when he hit rock bottom.
I was like, maybe my shit's depraved, but I was like, and I was like, get this what he deserved. But yeah, I did. I laughed too. I laughed my ass off. I didn't want to laugh too loud because people were like, ooh. Like somebody, I was like, oh. And I was like,
well, it's another thing they gave away in the marketing. Lori in one of those, or Jamie Lee Curtis in one of those clips was like, the opening is about a kid dying. Like she just like literally gave it away. So I knew it was coming, but it was still pretty. That thump and how loud it was and how intense that scene was. Again, I love that opening when they pan up to Corey and she's like, "You did this!" And it's like, dun, 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 dun. But my daughter, my 13-year-old, saw it with me. Has no idea. Doesn't follow this stuff, obviously, because she has a life, unlike us. But she yelped when he hit the floor. She literally screamed in the theater, and she doesn't do that. So I was like,
but you know what's weird about that though is I really thought when Corey, or not Corey, but the little kid was talking to Jeremy, I guess his name is, was like saying like, Michael doesn't kill little kids. I really thought in that whole scene was setting up where Michael was gonna like fucking butcher that kid, like fucking Hellraiser pinhead him in some way, just to show that he does, because he killed a kid in 2018, didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he put that baby to bed, the whole killing kids thing, for sure. And I think that was meant to set a tone. Zach Valentine, looking like Channing Tatum over in this motherfucker, says Michael Myers' screen time in Ends. Now, I've seen this, by the way. This is interesting. His screen time in Ends is 10 minutes and 55 seconds. In the original movie, it's 9 minutes and 37 seconds. He was in this movie more than the original, which I found fascinating. And it is fascinating. Like,
yeah, pretty interesting. But I mean, but the original movie is way better written and way better paced, and it's classic for a reason. I mean, it's like comparing apples and oranges. It just doesn't. I get what you're saying though. The presence wasn't there, but I feel like the atmosphere was written in such a way. And plus, when Halloween the original came out, no one knew what Michael Myers was, so there wasn't a demand for it. It's like when Batman was first written, they didn't know who the fuck it was. By the way, Zach, your face exactly is how when you found that out. Is that how you looked at the screen? Interesting. 10 minutes and 55 seconds, 9 minutes 37 seconds.
And look, I was shocked that the Michael Myers screen time didn't bother me when I watched this, because I really thought it would. And I feel like they did a really good job with having his presence felt the entire movie. And I was fascinated by the characters on screen and what was going on. But that being said, there's a lot of caveats to that situation. Like you said, Michael Myers being introduced for the first time, telling the beginning story, and then this being the ending thing of that. I think people expected a lot more. And also coming right off of Kills, where Michael Myers got a bunch of screen time in Kills. Like Laurie took a back seat that time. But I think also it's the problem with this is it was so easy to fix. Throw in a couple scenes in the beginning of the movie, a chase scene or two, a kill or two of Michael killing in between movies. And I think a lot of people are way happier. You know what I mean? And it would have taken nothing for you to do that. It's just one of those little disappointments.
Yeah, definitely needed to tighten up some things for sure. And as far as Michael Myers himself being in the movie more, well, we talked about this earlier through a couple of your gracious super chats from some of the peoples out there. It definitely felt like they cut away from some of what could have been some of the best kills that Michael was performing, which is fucking stupid. It was so goddamn dumb.
Darcy from the last drive-in, her scene was definitely cut. I feel like there's a lot of, man, this is going to be maybe the greatest 4K Blu-ray release of all time. Winning 81, thanks so much, says, didn't like that Michael didn't bleed out after being shot for 4 years, but did on the table in 3 minutes.
That's true.
It's another good point.
He got his juice back. He got his juice back. Yeah, that is interesting. I didn't think about that, but that is 100%. That's another hole there. How the fuck did that happen? Was that motherfucker pumped full of corn syrup?
And you can make the argument that, like, we don't know what Myers did between movies. We don't know what he did to heal himself or to keep himself alive. In Kills, he goes to Sandra's bathroom, right? And he's in there like, God damn, this fucking hurts. And he's like poured bleach on his hand and shit. Like, what? Not bleach, but like whatever, hydrogen peroxide. Whatever he was doing there trying to bandage it. We know that Michael has the wherewithal to go and try to heal himself. So we don't know what happened in those 4 years between. So maybe he found No Country for Old Men did, and went and found some bandages and like fixed himself up. But yeah, it would have been very easy to wrap these plot holes up.
Hey Michael, how'd you get that blood back in you, bitch? Did you get blood transfusions? Like, how the fuck you do that? It doesn't. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a little weird.
To be fair, though, when they bled him out, I mean, not only that, it was the throat. It was a deep throat cut. And then that knife scene was gnarly, dude. When she takes that knife, she starts here and goes all the way to fucking here. You know, like
I would agree, but I mean,
deeper in there.
The motherfucker got shot 80,000 times. Like, and I know it hit a couple of arteries in Kills.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, it's just like, I mean, you can fucking bleed out in a few minutes. Shit. Well, I mean, I think he got hit in the stomach and the chest too. I mean, you can bleed out on a fucking leg shot if it hits the artery.
Yeah, it's definitely the gray area. And sometimes in Halloween, the gray area is beautiful. Not knowing for sure. Is he supernatural? Is he not? Is a staple mate of the Halloween franchise, right? Like that is, I think that's an important thing. I think you got to do that right. But sometimes they went a little too far with like is he supernatural or not? Jordan Francis, thanks, buddy, says, what did you guys think of the little twinks they did to allude to Corey being the new shape?
No. Winks, not twinks. You don't say twinks.
Oh, wait, did I say twinks?
Yeah, you said twinks, dude. That's a totally different video.
I'm watching too many X-Men movies. Letting him do the sit-up after falling off the radio tower. I didn't notice that he did the sit-up after the radio tower. And I guess maybe they did do a couple things. The most interesting sit up to me that happened was after Corey goes in there and that terrible scene where he takes Michael's mask. Someone made a really interesting comment where normally whenever somebody fucks with Michael and his mask, he freaks the fuck out. Like he either chases them immediately or starts to do that. God damn it, Mom, stop trying to clean the spaghetti off my face. Like in that scene, Corey takes his mask and he's extremely calm and he just sits up immediately, almost making you think he let Corey take his mask because he wanted him to lead him to where he was going to go and kind of set up his kill of Lori. It's another interesting thing.
Well, that's an exposition thing that I feel like you're filling in the blanks that should you like as an audience member, you shouldn't have to fill the blanks in, is what I'm saying. It should have been explained properly. And that fact that, because I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, because it's like seeing your fucking favorite superhero get like his ass beat. I'm like, that ain't true though. Michael's got a plan, all right? Like he's coming back, all right? He's not gonna get knocked out by a fucking bitch. Like, it's not gonna happen. And then and it turns out like, nope, you just dumb. Like you dumb.
Gary, thanks so much, dude. Says the way I looked at it, Corey wasn't having a flashback. Michael was seeing Corey's memories and saw potential, so he let him live.
I agree. I think that's exactly what it was. I think that happened with that, again, that transference of maybe like a connection of souls or something. And then Michael put a little dab of his splooge in him and he became evil. I don't know. But maybe he saw something in Corey that was worthy. Like there was enough of a nugget of evil or something in him to get Michael's attention. And maybe Michael, as the evil incarnate that he is, recognizing that evil in Corey and was able to share some kind of psychic bond or link that was able to infect him. It's
tough, dude, because like the fact that Corey, his eyes do get blacker, right? He does change. The first time Lori sees him, she sees this kid that's getting bullied and wants to help him. And that was a nice Lori scene, by the way, when she's like, so are you going to do it or am I, with the knife, right?
Yeah.
But then as soon as she sees him after that happened, she's like, you know, Michael definitely, I don't think there's any doubt that Michael gave Corey something in that scene. Even though that scene's super confusing, like I don't know exactly what transferred between them.
Herpes.
They exchanged bodily fluids or what. But Michael definitely gave something to Corey there because Corey changed after that moment, you know?
Dude, you're describing it, dude, reminds me of TLC, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. And he doesn't recognize his own face. It's like just stick to the rivers and lakes that you used to, because that literally is you remember that dude in the music video of TLC's Don't Go Chasing Waterfall? He like looks at his own face and it's all fucking sunken in and black because that hoe's been giving him fucking AIDS or whatever.
Oh, I get it. I totally fucking get it. Holy shit. John Carlin, thanks, buddy. Says, hey, boys, staying up late to catch this in the UK. Hey, sorry it took so long to get there, man. Thank you for fucking hanging with us. Says, Blumhouse purposely misled us in the marketing. They knew if we knew Michael was hardly in it, it wouldn't make as much money at the box office.
Could be true. That is, it's happened before. It actually is happening. Well, actually, Kevin Smith caught a lot of flack, and I know it's not the same thing, but he did catch a lot of flack for the He-Man thing, which it's whatever. But people were mad that it seemed like He-Man was going to be the focal point of that re-release on Netflix, and he lied, or marketed it in the way that, oh, He-Man's the central figure. Oh, he's going to be the main guy. And then it was focused on Tila. And people were like, what the fuck? You told us He-Man was going to be in it. I want to see my man pecs. And then, Tila was the main person. But yeah, you could be, look, that it's a strong point because they also kind of did the same. Did they not kind of do the same thing with Friday 5? They marketed it as Jason's return. And it wasn't, I respect that movie now. I really do. I like Roy Burns. But it took a while to get there. But they did. They kind of like did the old pump and dump on people. Those penny stocks, who the fuck buys these? Like Wolf of Wall Street.
I think, yeah, and this is one of those. This is one of those direct points that creates a gray area between people who like the movie but didn't like certain points. Like where I am, like, and again, it probably seems like we're nonstop bitching about it, but like as a Halloween fan, I see every issue with the movie. I really do. The reason I end up on the positive side of the movie is because I still like the movie as a whole.
Yeah.
This is one of those gray areas because when it comes down to the marketing and stuff, I absolutely believe they purposefully misled. They did. But Universal as a company is not a company I love. I don't know how much Blumhouse has to do with this or whatever, but Universal, I feel like, is the heartbeat behind them going to Peacock and possibly hurting the franchise with their box office returns. I really am not a huge fan of the way Universal does things. So in my mind, I think it's not, we know for a fact, Christopher Nelson said it himself, that a lot of people were very upset when Kills came out, how much they showed in the trailer. And he said that himself. So like, I think that there is this fight between the movie makers, the filmmakers, the writers, and the actors and the directors versus what the company wants to do. I don't know where Blumhouse falls in that, but there's a lot of blame to be put on Universal, though, specifically. And the difference is, like, do you take away from the movie because of it? I try not to. I do take away from Universal because they fucked us on showing that much of that fight scene. They really just nerfed the shit out of that ending scene by showing it all in the goddamn trailers, and also by misleading. On the other hand, you did have the director and what seemed like an on-purpose, poignant campaign by Jamie Lee Curtis and by David Gordon Green and by the studio to try, or by not the studio, but all the people involved with the actual creative part of the movie, to let the audience know, please understand, expect something different. We're doing something different. It felt like they were doing that on purpose because they knew that Universal was going to mismarket this fucking thing, and they did. And fans have every right to be mad at them. It just depends on, do you take it out on the movie? I personally don't. I take it out on the marketing, but you're absolutely right.
Well, here's the thing. They call that the old bait and switch.
Yeah,
I mean, that happens all the time, by the way. And look, to be honest with you, I don't know who knew or how much they knew or what they knew. I'm in a weird camp here. If they said that Michael was barely going to be in it, I might have been like, well, fuck, dude. I mean, I'll go see it because I'm a Halloween fan, but Jesus, But if they said that, if they showcased Michael being in it, and they were like, yeah, I might get mad. I was like, well, why did you show all the best scenes? I want to be surprised. But here's the thing. And again, I mean, I don't know. I'm just this is all. Yeah, loving that Dixon 76. I mean, who doesn't? But here's the thing. I feel like there was damage control going on, because why in the fuck do you send out your main star and a lot of people are going to hate this movie? They're going to hate this movie. I feel the test audiences, they knew it. It wasn't going good. And there was a lot of people that did not like certain things about the movie. And then they're like, well, we got to do some damage control and get ahead of this. Why are you telling people you're going to hate this movie? Just let the movie speak for itself. If you say that, then you're also putting preconceived notions in people's head before they even go see the movie, experience it for themselves. But I feel like the reason why, it's almost like they were trying to prepare you for that dildo that was going to get rammed up your asshole, especially with that Corey scene and him fucking Michael up. I feel like there was a lot of this movie, and it's genuinely, I understand people not liking it, but I feel like there was a lot of damage control going on behind the scenes too, because they might have been like, I don't know, man. I don't know if that was a good idea though, Chief.
It's difficult to tell what happened, man, for sure. Tristan Vargas, thanks, buddy, says watched it a second time last night and enjoyed it more the second time. I think it gets much better when you know what to expect. And fucking dead on, dude. I agree with you. I went into it very much knowing this is going to be crazy times at Ridgemont High, and I was worried about my second watch because I enjoyed it so much the first time. As pissed as I was about certain things, just like so many of you guys are.
Yeah.
Again, I just feel like the difference between whether you liked it or not, I think Halloween fans and Myers fans are all pissed about the same things. We're all in agreement on the things that we're pissed about. It just depends on, did the movie on its own work for you personally? And I think the vibes of the movie, it's a very specific, like, just mood in this whole thing. And I dug that. Some people didn't. So if you didn't dig that, the fact that these other little things, you're not going to be able to let them go. I was worried on the second watch I was going to hate it. I ended up liking it a little bit even more, but
I was the opposite. My opinion went down further. So I mean, it can happen though. You can watch a movie and think it's amazing, and then watch it the second time and feel like, God damn, what was I smoking? Then you can watch a movie and then be like, oh, I liked it. Okay, and then you watch it again, like, man, there were some like cool little treasure pieces in that. But I mean, again, it goes back to the fact that everyone's going to have their preference. They're all going to have an idea of what they want. But here's the thing, like Tristan, I agree with you to a point, but I know what to expect when I watch shit like Resurrection and Halloween Rob Zombies 2, and it doesn't make it any better. I know that shit storm's coming. And that's why I'm like, I'm going to turn it off before it happens. Like, no, sir. No, sir.
Dancing Wheels, thanks, buddy. Handsome son of a bitch, by the way, says, I wrote an end scene for Halloween Ends, and I like your guys' take. Does your channel have an email? Yeah, we watched the movie, 2@gmail.com. Who the fuck had we watched the movie?
Dude, I know. That was like the fact that we had to put 2 at the end of our Gmail, like we're Prince.
Garbage
We
shit.
have to put numbers and shit.
Mornay Cloette, longtime friend of the channel, we appreciate you so much, says, what made it my favorite movie in the franchise? Whoa! Damn, we got a favorite movie in the franchise.
That's a strong man that's stepping into the Thunderdome, bitch.
I fucking love it.
Come inside. Come inside. Let's fight.
Was all the questions it left us with, and is up for interpretation. Chances of Allison being pregnant? Look, dude, I 100%. Again, it's not my favorite franchise, but like, I love that about it. It's one of the things I really enjoy about the movie. It's also a problem at times. It's a problem with times. There was questions that should have been fucking answered for the final movie in a trilogy. But this is probably my biggest difference between people who hated the movie and people who liked the movie like I did, is that when I look at this movie, I look at it as I watch this entire franchise on fucking loop every year. You know what I mean? When I watch this movie, I go, when I'm rewatching the whole franchise, when I get to ends, I know I'm going to be excited because it's different and it's strange and it brings upon all this. There's a reason there's over 1,000 people in here right now. And it's because this movie brings up, love it or hate it.
There's still over 1,000 people?
Yeah, yeah.
You're insane.
Some fascinating questions about Michael Myers and his lore. And that's the kind of shit I really dig. The reason I didn't like it when Rob Zombie did it in Halloween 2 is because he did it with anger and he did it with hate and he shit on characters because he was mad about the box office from his first movie. This movie tried to do something special, and whether you love it or you hate it, it brought up some interesting questions, and it did it out of love and out of interest. It didn't do it out of hate. So I totally get where you're coming from.
I don't hate the movie. I don't like the movie. But I don't think it's the worst movie of the franchise, just as much as I don't think it's the best movie of the franchise. When you say more questions is left and it's left to you to kind of figure out where you want to go with that, I get that. I get that 100%. But at the same time, well, you mentioned it. It's supposed to be the wrap to your trilogy, to your Batman trilogy. It shouldn't end like that. Like, I mean, you know, even Batman or Dark Knight Rises, which I didn't like for the longest time because of what they did to Bruce Wayne and the whole fucking Robin shit. At least it ended it on a note where you're like, it's definitive. You understand what's happening. Bruce Wayne's gone. He's not coming back. And now Robin's taking over the cave. That's it. I don't like that shit, but at least they said, this is the way it is. This one doing that, I don't like that, like throwing it up in the air. I'm like, well, it almost feels lazy in a way because it's like, well, we didn't know really what to do. So we just kind of left it in the air. And then as far as Allison being pregnant, I fucking hope not. I think that I feel like Corey, when he got infected with that goddamn that goddamn evil splooge from Michael, he went and got magnums because his dick grew and he used condoms. There's no way if they did an Allison being pregnant and then having the evil baby, like, all right, sign me up for fucking As the World Turns fucking drama because I want to see that shit.
Something interesting that I just read today, David Gordon Green said that originally he considered having Corey live and survive this. And eventually, as they got further into the production, he became more possessive over the character of Corey and didn't want anybody to take that character and be able to make more movies with Corey as the lead. So that tells me right fucking there that there is a possibility that Blumhouse is not done with this trilogy and that this story is not completely over. There was.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, I think that it's. I want to move on now. I do personally. And I like the movie, but like, that is not impossible that Allison becomes pregnant or Corey's body ends up missing. It is not as impossible as people think it is. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis might be done, but there's no saying that Blumhouse and Trankis don't decide to fucking work this thing out and they get the rights again.
Well, yeah, maybe
they don't, because I'm ready for something new, but it's possible.
But I think they bent the contract as much as they could with the COD, because he's like, all right, you guys, I'll let you do your thing now. All right, Daddy's coming back in. Michael's not dead. There ain't no fucking way, and not a guy named Corey is gonna be fucking Daddy Michael now.
That is true. With the whole Mustafa didn't want Michael dead.
Not gonna happen.
I don't think Malik is gonna go against those wishes and say, yeah, let's go forward with Corey or Allison's baby or whatever. Yeah.
Here's the thing too, by the way, and we're gonna move on because we don't want to, like, there's so many of you awesome people out there. We know we have to get to some of you, but I will say the last thing I want to say about that though is it, like, Michael Myers, he's iconic, dude. Like, he's fucking iconic. He's like Batman. He's like all those guys, Superman. I don't want to see another motherfucker that his name is not Michael Myers be Michael Myers. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to temporarily do it, fine, whatever. But I don't want to see a movie where a guy that's supposed to be Michael Myers is running around fucking shit up, because that's not Michael Myers. And like it took me years to even accept Friday 5 because of that Roy Burns shit. Because it's like, I was like, we made a joke though. We put the little blue thing on his fucking helmet. I don't like that shit though.
I was so okay with the Corey killing scenes and Michael's. It still felt like Myers to me. That my opinion, I think Halloween Ends actually changed my opinion on that. Like, I think someone else could take the mantle on. Like the as many times as we've done Michael Myers, I'm actually like not that much against it. And Halloween Ends is probably what changed that opinion, because I actually dug the scenes where Corey was killing, and I was shocked. I would never in a
because they gave him the best kills though.
Well, yeah, but like they were great. They did a good job. It still felt like Michael to me, even though it was Corey under the mask.
But it wasn't
felt like Michael to me.
I guess for me, it'd be like going to see Kiss when people were pissed off. And that's not Peter Criss and Ace Frehley.
Well, it's like I liked Blink with Skiba too. Austin, thank you, buddy. Love you, man. It says Ends took my two hated parts of the movies, evil transference and Busta punking Michael out, and made a whole movie about it. This isn't Highlander. It's Halloween. And Michael should never be susceptible to human weakness. But they've said since the beginning,
smart motherfucker right there.
I get what you're saying, but dude, they told us this. And since 2018, they said, I want non-supernatural Myers. They said that he was going to be non-supernatural. They said they weren't going to take him into crazy.
Well, I thought they said in 2018 that they didn't know. They thought it was going to be like up to the audience, maybe to decide.
The problem with it all, regardless, is in Kills, they made him look supernatural. So it's like now you're confusing everybody. So that I do get.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a character adjustment or make if you're gonna fuck with the lore, right? Then sprinkle that shit early in so we know what we're dealing with. Don't just spring it on people and expect people to be like, yeah, that was good. That's not gonna happen. People are gonna get fucking pissed. That's the way it works.
Changing their minds way too much throughout.
Yeah, because I think, and yeah, I agree. I think it was because of the delay. I think there was too much time on their hands. They had to rewrite everything and rethink everything and overthink things where it just became convoluted. And they were like, all right, well, we're going to do this. But I agree with you about, he says highlighter. Dude, that's exactly, it's like, there can be only one. There can be only one. Christopher Lambert comes down with the samurai sword and cuts that fucking head off. And the power is mine. And then the Queen soundtrack plays. But yes, yeah, dude, you're right. I feel like it at best was just, it wasn't thought out enough to like, you already established it with 2018. You had something going with Kills, just continue that thread. And then it just didn't happen the way that I wanted it to happen. But it is what it is.
I'm at the point where I would like for there to be two different, and again, I never get tired of Michael, never get tired of the Halloween franchise. I'm at the point where I'd love to see two different timelines. One that's canon. Let's make a Halloween fucking 9 and stick with canon, and then that's your Michael Myers. And then make another fucking franchise timeline where it's movies like this, where you can do fun and weird shit. It doesn't have to be Michael, but it still you have to have
separate
the mask.
Stories.
You have to have the idea. Yeah, like I'm at that point now. But Blurred says,
no, I mean, we were talking about, by the way, last night. I'm at this point where I'm at. Just reboot the fucking thing. Just reboot the whole fucking thing.
There's like 10 cool.
And I know that's sacrilege, by the way, guys. I know that's sacrilege. But I'm just saying at this point, fucking do it.
As long as you don't, no more Laurie Strode.
No,
like,
done with that.
It,
I'm done with that.
New characters, new ideas, new everything. If you reboot it, that's fine. But yeah, that's a whole live stream itself. We should do a live stream where it's just like literally what should.
And you know what I would do? I would cast that dude
live stream.
Dude, I would cast that dude that they got in Kills as my Michael. And I would put it in the 1990s.
Aaron Armstrong? Yeah.
Aaron Armstrong. I would put it in the 1990s and have Aaron Armstrong be Michael Myers.
Get that flashback mask back.
Yes, dude. Like he was a little kid in the late 70s. And then he, like the 1990s is when he grows up and starts fucking killing. Dude, that's it.
Blurred, $6.69. That's a weirdly specific number, and I like it. It gets me horny in the night when I'm eating Taco Bell. It says, are you planning on doing a spoiler review on the Myers-Cunningham spit-swapping makeout fight in the post-credit scene? No.
I didn't know such thing happened.
Look, not only are we going to do a spoiler review, we're going to do a breakdown. We're going to do 10 different ways it could have happened. We're going to do a
reenactment.
Post-credit scene, and a reenactment. We're going to do an explain video. We're just going to squeeze the tits out of it as much as we can.
I love it, dude, because I like you, Blurred. Look at your innocent little fucking Tom and Jerry fucking like profile picture, and you're like, I'm not telling a lie.
Little mouse that just came on himself. AM Ryder says, do other reviewers influence your opinion at all? Fuck them.
No,
I mean, you
don't even fucking know who they are. Who's the other reviewers?
You at least hope they don't. I mean, and if that was true, then we would have came out, I feel like, and said like we hated this, like I think I will look at Rotten Tomatoes just to see what's going on and how people are accepting the movie, but it never ever changes my opinion of it. And I will never watch someone's full review before I see the movie because I don't want it to color my opinion of what I feel. You know what I mean?
That's the same way. I to be honest, I don't even like watching our own videos back. So I'm not going to watch someone else's review of a movie. And that's not because I don't like, it's not because I don't like the person and I don't think they're, good at what they do. It's literally because of exactly the same reason. If they say something that, and their opinion, like it'll infect me, like in my brain when I go and see the movie, I guess. Yeah. And I'm like, I'd rather just see for myself and see what happens.
And I can tell you right now, I haven't watched a single other person's review for Halloween Ends. The only thing I looked at was Rotten Tomatoes. And to me, that's why Rotten Tomatoes exists. You can put up all this shit about why it does. The reason Rotten Tomatoes exists is because it's a quick, easy way in our technology, world that we live in to go and get 30 people's opinions on the movie in a little snippet, and you read them and you just go right through them and it's like, boom, I got all the information I needed. Like I was in the fucking Matrix and they put it in my brain. That's why
I guess for me, I like the audience score better than the critics response.
Me too. Way more.
Because if it's the people like putting reviews up, I know movies can get review bombed. I know that can happen. But if I can read a review, you can generally read a review on Rotten Tomatoes that from the audience. You can tell if it's like being review bombed or review brigaded versus like someone's actual honest opinion. So, because it's usually logic. If you can, if someone's just hating it, it's like, I didn't like this because a dude was gay in it, so it ruined my whole experience. I'm like, all right, well, so you don't like it. That's why.
Goddamn gays.
Yeah, the goddamn gays taking over the world. Next thing you know, they're going to want to get married.
I hope they don't try to fuck me.
But as far as we have a lot of great friends and stuff on YouTube that review, but I don't care what they say. And just like they don't care what we say. So,
yeah. 100%, man. Scatterbrain reviews. Thanks, buddy. Says Laurie's suicide fake out was her most badass scene in this trilogy to me. Loomis thoughts on the sewer wrestle. Just speaking on the first part real quick, I dug that scene. I actually dug that. Like where she was like, did you actually think I'd kill myself? The problem is that we negged on it 5 fucking minutes later when she just goes, do it, Michael, I give up. Like you were just saying, do you really think I'd quit ever? And you're like, fuck yeah, Laurie won't quit. And then she's like, I quit. And you're like,
she should have put Papa Roach on. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort.
Tell me your butthole didn't fucking
no, Michael.
Tighten up though when she grabs that gun. You're like, oh my god, are we about to get nuts?
I feel like it was almost like it almost felt like it could have been a real ending, and then like, nah, we can't do that. So we're just gonna like put this in where she was distracting him. But it was still cool. As far as the sewer, it was like watching two big old fat girls in mud wrestling, where their buttholes smell and they're just butt juice coming down, and everyone's getting infected by the smell, and it just smells like vomit, old popcorn, feet, pickles, and mayonnaise. I can imagine just walking by that sewer pipe with that sewer wrestle. You just smelled death because their buttholes had died a long time ago from the infection of the smell. Disgusting. I'd have thrown a goddamn pipe bomb in there.
Give you some banaka. But Jeremy Adams says, my 10-year-old daughter fought back tears when Michael died. Anyway, you guys are the best. Oh, that makes my heart hurt, dude.
Dude, I swear, dude, when he was getting fucked up like that, I felt like that too. I was like, what'd they do to you? Why'd they do this to me, Dimitri? I felt like I was like, don't you know he's the world's greatest? Like I felt like R. Kelly. It was like
it's that thing. The Marlon Brando from The Godfather is like, look how they did my boy.
like yeah, dude. Last Dragon, dude. He's like, it's like, yeah. While some people want to think about how Bruce died, I prefer how he lived. Like at the end of Last Dragon, that's how I felt. Like, and that music comes on, and it's just Michael doing all the cool like knife movements. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go see The Last Dragon. But
that's exactly, dude.
Yes.
Shane Omar, thank you so much, dude. Says, you guys notice the balcony falls emphasis? Michael in 78, Jeremy the beginning ends, Corey at the bridge. I slowed down the evil energy transfer scene, and they also put emphasis on it. Yeah, I mean, the way I saw it was the kid fell through, and then when Laurie shot him, he also took a nosedive from the steps. There's a lot of people falling from fucking steps in Halloween. It's a thing.
Motherfuckers need to learn how to walk. navigate those steps.
By the way, those parents are partly to blame for Jeremy's fucking death. Who has a small child
I
and
hate
buys
those
a
parents,
house with
man.
7 fucking stories that goes up like a fucking lighthouse? Come on.
Like, first off, the you know,
Put some
it
bumpers
is,
on that
it is
shit.
what it is. The mom looked like a goddamn shining extra whore, and then the dad was John Henry Irons. I don't know what the fuck he was supposed to be, or a railroad worker. I don't know. And then he's like, "What did you do?" I would have fucking pissed on her face.
Terrible
I'm like,
costume.
I didn't do shit. Your kid was like keeping me trapped. Your kid kidnapped me.
I judge you as parents, and I judge your costume choices. Norris, thanks, buddy, says, after seeing Ends, if Christopher Nelson made the mask for H2O and it took place in Haddonfield, would H2O make your top 5 Halloween movies? The ending to H2O doesn't look so bad anymore.
I agree.
Dude, that is just H2O is just another one of those movies. Now, H2O wouldn't reach those heights for me because the off-screen kills were way too fucking much. Michael almost barely killed anybody in that entire movie. But yeah, you insert, and that's why I still think they should deep fake Halloween 4 and 5 and H2O, put them in theaters. I think it'll fucking kill.
If you tell me
matters.
Well, listen, the H2O mask thing was such a fucking train wreck. Like, the fact is they used the Curse of Michael Myers mask at the beginning of that movie. It looked good. That shit was awesome. The Curse of Michael Myers mask, regardless of how you think of that movie, I don't think that movie's great. But regardless of what you think, that mask was incredibly good. Like, in certain angles with the shadows, it looks like H1, and then in other angles, it looks like its own beast, and it's aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
They could have just kept that movie or that mask throughout the entire movie, and it would have been a totally different. Then there was all this alien mask, and the digital mask was fucking terrible. But if Nelson had made the mask for H2O, and the whole thing took place in Haddonfield, I don't need Haddonfield. Would it have been better? I mean, listen, the way this fucking thing ended with the hamburger meat helper, Michael, I would have rather have taken the goddamn decapitation. I mean, I felt that was anticlimactic, but I feel like this ending was even more so unceremonious.
I love the decapitation. I really did. I thought that was like a really cool way to end it if you're going to. Scott Stevens, thanks, buddy, says, which had more screen time, Lindsay or Michael Myers? I see what you did there, my friend.
Lindsay.
It's definitely Michael at the end of the day. More day. Thanks, buddy. Says, we also see Michael even before he grabs Corey.
Where? No, maybe you're right. Do we though? I don't remember seeing him. No, Morn might know more things about. I don't remember seeing him at all.
I don't think we do see Michael before he grabs Corey.
Yeah,
I don't think we do. I could be wrong, but I've seen it 5 times now. Scott has diabetes. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Scott. But he says, wasn't.
Nobody wants diabetes.
No, I just said that's terrible. No. I'm sorry. It's just weird that you chose that as your fucking.
By the way, Scott, was that your face when you found out?
My new screen
I hope not.
Mike is slightly overweight. Wasn't Corey the same age as Michael was in 78?
Was he 21? He's not 20. Maybe.
No, he
could
21.
be.
He was 21. He was 21. Yeah.
Same
That's
age.
crazy.
Yeah, same age.
That's crazy. Oh, you could also say that the kid might have been the same age Michael was when he decided to stab Judas.
So Michael could drink Heineken like that if he wanted it. The Heine.
Scott, you take care of your diet, buddy. Matthew Arnold says, I liked it.
No, dude, I love it. No, I love it because I'm just thinking of Halo days. If you got killed by somebody called Scott has diabetes, killed you.
God, that's kind of
it's like better you than me.
Matthew Arnold, thank you, my friend, says, I liked it. 8 out of 10 for me. I dig it, dude. It says it had its problems, but not nearly as bad as Sartain in 18 or Trevoli in Ends. Those sequences nearly took me out of both. Look, Sartain is, it's a questionable character. Trevoli, the guy did a great job, but like the focus on that was like, what? And again, one of the problems with this fucking movie is you go, why did we spend so much time on Sartain to never do anything at all with that? And then you spent so much time on Trevoli to never do anything at all with that. There was nothing that explained the Figaro. None of that shit. Like, you left us hanging on so much shit. And I understand why people are mad.
Sartain is definitely a butt crust like stain forever on the Halloween community. And everybody got mad about that. But here's the difference between that. Sartain was a turd. And he got treated that as the turd he is and got destroyed. He was a good actor. But he's a great actor. No, a good actor. But he got destroyed by Michael. Like, you don't touch me. Get your fucking leg off me. Don't touch me in the back of the police car. And so Trevoli the difference between those that they were trying to make Corey a focal point, like somehow a counterbalance to Michael, which is where people are getting mad about. Because Sartain, if that would have been like if Sartain actually did put the mask on and go around killing, infused with the Michael Myers bad breath off the mask and his juices.
Yeah. Well, and again, like I think people are more forgiving to a Sartain or Tivoli because they always go, well, we got the next movie. Well, we got the next movie. Well, we got the next movie. And ends, there was no, so whatever you didn't get, you knew you were never going to get, and people got fucking pissed, you know?
Yeah.
So I get that. Michael Parton, thanks, buddy. He says, I don't know why in most horror movies they take the Stephen King route with the violent, sadistic bullies. To me, it's kind of cliche.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah,
but
because
maybe
first
that's
off,
why they made them band members, though, to just switch it up a little bit.
And no one bought it. They were like, "What the fuck you talking? Like, you might as well put Girl Scout cookie girls in there and be like, yeah, they're gonna bully the fuck out of people. Buy my shit. I'll beat the fuck out of you."
What they were thinking.
I agree, but the cliche is over, man. Like, I feel like they were trying to go for more of an '80s, like the bullies. But why the fuck are they band members? Like, just do the classic shit. If you're gonna do that, make them basketball varsity members or soccer or football or even fucking golf. I'll settle for golf bullies. And they don't really exist.
Maybe David Gordon Green just like had a band member spit on him at one point or whatsoever.
It's like, yeah, this motherfucker drummed my ears one time on the bleachers. With the
goddamn, I hate the band.
I was like, I hate them.
System Modern, thanks, buddy. Says, would ends be better if I'm having a stroke. If Myers is put into the grinder but snaps to life last second and drags Laurie in with him, dude, could you imagine?
I would love it. I would. No! I was looking for any type of light at the end of the tunnel, and if that had happened, I'm like, I'd stood up like Shia LaBeouf.
One of them has to. Either you do.
I want them both dead.
No, dude, for me, either like Michael kills everybody and it's like this dark, fucking depraved ending that like makes people go, holy shit. Or Laurie gets to live her life, this character we've watched for years. I think you had to go either or for sure.
I've said before, Van Helsing takes down Dracula. You have this fucking moment. They both die. The monster takes down the hunter. The hunter takes down the monster. That's how every good movie should end. I don't like the fact, dude, if he'd reached up and grabbed her and put her in that hamburger helper with him, I'd be like, all right, I don't like the way it necessarily went.
That would have been opposite to what you're saying, though. Like, the only way Laurie should have died fighting Myers is that she was saving her daughter or her granddaughter from him. For her just to, like, in this, like, kind of cheap, like, 2000s horror movie ending, be like, oh, she died too.
I would have taken that shit over. I would have taken that shit over fucking the goddamn fern trees or whatever the fuck they talk about on the porch. Like, it was the end of, like, Gran Torino, and they're sitting there talking about it. Like, I was like, I'd have rather taken that than, listen, the thing is, I always feel like Laurie Strode is a badass character, right? She's very much like the Sigourney Weaver type of character. If you're going to have her go out fighting the alien, they fucking did it in Alien 3, and I hate that fucking movie, but at least she took the goddamn thing that was bursting from her belly and jumped into the lava with it.
But the difference is she wouldn't have been saving anybody. It would have just been a cheap gotcha gag where Michael just goes, ha, I got you.
I'm not saying that I would have loved that ending, but everything else was dog shit. At least that would have been one silver lining. Like, nobody gets a happy ending. Nobody. I
was just happy to see her and Hawkins like get to live a happy life. Like, it's like, if they don't, what's the point of all the shit she's been through? Like, it's just kind of a waste at this point. You should have just given it up in 1978 because you were gonna fucking die by his hand anyway.
But Allison gets to live a good life. That's her granddaughter. She's gonna go on.
She didn't even save her. She wasn't paying attention.
No, I'm saying, but
Mayweather and Ortiz when he just wasn't looking. Like, he just caught his ass.
I don't know. I just feel like that was just, I don't know, dude. It was dog shit to me. But yeah, it is what it is.
It is. Ryan Lewis, he's like, dude, it looks like he just smelled a fart or used a bidet for the first time.
He's like looking like he's going to write a book about it.
Corey should only be feeding people or leading people to Myers. That way Corey is still responsible. Myers does every kill and is powered up. That's an interesting point.
Dude, no, 100%, dude. That, like, he makes Corey a puppet. I think I mentioned this, alluded to it. I thought that's what Michael was doing. He was going to take control of Corey in a psychic kind of way. Like, we're going to do some witchcraft here. Fine, we're going to do hocus pocus shit. Michael takes control of him because Michael's too weak to go out and do things for himself. And he has like a fucking Uber driver go out and bring him bodies. And he kills them. And then he gets more powered up and more of like, and then at the end, he looks like fucking Super Shredder in TMNT 2. He's like, thanks, Corey. Now fuck off. and he smushes his face in. And I feel like, he could have used him as a puppet, like Freddy uses Jesse in part 2 to kind of get his victims for him.
Yeah. It's a way they could have gone for sure. And by the way, I'm getting ready to take my pee break because I'm going first this time, motherfucker.
That's all right.
But if you want to catch up to where we are on the chats, I'm going to go through a couple more before I go. But we're at 8:41 p.m. right now, and we're at 4 killer with the old Rob Zombie face. Says number 1, why do they keep Hawkins alive?
That's
to
true.
buy groceries. 2, Michael is top tier strength at the end of kills. Why is he weak 4 years later? Man. 3, Michael's been killing for 4 years. Why is no one missing in Haddonfield? I can actually answer these pretty good. They kept Hawkins alive. They kept Hawkins alive because he was Laurie's happy ending. And that goes back to the conversation we just had. So I got that. But 2, Michael's top tier strength in the kills. He's weak 4 years later because it's very confusing. But is he supernatural? Is he not? At the end of kills, he was fucked up. I mean, they tore him apart. So like he's hurt. He's recuperating. He's still an old man. So if you're going off of the guys that he is not supernatural, then he goes in there and somehow survives, but is just a shell of his former self. That's why he's weak 4 years later. As far as him killing for 4 years, why is no one missing? People were missing. You heard the hobo say that people go in there, they don't come out. You saw the billboard, Megan Baxter missing. So he has been killing. They just did a poor job of not using that to show a couple just fun little Michael Myers moments in the midst of all the Corey Allison romance. That's just my opinion of those things.
So why they keep Hawkins alive to buy groceries? Because they fucking paid him. Will Patton is he's an expensive actor. Like, they're not going to not use you. Michael's top tier strength at the end of kills. Why is he weak 4 years later? I don't know. I mean, that goes back to the idea of what we're talking about here. I would imagine it's because they were going for a witchcraftian type of way that Michael needs killing to get his strength back. And he hadn't had a lot of kills lately. So he's weak as fuck. Michael has been killing for 4 years. Why is no one missing in Haddonfield? I think that is Michael's been killing, but he's only been killing runaways or people that no one would miss or hobos or shit. So it was easy for him to keep under the radar. That's what I think. The 3 right there.
All right, so we're up to Gary now. Are you caught up on the super chats?
I'm caught up. Yeah.
Okay, so start with Gary. I'll go piss real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. So Gary. By the way, Gary, man, you've been very, very participatory tonight, and I like it. I also like your logo. You've got the burglar thing with the no-go sign. I like that. It's like, don't fucking break into my house, bitch. That says, no way, no how. Says, distracted by things I didn't like first time, but the second I was sad when Don't Fear the Reaper was on because it's a nice callback, and it felt like the last one. Yeah. I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Let's take a moment and think about that. Sucked, dude. That sucked. Stupid. But no, I agree with you 100%. There was things that, listen, Gary. And the good news is we're going to have the writer on tomorrow, and we get to ask him about a lot of these things, and hopefully he'll be able to give us a little bit more insight into what they were thinking as far as how to move the story along. But I agree with you. I agree. And thank you so much, Gary. You're awesome. Anthony Cunningham says, thank you so much, by the way. Enjoyed the film for sure. Think it's the weaker of the 3. I thought Michael should have been in it way more. Kills was more fun chaos to watch. Love you guys. Thank you, Anthony. I agree. I think a majority of people agree with you. Did you guys hear that? It literally sounded like I had an alien in my throat because I was burping and it came out. I have a little bit of heartburn now. But anyway, yes, Anthony, I agree. Ends is definitely, for me, it's not it's the weaker. It's the weakest of the trilogy. There's no doubt about that. Michael was definitely underused. And I wouldn't even say, if they had established what they were doing with the movie in 2018 and then introduced Corey early on in the film, I might have felt less butt fucked about it. But that they didn't do that, I was shocked that Sheena was a man, like Tone Loc said. I didn't know that. I gave her the Funky Cold Medina, and she had a dick. But yes, I agree with you, Anthony. Michael should have been in it more. Really, for sure. I do agree with that. But they wanted to focus on Corey, and they wanted to do the storyline, and, you know, okay. Mark Warling says, and thank you, by the way, Mark. Corey Allison equals Michael and Star. I like what you've done here. Lost Boys movie, I know. Leather jacket, motorcycle, turning evil. Also, Corey looks like Cameron from the past, too. Corey also kind of looks like 1978. Mask off. Thoughts? I agree. I definitely feel like there was a reach for the 80s type of romance. And I was going to say teen romance, but they're not teenagers, but very much like a romantic moment in a horror movie that is reminiscent of something like Lost Boys. Yes, I could see that. And as far as the way he looks, like, there is a similarity between him and that. Like, what the fuck is his name? The guy that took his mask off in the original Halloween. You know what I'm talking about. The one that's like, he kind of looks like him, yeah. But as far as like, your points are everything you said. Turning evil. Corey looks like Cameron from the past too. Does he look like Cameron though? I think he's a better looking guy, and he's also more jacked. And he's also got he's got his shit together, and he's also not bullied like Cameron was more of like the popular kid or something. But yeah, I get what you're saying though. But yeah, good point, man. Good point, Mark. Ghost Ranger says, "Go Steelers." Yeah, fucking Pittsburgh, run it through. Iron Curtain all day long. I'm a Giants fan, to be honest with you. Mike's a Packers fan because he loves being packed in the ass. But yeah, man, if you like the Steelers, are they good this year? Maybe they are. I don't know. I don't watch enough football to know, but thank you so much, The Ghost Ranger. And you have a great screen name and a great day. Stacy James. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Just glad we got more Halloweens after H2 and that we'll get more after this. But was it just more or a lot of the dialogue felt 80s in the worst way? Dude, Stacy, yes, dude. Thank you so much. We've actually been discussing that. I agree with you with what you said, and I think a lot of people do. I'm glad that I got to go to the movie theater and experience a Halloween movie in 2022 and hear that iconic John Carpenter soundtrack flare up when I'm sitting there in the darkened theater. I think it's amazing that we get to hear that in 2022. But as far as what you're saying, the 80s in the worst way, maybe kind of, yeah, I get it. Like, because the romance scenes, while it's acted fine, it just the tropes and the way it kind of feels and looks and yeah, man, I get what you're saying totally. Like, there are some bad 80s romances that happen, and it usually happens in the middle of an Halloween movie. You're like, what the fuck? Or not a Halloween movie, or it could be any horror movie, and you're like, I'm not really here for that, but I get you, man. I get you. I feel like there was a lot of things that, like, the execution of certain scenes were a lot to be left desired, or a lot was left to be desired. John Carlin, hey, great fucking name there, says, and thank you, by the way, the story from Ends would have been better served as an anthology entry. I agree. It was bizarre to use it to end the trilogy with. It would probably have gotten more love too as an anthology entry. I think you are on to something very, very sexy, John, and you have been a goddamn trooper tonight. You have been interactive as fuck, and I love having a conversation with the good folk across the river or across the lake or whatever they say. You are right, man. There is a lot of Halloween. If they were going to do a Halloween story, Mike and I always talk about doing like the unmade scripts or something, or like, you know, breaking it down to like a 45-minute show. You know, if you know, like, well, the Loomis Files or something like that, and doing like standalone films. You were absolutely right, dude. This could have been probably one of the best fucking like anthology movies ever if they had done it that way. 100%.
And that's one of the reasons I enjoyed it more than most, is because, again, I'm looking at it from the franchise as a whole. There's two ways to look at this movie. Like, when you look at this movie as a capper to this trilogy, it's disappointing in all the shit that they let go and the direction that they didn't have and the decisiveness that they lacked. Yeah. But I look at it as a piece of the whole franchise, which is broken in a million different pieces already, and the timeline's broken in a million different pieces already. So I can enjoy it as an outlier and as its own movie. And I think that's the biggest divide between people. If you're looking for this to really feel succinct with this trilogy, it is disappointing in that aspect for sure.
But I like what John's saying here, because you know, you guys know about American Horror Story, right? If it was an American Horror Story episodic thing, I think it would have done really well. Like 100%. I don't think people would got pissed off at all, really. Because like we're just gonna tell a one-off story, just like, you know, Joker was with Joaquin.
Right.
All right. Well, I gotta go pee. So you have fun now.
Okay.
Hey, you little chitlins, behave yourself, all right? I'll be right back.
Isaiah Zambrano says the original idea for Ends was Allison goes missing the same night. Also, anyone else realize how Michael is in 1978 for only 9 minutes? Yeah, we did talk about that a little bit, the difference in and why that's so different in this movie than it was then, because it was the original incarnation of Michael and they had so much more story to tell and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's going to add to the lore of the franchise. This is already a franchise that has 100 scripts that we've talked about that are in the Taking Shape books, scripts that we've recapped and all that. And again, you can look at that as broken, or you can look at that as, man, this just adds to so much fun behind the scenes shit to talk about. It just depends on how you feel about that. But yeah, there's like 10 movies in just this trilogy alone that almost got made and didn't get made. It's fucking fascinating. Emperor of the Sith says, also, I'm curious on how Michael was able to shave down in the sewers. His hair managed to grow out, but his face looked almost clean shaved. I think that was the point of the strange, weird corn hair that was growing out of him. It was like it was supposed to be unkept. And if you notice, his hair also looked unkept. But I think he's older. He's aging. He's not going to grow hair as much. I'm balding myself right here. I think that was kind of the idea. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of the way Myers looked when they pulled off the mask. More importantly, I just wish they wouldn't have showed so much of his fucking face at that point. System Monitor, thank you so much, dude. Says, why does Lori have the 78 knife in her drawer? Just another Easter egg callback, you know. It was interesting how she went to find that specific knife, but she held on to those mementos. That's part of the reason why she decided to blow the fucking brains out of the pumpkin instead of herself. Like, I think she's very symbolic, and she's writing a book about it all, so that's all in her brain. That makes sense to me, that she's somebody that holds on to this kind of shit. Adrian Ybarra, thank you, says 2 questions. Over under 5 years till the next Halloween film. Ooh, god damn, that's a good question. I say hope over at least 8 to 10 years. I disagree with that. But I hope there's a fucking film next year, dude, because I'm just a fucking whore for this franchise. What I think's going to happen, my personal opinion, is they're going to go TV series next, because TV is not what it used to be. It used to be, if one of these franchises went to TV, it was a death nail. It was like going to VHS. I think that's the way that they can keep making money off this franchise and doing shit, but not oversaturate the theater audience. I think the next step is definitely TV. And then you have the opportunity to hit people with a theater movie that's on a different timeline or a different story as a whole. That's at least what I hope happens. But I hope we get something in 3 years. You put a gun to my head, I'm going to say it's going to be 5, unfortunately. But he says, which 4 films are you taking? H1, H2, H2O, Halloween Returns, Halloween H2O, Halloween. What's Halloween R? Or H1, H18, H kills, H ends. Resurrection. Definitely taking H1, H18, Halloween Kills, Resurrection. H2, the original A2 is the one that you're really it's gonna hurt your ass crack missing out on. But H2O didn't show the kills, and then Halloween Resurrection was a way worse ending for this franchise in a million years than Halloween Ends. So I'm definitely taking the latter for sure. But Halloween 2, the original, will be missed for sure. Thank you, Jared. Appreciate that, my good man. Let's see here. Jared also says, way too late in the story for it to make sense. That's why the mystery of both Michael's not knowing which is Michael, then at the end, real Michael is wearing the OG mask would have been a big twist. Big fan. Hey, we really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. I get what you're saying. It was late. It was really late in the game to take these risks. And that's why people who really, really were hoping for this capper to be fulfilling are so upset. And I totally understand that. I really do, man. Austin says, thank you, buddy. He says, way I see it, Michael looks like a man, but isn't susceptible to our weaknesses. Aging, injury, or anything else cannot affect the force, evil itself, that's always existed. Should be akin to killing water. I've tried to kill water. It's very hard to do unless you live in Flint, Michigan. This is a terrible joke. But yeah, I think we're somewhere in between. Michael's not totally supernatural, but there's something fucked up about him that makes him less susceptible to injuries. It's a weird line you walk, man. It's hard. You have to do that with such a fun mystery. In Kills, they just went if you want that to be mysterious, they just went a little too far with the injuries that he took. And again, one of the biggest questions of Ends is, was he weak or fucking not? Like, I love the mystery, but you got to explain just a bit more explanation, and you would have nailed it. Jack's Gaming, thank you, buddy. Says, I like the movie. Don't know how I feel about the tag team thing. Didn't like the ending. My son Jax asked, did you like the H2O's ending better? I think, as far as just the ending goes, I like Ends better than H2O. I think I'm going to land on that because I'm pretty solid about that. My nostalgia for H2O is great because it was fun to see Halloween be a big deal again. And Jamie Lee Curtis coming back and all that. I love the ending of Laurie chopping off Michael's head. I hate the thought that at that point we were all told this is the end. If that were the end, I would have been very, very upset. The beautiful thing about Ends is that we know it's not the end. It's just the end of her story. And that's nice that story gets to get carried away. But I'll take this ending better because it was never supposed to be the end of the whole franchise. Just this fucking story.
White lines, pure as the driven snow, baby.
Blow away. Izzy says David Gordon Green must hate kill counts for keeping Sandra alive. Oh man, Dead Meat's gonna have to refill the whole fucking thing. That's a question too. I'm gonna go back and watch Kills and be like, could she have survived that? I don't know. Maybe she's.
I don't think so.
She's a tough cookie though.
So.
Luis Nunez, thank you, buddy. Says, what timeline would you bring Michael back from?
Curse of Michael Myers.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
I would do Curse of Michael Myers right away, and I would discount. And I know there's fans out there for H2O, but H2O just makes like H6 didn't happen. I would go with what they were trying to go with H6 because I would really I would want to know what happens at the end of that movie. You see his mask on the ground, Loomis screams. I want to know. And then you also have the little boy. There's so much potential in that movie. And then I would also bring back Alan McElroy to write the sequel because that guy had fucking ideas. I didn't want him to do what he did in Halloween, what he wanted to do in Halloween 5. Alan, I love you, but that's not true. Don't do that.
I'm going to agree with you on Halloween 6, but I will say my second favorite would be a continuation of H4, but I don't want Jamie Lloyd to be the killer. But I would just love to see what if they would have fixed that one thing, what they would have done. Fudge cakes. God, I love fudge cakes. I love fudge cakes.
You've been in prison, huh?
Sup, guys? Halloween Ends was a disappointment, and it sucks that Michael was weak and wasn't even in the movie that much. Love you guys.
Love you, man. Love you, Fudge. Yeah, it is what it is. We talked about this multiple times, and there's going to be people that I didn't like it. He was a weak ass, but
it's weird. Like I both love the movie. I both love the movie and totally agree with what you're saying. It's weird. I would have done it completely different. Isaiah Zambrano, thanks, buddy, says the ending with Laurie becoming evil was shot. Okay, I didn't know that. So we talked about how that was going to be an ending, and it makes sense that it was shot when you look at how many threads are in this movie that don't pan out.
Yeah, I'd leave that on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, I don't like if you're going to call it Halloween Ends, you've got to have an ending to her story.
Don't do that.
Jason Bacon. God, I love Jason and Bacon. Says, did you notice in the Halloween residents murdered committing suicide montage, one of them was Oscar's mom's wearing his devil costume, not on first watch, but on like second or third watch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, shit.
When she was hanging. Yeah. There was also a callback to Halloween 5 with the one chick that was dancing in the club when Corey goes and meets up with Allison. That is, she's wearing a devil costume, which I thought they were giving a nod to Halloween 5. But
I think the marching band kid's car was also a nod to 5. And he's like, don't touch the car, But I think I could be mistaken about this, but I think she was also wearing Oscar's Halloween costume when she hung herself. I could be wrong about that, though. Lethal Shark.
I love it.
Lethal Shark.
Nothing worse than a lethal shark. That's true.
Is there a non-lethal shark? I don't know if there is.
And look, and the face is perfect because that's exactly what you look like if you're driving and you do a lethal shark. That's exactly your face. That's perfect.
Did Corey intentionally kill himself to frame Laurie as his killer in front of Allison? I think the answer to that's yes.
Yeah.
If I can't have her, no one can would make sense. Laurie can't have her because their relationship is destroyed forever. Absolutely, that was his idea
100%.
in his brain.
Yeah, it was very much like a it was almost it was like a real life like serial killer shit, like Ted Bundy-ish almost.
Yeah. But it's also a victim of you gave us this whole Corey thing, and I love the character, and it was a shocking moment and it was a ballsy moment, but also, you spend a lot of time on this character just to dispatch him like that.
By the way, when I say Ted Bundy-ish, I know that Ted Bundy didn't do that, but this narcissism in him that Ted Bundy like exemplified, like Corey at that point was just full of himself. He was full of this idea that he was he couldn't do any wrong, I guess, in some way. I don't know. I felt like he was just an asshole. Like, he got made captain of the varsity team and now he's going to show everybody. I don't know. But yeah, he did that. He did that intentionally, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Good. Yeah, you're dead on that, dude. And thank you. John Carlin, thank you, buddy. Says, if you look really closely when the nurse walks out looking for the doctor by the pool, you can see Corey stabbing the doctor in the background for a good 5 seconds before she turns the light on.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. That was, and the fact that he was doing it with the corkscrew kind of reminded me of Friday the 13th, I love that scene, dude. That, especially when she sees him and she screams and he goes in the scarecrow thing. I was like, oh shit, it was creepy to me.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We'll leave the lights on for you.
Jordan Jackson says, are you going to do a commentary for Ends? Bitch, we done did that.
He's done did it. He's done did it.
That'll be up tomorrow. And then again, tomorrow night, we're interviewing the writer of Halloween Ends, Paul Brad Logan, and that will be up on Thursday.
He's the main writer.
He was all I know is that he's the top listed writer. When they put their names up, Paul Brad Logan was at the fucking top. And he also wrote the novelization, which coincidentally comes out tomorrow, the day we'll be interviewing him. Jordan Leggett, thank you, buddy, says wasted opportunity on the Myers house news clip.
Yeah, that's true, man. I didn't like that shit at all. They bulldozed that fucker down. I don't like that at all.
I like that they bulldozed it, honestly. And that was one of the first news updates we did on this movie, was that we found out that Laurie was going to bulldoze the house. I like the idea of doing it. I just wish we had a clip of Laurie buying it and bulldozing it as her way to try to help Haddonfield get over this. And I feel like that may be a scene that we get in the deleted scenes. I feel like that should have been a story point.
Well, sure. When Arkham, it's like when they blow up the fucking Wayne Manor at the end of Arkham Knight. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop, you asshole.
Z-Man's edits. Thanks, dude. Says, I honestly thought that Michael was going to kill Laurie and Allison was going to kill Michael. Also, there was a lot of footage and voiceovers in the trailers that didn't make it in the final cut. Absolutely, dude. Just another hint that they made 3 different fucking movies and just could not decide on what to do. All I can hope is that it ends in some awesome DVD footage or Blu-ray footage or whatever.
No, and I agree, and I also think, and I think I mentioned this when we were doing the commentary of the movie, is that it really felt like from 2018 to now, with Ends, they were trying to make Allison the main character, and I would have been fine with that.
She was
kill off Laurie, and then have her carry the legacy, and then do the battle with Michael. But I mean, I wanted to. If you're gonna do a final battle with Laurie and Michael, then have them both kill each other. But if you're not gonna do that, then at least have Allison take the mantle of the new badass, because she's a great character, amazing, a really good character that I feel like in a lot of ways was just not delivered upon in this movie.
At least at the end, for sure. They try to save it with that quick her coming in and breaking his arm, but there should have been something more cathartic for Allison, I feel like. DJ Graham, thanks, dude. Really appreciate that, man. Says every third entry in a Halloween trilogy is a weird story. Season of the Witch, Curse of Michael Myers, and now Ends. Damn, that's a really good fucking point.
True.
Also, the final fight had every opportunity to top H2O, but they failed miserably. Still an interesting movie.
Oh, show DJ Graham.
What resulted aside, the whole fucking her driving the van and going off the cliff and Michael being on the hood of the car and her beheading him was a way more legendary ending for Michael Myers, if you're going to compare the two.
Well, I keep going back to the fact, it felt unceremonious. It felt like a slap in the face. I don't know how you can do this to a character that's so iconic and so many people came to the theaters to see, which was Michael Myers, and then have him be done like that. I just don't get it. But I would have much rather taken the H2O ending over that ending any day of the week, because at least that made some sort of sense. This fact that he just gets fucking like goddamn slit throat wrist, and then they hold him down using the goddamn refrigerations to pin his legs. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing to my heroes?
And again, like, I like the movie, but I would have made 1,000 different decisions. Brennan Nix, thanks, buddy, says evil never dies. It's just the friends we make along the way, apparently.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's weird. Yeah, like, guys, I mean, come on. You guys don't have to stop being friends if you disagree about the movie. Fuck. Like, it's a movie. At the end of the day, it's a movie.
And I still think Michael Myers' legacy will end on through all the shit that he did in the end of the movie. They call me Stamps, motherfucker. Said, I know this will be controversial, but I like the final confrontation between Michael and Laurie better in H2O. The confrontation in Ends felt like it was undermined by the Corey subplot.
I agree. We were just talking about that, man. You must be psychic as fuck.
I'm pretty sure I like Ends better than I like H2O as a whole. But as far as endings go, I do like the ending of H2O better.
I think that Ends is definitely like, it's a different type of movie, and it's definitely one of those kind of movies that you don't see coming. H2O felt for me, H2O felt very formulaic, and it felt like its lifeblood was the Scream series. Like, it felt like it belonged in the Scream timeline, because it did feel like it was like overshadowed by that theme. But as far as the ending of Ends goes, man, I mean, to me, I like, you know what it's like? It's like fucking tuning in to goddamn Bash at the Beach, WCW, and seeing goddamn Hulk Hogan drop the leg on Macho Man, and then he joins the NWO. Are you serious? I was expecting him to save people.
Why are you doing this to me, Dimitri?
Yeah.
Joe Bob, thanks, buddy, says, one day of disappointment was worth the months of anticipation. I feel bad for those who went into Ends already hating it. Be positive more.
That's true.
Could not agree with you more on this, man. Like,
but you know, it is the internet, so you're never gonna get that to happen.
100%, man. Like, that's just really well fucking said, man. There were so many people that like hated this movie before it ever existed. You know, I mean, there's no reason to go into a movie feeling that way. Tristan Vargas, thank you so much, says, the whole time the team up was happening, I kept asking myself, why don't I hate this? Dude, fucking same. I was like, why am I enjoying this? It's against everything I believe in.
I don't know. I guess it's like the first time you experience anal sex. You're like, I should hate it, but I kind of enjoy it.
And some people do.
You were getting anally fucked and you kind of liked it. That's okay.
Bat Beast. I mean, I'll stick a finger in my ass when I'm feeling squirrely every now and then.
For sure.
Bat Beast.
2 fingers. I meant 3.
Says, what's up, guys? Hope y'all are doing amazing tonight. I'm feeling great, and it's because you find people, still over 1,000 people in this.
So cool, man.
Right now,
this has never happened. This is amazing.
Thank you, guys. What's up, guys? Hope you all are doing amazing. I enjoyed the movie and love the theme and darkness it had. It was fresh and thrilling. Only flaw I had was Michael's screen time, to be honest. And
I feel like he's on point. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are just not liking the runtime that Michael, the lack thereof of Michael Myers in this movie. But I feel like for me, and again, I'm in a weird camp, because I'm not like hating the movie, but I'm not loving the movie. Okay, this, like, I'm in the middle here. I don't think it's a terrible movie, and I definitely don't think it's worse than a lot of other movies I've seen in the Halloween series, but I definitely don't think it's very good. But I definitely feel like the lack of Michael Myers does kind of hurt it, and I do know that a lot of people are like, I went to a Halloween movie expecting at least a majority of it, or at least some of it, being Michael Myers, and it felt like I got robbed. Yeah, and I get that. I get that.
More Michael's never a bad thing. Gary says, Mike, you have so much stuff behind you. It reminds me of H5 or H6 for some reason. Yeah, we just kind of like threw up Halloween behind us in the background here. It was just like, what can we? Every year is so fucking hard. It's because like we try to outdo the Halloween background from the month before. But it gets stressful, dude. When you're in August, you're like, oh god, what are we gonna fucking do? And I'm always like, it's gonna suck. People are gonna hate it, but I think everybody's digging it. So
Mike looks like he's trapped in the fucking attic in Halloween 4, where there's just a bunch of random shit, and he has to keep throwing it down the steps.
Halloween's Michael just coming all over me, and I'm taking it. Rizzo Stizzo says, am I the only one who rewound the part where Jeremy gets hit in the face with the door? The sound he made was priceless. That's fucked up, dude.
Dude, I love that there's so many sick individuals that are on the same level as I am, because dude, I laughed my ass off in the theater. Like, even my wife, she was sitting next to me, I was like, and then she was like, oh no, it's all right. Because if you look at the way that motherfucker squishes on the floor, he goes, look, Like a fucking worm.
We're pieces of shit. That's human beings, man. Pixie Stick 666. That's probably the greatest fucking name of all time. And thank you so much. Says, I'm mad as fuck that they relived Sandra, the light bulb lady. Robbed of arguably one of the best kills from Kills, and it made it an injury. Also, I'm kind of obsessed with Corey's Scarecrow mask. Dude, same. That mask and the way it looks, like, especially when he looks up and is like, I dug it. I tried to buy it on Amazon. I can't find it.
It looks like a Dollar General mask. But yeah, it's kind of scary if you saw that motherfucker outside of Dollar General fucking killing someone, you'd be like, God damn, this is gonna be the Dollar General murders. But yeah, for sure.
Where you at,
I agree.
Treat Studios? Sell that bitch. I'll buy it. Sean, thanks, dude. Says, Jay, you and Evan should have owned it and finished with an awkward stepbrothers Derek and Brennan hug and high five. Fucking Halloween wine mixer. It's the goddamn Halloween wine mixer.
Who's Evan? Who's Evan?
I don't know who Evan is.
Does he think you're Evan?
Maybe.
Yeah. Hey man, I appreciate it. He don't even know Mike's fucking name. He just thinks his goddamn name's Evan.
Hey, I appreciate anybody with a good stepbrothers joke. So
hey man, your name should be Evan. You look like an Evan.
Thanks, Grumpy Old Nord. Appreciate that, man. And thank you again, Grumpy Old Nord.
By the way, the Catalina wine mixer can never be topped. You fucking idiots.
Just like every time I come, I produce a cork.
You ever had so much sex you had to ice your balls?
Gary says the fact that how that ends was going to be in the same night and plots were dropped. It makes me think this isn't the original story. Release the green cut element.
I agree. Gary, I'm telling you what. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we're not privy to. I definitely think that the delay hurt this movie a lot. And I feel like, well, Mike said it too. There was a lot of second guessing. I have a story, I have an idea, and then they're like, no, we have more time. Let's go back and rework, redo some things. And I feel like it hurts the movie sometimes.
Yeah, they definitely, there's a lot of stuff going on, dude, that we don't know about. Unreliable narrator. Thanks, buddy. Says, seeing as how Laurie died twice in the franchise, maybe they wanted to give her a happy ending. I agree with that. I think I'm fine with Laurie's happy. My favorite ending would have been Michael killing everyone and having this dark, fucked up, twisted ending. That's like a shocker. Kind of want the same thing in the Scream franchise, but if they're not going to do that, I'm happy to see Laurie have a happy ending.
I guess I'm just jaded, dude. I don't want to see that at all. Fuck it. I want to see
bullshit.
I want to see some real fucking shit, all right? All right? This isn't Mary Poppins. Fuck it.
Fuck Mary Poppins. Corey Myers with the skid mark Michael Myers mask says, creating a time jump hurts this film. I think it did in the end, probably. Yeah. I mean,
I know that little mask looks like it was like squished by two heavy boulders. And then he takes tickets in Beetlejuice World.
This is my pain. Oh shit. BC Firebat says, I was hoping to see Allison basically take Laurie's place because Michael's supposed to be unkillable. She was the one in Kills to really do some damage to Michael. Again, I like the screen time that Andy Matichak got because I thought she was amazing in the movie, and like I like that, but again, when it comes to Allison and Michael, he killed her fucking parents. So I would have been way into something that was more personal between her and Michael, for sure.
I feel like they had a personal moment in Halloween Kills, but I also feel like they could have finished it early on in Halloween Ends. And I agree with you 100%. Allison should have been, they had already set it up in 2018. She should have been the one that took over the Laurie Strode. And if you're not going to do the Van Helsing versus Dracula and take down the monster that's haunted him or her his whole life, then give it to the character that you've been developing since 2018 and let Allison take him down. I would have much rather watched that moment.
I would have been into that, dude. Splatter U Studio says, am I the only one that wants to know why Michael just wanted to stare out the damn window? No, dude, they fucking dropped that like a bad habit.
That's true.
They did Halloween Kills was all about that fucking window, and then they were just like, nah.
Like, you know what it was? He was staring out that fucking window. It was like, when's my Uber gonna get here? I called it like an hour ago.
That's when you wait on your friend to show up and hang out. You're like, God damn it, he's late.
It's like I had to fucking get an Uber and they had to come from another town, but Jesus.
It's true, man. Oath Butterfly says, I hate Halloween 6 with all my heart, but even that was a better movie than Halloween Ends. In my opinion, they did Michael dirty in this movie. I love Halloween 6.
I do too. I love this movie too. I feel like they did him dirty in Halloween Ends, though. Like,
little bit.
I feel like it was nasty.
Jake says, how's it going, guys? I like the movie for the most part, but understand why some didn't. I do feel like it works better as a standalone film. Also, there should have been an extended chase leading up to the final fight.
I agree.
Everything about that comment, Jake, everything you fucking said was truth spoken from the heart farts. Like, you're absolutely goddamn right. I mean,
Jake,
you are.
Jake with the wind is what WTW means. With the wind.
Thank you.
I don't know if that's what it means or not, but I will say yes. It could be. I don't know. What you're saying here as a standalone film, I think that's where the disconnect is happening, because I feel like again, and I was wrong because I watched it again during the commentary. Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, it feels like a movie. Like a sequel to that movie. And then when you get into Halloween Ends, it's kind of like, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened? Did someone get drunk?
Someone had a few too many old fashions.
I blame Christopher Nelson.
I blame him for everything.
Just a drunk coming in on set and slapping everybody out of the way. Like, I got an idea.
God damn that Christopher Nelson. Fitz on the Fritz says over under 5 years till another Halloween movie. We talked about this. I'm going to say over if you put a gun to my head, but I pray to God it's under. And I think we're going to get a TV series in 3.5 years. That's my guess.
I don't know. I would say, I don't know what I said. I'm just on the spot. I think it's going to be 5 years or more for a movie. But as far as the TV show, I definitely think a TV show is coming. Whether that's a good idea or a bad idea is, it is what we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's definitely a good guess, man. Jack, thank you, buddy. Says been a Patreon for a while now. Thank you for that, my son. Love what you guys do. And by the way, if you guys don't know, we have thousands and thousands of extra hours of content and live streams and shit on our Patreon. Much. There's a link right down below. If you guys are enjoying this,
there's so many drunk and terrible commentaries. You guys have no idea.
Yeah, there's tons of shit on there. He says, I loved Ends. Sucks that it's over for a while. We're in some uncharted territory now, fellas. But I think it's doing good enough, especially since they cocked it with the fucking Peacock thing. Yeah. Another fault that's universal, not Trancas's fault. It's still doing well at the box office. I think we'll get something. So,
I think that as long as the Accots hold ownership of it, it's going to be fine. It's always going to have a place to go 100%. So I'm not worried about, we're in an uncharted territory because it's going to be up to another studio or director to come up with an idea and figure out what they're going to do with it. But as long as I feel really comfortable, it's in the Cod's hands. And he's not going to let Michael die. He's not going to do some stupid shit with Michael. Yeah. So fine.
It's definitely not going the direction of Nightmare on Elm Street for sure. Muy guapo month says Oscar's mom hangs herself at the beginning of the movie.
Muy guapo month.
You can't do that. There's in his costume caught me off guard, but long-term storytelling, what? I love you. I do love that. She had it this crazy character who spoke 2 lines had this crazy arc, and there's little touches like that you do appreciate that they did for sure.
Well, I feel like what Mu Guptu Munt is saying is maybe they didn't really expand on, because they did make it kind of a thing in Kills, and they really didn't expand on it. And she just hung herself. I feel like there's so many scenes missing from this movie. It's unbelievable. I really feel like there's a whole fucking. I feel like there's more that they could have. If they wanted to make this movie 3 hours long, people would have still watched it and loved it.
I really wish they would have, to be honest. Scott Boyer says, "How amazing was the score? I think it might be one of the best ever. I love this little piano theme.
I love this. I loved it, Scott.
One of my most favorite things about the film. This movie, as much as it worked for me, and it surprisingly worked for me, would not have worked. I think this is Carpenter's best work on these really 3 films, dude. He just dripped in dread. It was so fucking good.
I had problems with the movie. The one thing I didn't have a problem with is the fucking score. The score was sexy.
Some of Carpenter's best work.
Yeah.
Third Man says, "What's up with the Packers? Fly, Eagles, fly." Well, let me tell you this. The Packers fucking suck. 27.
Yeah, them Philly Eagles.
Fucking Jets.
The Philly Eagles are undefeated, I guess. Hey, Mike, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Philadelphia or the Eagles?
Fucking dad. God damn it. I like Jalen Hurts, so I don't mind if the Eagles do good. I know. What the fuck? At least the fucking Brady's team sucks. Sean C. New World Crypto. Hey, it's not doing so well right now, crypto, but Who knows? It says
He's
this
a
movie,
new world crypto.
this movie fuck 3 World 313. This movie wasted the chance to properly end the story of an absolute icon. I haven't seen a franchise murder this bad since Rise of the Skywalker.
Woo!
It's not though. But
I
that's the
like
thing.
them words. He took his lightsaber and said, "I'll stab you in the face."
But if it was the end of the franchise, yeah, but like it's not. Like it's definitely not. So
I feel like
we're
what
all
he's
good.
saying. Well, the thing about what you're saying though is Rise of Skywalker was fucking. I don't like Rise of Skywalker. I agree with you.
Green titty
Yeah,
milk.
it was fucking awful, and that was just Abrams. What he was trying to do was erase that fucking goddamn pea stained bedcloth that Rian Johnson left with The Last Jedi, because it was a fucking terrible movie. And I don't think this movie was bad in a lot of ways, because the icon of Michael Myers was not ended in the way that it should have been ended. Just like Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi was just thrown away. Fuck that shit. But I don't think it was as bad. Like Last Skywalker was just like a PR attempt to cover up the damage that Rian Johnson had done.
Yeah,
Halloween Kills wasn't that bad.
No, Castaway. Damn, that's a nice beard, dude. That's thick. Says, I think Corey did good work with the mask. I got Friday Part 5 vibes. I want to see the Lori ending. The one where she ends it. But and then I got Mad Michael versus Ninja Turtles.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Power.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Michael.
yeah, it was not good.
I get it, man. Gary, thanks, buddy. Says, I'm going to say it. Michael didn't need to be in the movie at all. This could have been a Corey spinoff. It could have been.
He's not lying. You're not lying, Gary. You're not lying.
People could have. Yeah, if they ever went the fucking anthology route with Halloween, which I think is the worst fucking idea of all time, you could have gone that route with Corey.
You could have Michael at the very end, like the fucking architect in The Matrix.
Yeah, they are lucky, dude. They are fucking lucky that Corey and that Rowan Campbell is such a good actor and he's such an interesting character. Because if he wasn't, man, a lot more problems. Adam Contreras, thanks, buddy, says, liked it, but needed more epic scenes and a main actor should have died. What timeline do you guys hope for whenever we do get a new Halloween movie?
We mentioned that. We
did talk about that. I think we both landed on H6, even though that's never going to happen because we're never going to be that lucky.
But yeah.
My dream is that they do a TV series and they make each episode a different script that never happened, so that in one fell swoop we get to go back into all the timelines. That's my dream, but it'll never fucking happen.
But I agree with you. Epic scenes and a main actor that should have died, dude. 100%. I feel like it was a very pussy way of fucking tiptoeing around. Laurie Strode needs to die.
The only main person they killed was Michael. Unfortunately,
I know, but he should. Like, everybody expected him to die, but not alone. Okay, no one wants to be alone.
Right. Yeah, and dude, no one wants to be alone. Definitely, Michael should have had 10 more minutes of full-powered, badass Michael Myers screen time. This is his last movie.
I wanted the goddamn Green Goblin versus Spider-Man.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Spider-Man, the teleworker with a sweet icon says, Corey was actually my favorite part. I loved him too, man. I never thought I would be okay with the new killer, but I was. The third act did none of the characters justice. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
I did too.
You didn't say a single lie in that whole fucking super chat, man. Not a single fucking lie. Totally agree with you.
Well, let me see. I never thought it would be okay with a new killer, but I was. The third act did none of the characters justice. 100%. The third act was garbage. The third act was terrible. The new killer, I go back to this. If they'd established Corey early on in the fucking series, I would have been better with it than just dropping that goddamn nuclear bomb on your face and be like, I didn't do it. Russia did it.
I'm a liar.
I didn't do shit.
Dave B, thanks, buddy. Says, really appreciate that, man. Says, hey guys, I enjoyed Ends. I got Nightmare 2 and Freddy 5 vibes for obvious reasons. Nightmare 2 is another. Yeah,
that's weird. I don't know about that one, but
I get it. I know I get it because the possession thing, but like Willie's kill scene was great. That was awesome, dude. When he pulls back his head and the tooth falls out mid-head, I was like, oh, this is
that was cool. I do remember that, yeah.
I thought of you guys when Michael busted a nut in the sewer.
He was like, oh, God damn it. God, I haven't had a V8 in a long goddamn time. It's like you got a V8.
You gotta get that fucking those vitamins, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Van Des Cinema says Michael's seen Laurie's past memories at the end of the fight, similar to Corey and Michael's encounter. We've talked about that. She then ends the movie saying evil doesn't die, it changes shape, shows the mask on her table. This goes back to the ending they didn't film. I think that this was meant for a different ending. for sure. Where
I feel
Michael
like-
passes the evil
yeah.
to her. It's definite.
Well, when I saw the mask on the table, I felt like again it was like, to me it was another unceremonious end to an icon like that. It looked like a paperweight. I'm like, all right, well, so you're gonna keep that shit? I don't know. I felt like it was so like, dude, if you're gonna show Michael Myers' mask laying unattended on the ground, the best they ever did it was with Curse of Michael Myers, when it was laying on the ground and you hear Loomis scream. That was more iconic than just laying it on the fucking table like you bought that shit at the gift shop. I don't like that shit.
I get it. I mean, that scene didn't bother me because I was like, obviously she would keep the mask. But Chuck Carter, thanks, buddy, says Michael used Corey to get away with killing and vice versa. We often refer to Michael as super smart, so why not? I agree with both sides, but when's the last time we had a movie to talk so much about? That last line that you said?
That's true.
The funnest part of this movie is how much there is. That's why there's over 1,000 people in here right now. They gave us so much shit to digest, and that us Halloween fans are having a blast getting together and talking about it. Even if we're angry, it's still fun.
Well, you can be angry and disagree with the person next to you, but you're respectful and you're like, I get it.
Exactly.
I get why you didn't like it, but that's where we're better than fucking Star Wars fans, by the way. Because they're fucking goddamn. Those motherfuckers are goddamn critters. They'll fucking eat your dick off if you give them a chance.
Thank you, Riley Stewart. Appreciate that, man. Glenn Harris, goddamn, Glenn Harris is a good man. He's a good son of a bitch. I like that guy. He says, notice when Michael was about to snap Corey's neck, he looked into his eyes again as if he was transferring the energy back. Michael busted in his pants. That they did do that. When Michael goes to grab his face, you see the camera zoom back in. He's like, oh. He looks like a fucking dog about to eat something.
Yeah, that was a lot of BDSM going on right there.
It's true, though, dude.
I'm the master. What are you doing?
It's a great point, man.
You're supposed to submit.
Oh,
wow,
damn,
man.
Damn. Clark,
that looks like Tom DeLonge's brother.
Fuck
in the profile pic.
Thank you, man. Thank you so fucking much, dude. Huge super chat says, I'm just grateful to have another Halloween movie. Well fucking said. We could live in a time where we're in the world of Freddy and Friday the 13th where we're not getting dick. And yet here we are all talking about Halloween together. How beautiful is that? Says, would I have liked more Michael? Yes, and us too. But I appreciate that it's something different and it was well made rather than being some straight to VHS garbage. Preach the fucking truth, dude. He says, I'm sure fans will come to appreciate this one more over time. Couldn't agree more with everything you just fucking said.
Yeah, James. I mentioned most of what you just said here multiple times. The fact that you get to go to a movie theater and listen to the John Carpenter score as a Halloween fan is incredible. It was well made. I don't think anybody's argued that it wasn't well made. It looks good. And as far as like the VHS garbage, I grew up in a time where that's exactly what they were on the verge of doing. Resurrection should have been VHS garbage. In a way, Curse of Michael Myers was on the cusp of being a VHS garbage film because they were going to put it and relegate it to VHS only, and that didn't happen, thank God. But yeah, dude. Well, I think that we've talked about this multiple times. I mean, you're preaching to the choir. We've talked about this multiple times as well. I feel like as Halloween fans, as people that enjoy the genre, the thing is, we all appreciate the fact that Michael Myers is still relevant in today's world. Like, people are still wanting to go buy tickets to see Halloween, and that's great. That's a great feeling, man. Because at least you're gonna be able to go to the movie theater and see a movie around Michael Myers or Halloween, versus like, Jackie or Haley being the victim in a shitty fucking remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, or Jason just disappearing off the earth. So you're a good guy, man. And you know what? You look like, in your profile pic, you do look like Tom DeLonge's older brother with a beard, and I like that. But you look like you're like kicking open a barn door where all the nerds that are like mad about Halloween are staying, and you kick the door open. You're like, "Hey guys, are we Halloween fans or not?" Like in RoboCop 2, let's go kick some ass.
And then we all
are we shots. Cops?
And then we all do shots. I love it, dude. Yeah, I absolutely love that fucking comment, man. And thank you so much for the fucking super chat. Frankenstein Studio, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Myers works best when you don't know if he's supernatural. Couldn't agree more. They kind of did that with Corey. Did evil transfer to him upon gazing to those sexy eyes of evil, or did his mouth kissing mom just pass on some Pornhub style mental issues?
Who knows?
Maybe
man.
she passed some dark shit. It's hard to tell.
I don't, I feel like these comments though, and I do appreciate all you guys, and that's awesome of you. Thank you, Frankenstein Studios. It really pisses me off that we have to do this kind of exposition with the plot.
For
It's
ourselves. Yeah.
It should have been pretty clear what they were doing, and that we have to do these fill in the blank shits. I hated doing that, by the way, when I took fucking goddamn tests for the ACTs. Like, fill in the blank. Like, fuck that shit. I don't know what they were gonna say. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But who knows, man? I don't know.
But I totally agree that Myers works best when it's he walks that line of, is he supernatural or not? That's the way to do it. And sometimes they've nailed that, and sometimes they fucked that up. Riley Stewart, thank you so much, dude. Goddamn, you guys are all being so fucking kind to us.
Amazing.
Man. We really appreciate it. And it's not just super chats, but this is the fact there's still over 1,000 people in here, almost 3 hours deep. We're still an hour behind in super chats. It's a fucking beautiful place to be. Goddamn, do we appreciate
you guys just want to have sex with us, huh?
I want to fuck you all in my bunk tonight. Riley Stewart says the Corey and Myers situation didn't bother me all that much due to the fact that the evil is the entity that took over Michael, and then Corey. So essentially, Michael and Corey are the same entity. You could say that, yeah. Like, is it Michael even? Is it this child that grew up to be Michael even doing this, or is it that weird fucking fallopian tube that flew into him as a child that night that he stabbed his sister's tits?
Well, again, I think the biggest problem with that is that you have to establish that early on, especially if you're telling a trilogy story.
Yeah, we are just reaching it.
You're not gonna if you just introduce that shit all of a sudden, people are like, please stop smoking the crack, Dave Chappelle.
Stick to a point.
Come back from Africa. Because he had to go there to get over his nervous breakdown. Stop doing it. Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah, it's a great fucking point, Riley. Chuck Carter, thank you, man. Says Mike J and all of us have seen this movie, therefore we watched a movie, and we did. And here we are, people who fucking watched a movie.
We watched the movie.
J-Man 3081 says, I don't buy that Corey would kill in the fashion Michael does. I love the kills, but I feel Corey has enough humanity in him to just kill with a knife. I mean, if you're gonna fucking kill people, what does it really matter how you're gonna do it?
Well, yeah, it's like one of those things. Like, I'm not gonna check my serial killer handbook. But like, well, now at my second victim, I am supposed to bash her face into the concrete as I encounter her in the junkyard.
Yeah, I think he was just like, corkscrew. That feels nice.
I guess I'll use the blowtorch.
That blowtorch was dope, by the way. Fuck, that would be a shitty way to die. Movie Juice. Damn, I love that name and that picture, dude. It says, just watch Ends for the second time, and I gotta say, I like the copycat kills of Corey. It gave me OG Myers vibes. Dude, same. If you'd have read that to me, I'd have been like, nope, pass. But when I watched it, I was like, this shit's exciting. It gets my dick kind of hard, and I feel weird about it. But
I'd be okay with it if it was Scream. But since it's not, no.
It's a weird place to be for sure.
Yeah.
Robin Barker, thank you, dude. Appreciate that, man. So fucking much. Rip Tide 92 with that goddamn Stranger Things bowl haircut.
I love it. I love it.
Hey guys, love your channel. Did you guys see the interview with Danielle Harris and Heather Langenkamp wanting to come back as Jamie and Nancy?
No, I'd be good with neither one of that happening. So I'm good with that. No.
Yeah, the character of Jamie Lloyd, I'd love to see redemption.
Jamie Heather and Nancy. No, dude. It says like, hey, Danielle Harris and Heather Langenkamp. I'm like, nah.
I'm actually at the point with Heather Langenkamp's Nancy that like we're so on the edge of Robert Englund's career and whatever. Like, I'm fine. That series definitely needs to move on. We do not need a Nightmare Legacy sequel. We do not.
Heather Langenkamp had the best. She really had a great ending with Dream Warriors. I think so.
Well, then,
but even with the new Nightmare, and then they even like that's what I'm saying. They even gave her an extra one. Yeah. So I'm like, no, like that shit's done.
Don't blame them for wanting that though, for sure. No. I mean, I would too. Unreliable Narrator says, I didn't care for this trilogy. However, it's awesome to see a new Halloween movie in the theater, and I'll be in the theater seat waiting for life. We will too, bro.
Sure. Yep, that's what I'm saying, man. We've all talked about that, and I think that as Halloween fans, we can all come together and appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. How nice.
As long as the Halloween doesn't end, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, just don't take it away, Greg.
Don't take it away.
It was so fun to sit in a theater and watch Halloween again, man. Michael Hicks, thanks, buddy, says, I cannot believe Michael got beat by a guy like Corey. I'm going to keep telling myself he let him do it. By the way, big fan of y'all's channel. You guys have made me laugh out loud so many times. Keep it up. Thanks, man.
Hey, Michael, man, you are so right, dude. That's what I was in, like, denial. Like, I can't believe I saw my dad get beat up by an asshole. Like, it was like my dad was the toughest person ever that I knew, and he got fucking punked out by a 17-year-old kid that drinks Yoo-Hoo from the fucking gas station. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, this fucking, my dad is the baddest motherfucker I ever seen in my life. This motherfucker went through Vietnam. He got medals. And then he got punked out by some asshole kid at fucking Shell. Like, that's how it felt, dude. I felt the same way. I was like, no, it's all part of a plan, though. It's all part of a plan. And then it didn't turn out to be that plan. And I got pissed. Like, how you do that to my dad, huh?
That scene hurt, dude. It really did. Flatbed Chat, thank you, buddy. Says, hey guys, I love the content. Could you envision whoever picks up the series next doing a movie with Michael from 6 to 21 where he doesn't kill Judith and we get to know his parents and a young Loomis?
No, bro. No.
I love you, man, but that's too that you smoke too much on that one. It's too
flatbed. Hard. Get off the flatbed and get with the real red. We can't be doing that around here. Jesus
it's
Christ.
Already so confusing.
6 to 21, where he's like, does he like join the Catholic Church and not get raped, and he becomes a choir boy, and then you're just gonna be like, and then it's gonna be like his parents, and then young Loomis talking like, oh well, what if he had gone that way? We would not have known what had happened.
Don't get me wrong, I would watch it, but it would just be way too confusing for the mainstream audience for sure. But I like where your head's at, man. Fitz on the Fritz, thanks, dude. Says, in my head, Laurie has stated maybe the only way he can die is if I die. Was that line? I think that line actually didn't make the movie. I'm pretty sure that line was just in the trailers, by the way. It says, to Laurie, she maybe thought Michael choking her out would be the way for them both to go, just how I have it in my head. But again, Fitz, I'm pretty sure that the line of maybe for him to die, I didn't actually make the final cut.
Well, you know what? The thing is, that would have made more sense if they had gone with the actual, if they had kept in that Michael was obsessed with them being related.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Gone. And that was gone. So that line would have made zero sense.
Yeah, and yeah, that's true. Frankenstein Studio, thank you, buddy, says, people say it's not a proper end to the trilogy, but it's the fourth movie in this continuity, which is true. It's just easier when you look at it, David Gordon Green's trilogy, but I get what you're saying, like, if you're being particular about it. Kills was the end of the trilogy that ties the first three movies together. If anything ends as an epilogue, sure, but you're kind of grasping at straws there because, like, Ends wasn't a definitive end, or Kills had no definitive end to it whatsoever. Karen dies, and then we're left on a cliffhanger. It's still technically a trilogy if you look at it as David Gordon Green's trilogy. You know?
Well, an epilogue would have been like 20 minutes. Like, you're not going to have a whole, like, almost 2-hour movie explaining. And the thing about the Karen death, it literally felt like there was no impact in the movie whatsoever with her death. And, you know, and I blame that on the fact that they had to move it 4 years away or whatever, but it was just.
Yeah. I think that fucks stuff up for sure. AD 1987 Colonial says, Ends ruined it for me. The entity of evil was castrated in this movie. Hashtag death by Fridge.
That's fucking true, man. I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying.
When we're leaving the theater, these two girls were like, so he survived all that shit in Kills just to get killed by a fucking fridge. And it was funny. It is funny. But, I mean, come on. The fridge didn't kill him.
That motherfucker got killed by a Frigidaire. No, he's right, though. I mean, Michael couldn't even move a fucking fridge. He couldn't move his knee up and fucking push that bitch away.
He pulled his hand out, though. He was
one thing. But no, man, that was fucking. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I would have fixed that too. So Gillette, the best a man can get. Gillette.
That's a great guy right there.
What's up, guys? Hope you're doing good. I personally didn't like this movie. I literally cried when he died. I was mad and almost yelling when they showed him weak. But if you like it, much love, no hate for me. Hey man, I'm mad about the same things you're mad about, for sure.
That's how we should all be. Hey man, if you like the movie, all power to you. But yeah, that was some dog shit, dude. That was some dog shit.
As much as I like the movie overall, certain things about it I hated. Love you, Sutter. And thanks, man. Dan Sky, thanks, buddy, man. That's super fucking sweet of you. We really appreciate it, man. And I like how it's pink. It just makes it kind of
the sky all day long.
I think Corey had the best scene in the movie, that salvage yard scene where he killed the band from the High School Musical. They were the band from High School.
Who didn't want to do that?
he looked and felt like Michael. That whole sequence really felt like a Halloween movie. Then he went back to Donnie Darko mode. That's well fucking said, dude. When he gets,
you
when
kept
that
on
camera,
mentioning Donnie Darko a lot.
yeah, dude. But with like, and when the camera pans over and he gets out of the truck and the wrench drops in his hand and the score, John Carpenter's score, starts to get fucking gnarly and horny. He felt like Michael in that scene, and I think that's why I was so okay with it being Corey. Like I thought that was fucking cool.
Well, I think my problem with it was the fact that I knew it wasn't Michael.
Yeah.
If I knew it wasn't Michael and it was a pretender to the throne, and I feel like if this is Michael Myers' final outing, don't give the best fucking kills to a Walmart Michael or a Kmart or whatever your prep target. Like, give it to fucking Michael. Like, if he wants to come in and do some fucking kills, cool. Cut those kills out. And people mention, oh, they seem like they cut they moved away from the kills. Do that for him. Not like, I don't know, man. I feel like those kind of kills for me, like what they did, I was like, dude, I wanted to see Michael do that shit. Yeah, not fucking a fake wannabe.
I get both takes. I mean, it's an interesting take either way you look at it, man. And thank you for that, dude. David Hopman says, with all the unanswered questions, Ends isn't The Last Jedi. It's more like The Rise of the Skywalker.
Well, no. Well, you know what happened with that whole thing was Ends was a disaster for what they did because Rian Johnson, likes to lick anal beads, and he fucked that character up, and that decision making that he did. Everybody almost universally panned that movie. Even Mark Hamill came out and said, that's not my Luke Skywalker. Mm-hmm. And then the Rise of Skywalker tried to fix what he did. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
You want to go pee first this time? Is it your turn to pee first?
I got to go. Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Take a pee. Pinky got to go pee.
I got to go pee in the toilets. I'll do that.
Tyler Rumfeld, dude. Good to see you, buddy. What did I do? Why did I make your face bigger than
mine? Air. Oh. I was dropping a deuce.
oh shit. Ruffeld said the Halloween 3 music is all over Ends. They remixed it and slowed it down. If you listen close, I didn't notice that, dude. You're right though. This is the H3 of the trilogy for sure. Especially, and again, since they didn't explain it, I think the fact that you saw Michael's face carved into the cave was the ultimate H3 tie-off because of Stonehenge and all the stuff they did with H3. I think that's you're fucking spot on, dude. I didn't notice it with the score, but definitely with the opening and the font and all that shit like that. You're absolutely goddamn right. And I want to sleep with you. Chris Dietz said, love you guys. I wish when the cop sees Michael for the first time, there was more of an impact for this cop seeing the guy that killed half the town isn't dead. Same thing, dude. I thought the same thing. You can pass that off as, by the way, the cop had Michael Shannon vibes, but you can pass that off as, I just got hit in the head with a fucking flashlight and I'm in a cave and I'm about to be murdered. So I'm as scared can get. But I thought the same thing. You would think he would be like, that's fucking Michael Myers, and he just had almost no reaction. It felt like to seeing Michael Myers, but it's a great fucking point, Chris. I thought the same goddamn thing, my good man. MILF Man. Aren't we all? For a split second to the far right of the screen, you can see Michael approaching Corey after he's thrown over the bridge by the band nerds. I just saw that on Twitter. I'll retweet it on Twitter. So if you guys haven't seen it, you can check it out there. But yeah, someone screenshotted it. There's a quick second when Corey falls off the bridge that you see Michael in the corner, and that's fucking wild. It's also weird because you would figure Michael was in the fucking tunnel and then comes out to grab him. But excellent point, my man. Dan Sky with another super chat from the sky. I want to fuck a guy. Wait, that's nobody's business but mine. Dan Sky says, when Laurie has the knife to Michael's throat, I was waiting for him to say something, since that was one of the central themes of 2018. We'd seen him maskless too many times, so might as well hear his voice. What do you think he would have said? Definitely didn't want that. One of our biggest things for coming up to this movie is don't have him speak. We even asked the writer of H2O when we interviewed him, because in one of his early scripts, Michael said Laurie, and we were like, why? And he was like, that wasn't my idea. He was like, someone at the studio told me to put that in there, basically. I just don't feel like Michael should ever speak. I also don't feel like they should have shown his mask in this franchise as much as they have. Jay was absolutely right. They got really fucking boner hard for showing Michael without his mask on, and they came when they showed him with that fucking weird chin hair in this one. Never ever want to see Michael speak. It's like Silent Bob coming out and be like, most chicks don't bring you lasagna at work. They just cheat on you. Like, I just don't need to hear Michael's fucking thoughts. It takes away, it's the central thing to take away all the mystery. I do get where you're coming from. They inch towards it, especially with the say something, that shit that they did. But he probably would have been like, if he said anything, I think it would have been a Don Draper moment where like Lori was like, for years, I've tried to hold you back and stop you and get rid of you. If he did say anything, the thing I would want him to say would have been, I don't think about you at all. You know what I mean? Like him to be like, I don't even know who you are, bitch. Leave me alone. That would have fucked her psyche up, and that would have been intense. But hey, really appreciate that, Dan Sky. Thank you so much, man. And great topic. Frankenstein Studio, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Says top 3 ideas on what to do next. Daniel Hare sequel, Cult of Thorns sequel, reboot that adapts Halloween 1 and 2 into one movie, but with all the original characters other than Michael and maybe Loomis. Thoughts, preferences? I love the idea of a Daniel Hare sequel. It's just hard to get the common audience on board with that. It's going to make it way too confusing, but I would love to see that character get justice. Call It the Thorn sequel, exact same. Would love to see it. Don't know how you get the common fan to get the box office happening for it. The reboot that adapts 1 and 2 into one movie, all original characters, Michael and Loomis, same feelings. This goes back to my original idea. I think the way, if you're going to patch these holes of the Halloween timelines, the way to do it is to go back, make a series, do it like they did Stranger Things, hour and 20-minute episodes, legit like almost movie episodes, 10 episodes on Netflix, a major arc, and you patch the stories of the Halloween universe. Look at how popular Halloween is. As far as a TV show goes, it would survive based on the hardcore fans. And at the beginning of every episode, you have someone come in, like almost a Twilight Zone thing, and explain the story we're about to see. We're about to tell you the story of the Halloween 4 that almost happened, where we last left off, Michael and Loomis were exploded in a hospital. And then you tell Dennis Etchison's script, you tell a different Jamie Lloyd story, and you just pick and choose almost like a Marvel's what if of the Halloween franchise. That's the only way to go back and patch these holes and not have it confusing for the audience. The only way to do it theatrically for me is to either reboot the franchise with no Laurie Strode, change the characters, or go back and make Halloween 9. Michael's eyes open up in the morgue, and we move on from there. Brand new characters, brand new everything. But there's so much to talk about with that, man. That's going to be a whole live stream in itself before we're done. Tyler Rumfeld, thanks, buddy. Says, dude, I found out the kids Lori sees trick-or-treating in 1978 once she gets home are the same kids who bullied Lonnie in Kills. What the fuck? It's true. Yeah, that makes sense. And you even had a Mulaney was the cop. If you notice when the cop is chasing Corey in there, he's like, nobody fucks with Doug Mulaney or whatever. It's nice to have them tie that shit back in. But it's another one of those things that they made it seem like it was going to be so much more important in those movies than it ultimately ended up being in Ends, for sure. Say's Music, thank you, man. Says, after watching the trilogy again, the Corey storyline actually makes more sense, especially Laurie talking about the evils and affection and Kills. Tiny ties in. But there's also so much in those previous movies that didn't come to fruition. So it's frustrating. Like when you can't come. I've never had that happen, to be honest with you. I don't know what that's like, but thank you, Sace. Tyler says, dude, I love when Hawkins says Michael doesn't use guns. Ask Kelly Meeker, bro. They didn't fuck with that, right? The only time Myers ever used a gun was in Halloween 4 when he literally impaled her with one, but he doesn't know how to pull the trigger, just like some of us can't find the clitoris. I don't have that problem, but some people do. It's true. That's what I hear. What? Norris, thanks, buddy. Says, I hate how people trash Halloween 6 when it's one of my favorites. Halloween Ends is not as good because at least in 6, you got a vicious Michael. I don't know how I rank them. I don't. But Halloween 6 is one of my favorites because it does all the fun shit of Ends with taking swings and doing ballsy weird shit. But also, you had a mean, vicious, angry fucking Michael, and you had the massacre scene to fucking boot. That shit was absolutely goddamn toodalutely glorious, Norris. You're absolutely right. Jay, we're at Danger Zone at 10:04 p.m. Can you hear me? Jay. Well, I'll read this one while he's getting sorted. Danger Zone says, love y'all boys, man. When Corey accidentally killed the boy, the Curb Your... That's the music should have started playing. Or the scene from Seinfeld, the boom, 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 boom. Oh shit! Someone should edit that and make that for sure. Jay, can you hear me? Hello. You got Jay's having sound issues. No, that's
no. I'm
fake.
kidding.
I can tell
I'm
that's
kidding.
fucking fake. You're a lying piece of
I
shit.
can hear you the whole fucking time.
Fucking
As
asshole.
much. I know. I wanted
Chris
to get everyone annoyed.
Dietz says, "Love you guys. So what are we all thinking? Your interview tomorrow should be just a court case of the fuck were you all thinking?"
Dude, you know what? I thought about that too, but apparently he's such a not. First off, we don't listen, man. We're always honored and happy that any writer or anybody that's related to the movie that wants to come on here. We're never like that, but it is one of those moments where you're like, "Hey, man, were you unhappy with something in your life? Like, what was going on?"
I love interviewing writers because
they're the ones you get all the information from. That's it.
Yeah, and they're not the final say. Like, so I just want to know where his head was when he was doing that certain stuff, and not even in a negative way.
No,
he's not the final decider of this stuff, and I can't wait to figure out how the book. That's gonna be.
And the other thing is the writers of these kind of films, man, they've got so much material that there's no way that it can be filmed because there's just too much of it. And I feel like this guy's got like a fuck ton of stories to actually grace us with. So
yeah. By the way, we're at 10:06 p.m. with Big Ape is the next one.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Oh yeah, there it is. Big Ape. Woo!
I'll be right back.
All right. All right, Big Ape. Let's get it done. Donkey Kong, I don't give a fuck. Says, why would they make a Michael Myers movie that doesn't star Michael? Go Birds. I mean, what the fuck are you saying? I think you're right. I don't know. That's true. I don't know, man. It's like, why did they make Halloween Season of the Witch? Because John Carpenter said so. It is true, though. It is weird. Michael Myers did not star in this movie very often. He was not there as much as he should have been. It is very much as you say. And go Birds. My wife is a big Philadelphia Eagles fan, and she's definitely going Bird all the time. She flips me off every day. I do not. As she shut the fuck up. You do. So yeah. And I'm not spitting. I'm not dipping. I don't do that shit. But yeah, good point, man. Good point, Big Ape. And I like it. Where are we at now? Frank James. I like that shit. You sound like a fucking train robber from the old 1800s. Have you ever heard the legend of Frank James? No one has. This is his story. You could be played by, I don't know, not Emilio Estevez because he's too old. Like, we're not going to do Young Guns 3 here. Frank James, you could be played by that little asshole from Spider-Man. What's his name? Tom Holland. Anyway, why did writers feel the need to make the babysitting kids sarcastic little pricks throughout the trilogy? Did Michael cream when he stabbed the officers? These are important questions that we must explore together. I feel like your first point, why did they feel the need to make them asshole little pricks? I don't know. I guess that's how kids are generally. That makes no sense, by the way, because I would quit my job if I were a babysitter. I would be like, fuck you, kid. You're on your own. I ordered a pizza. Good luck figuring that out. I'm going to leave you alone now because you're a prick. You call me ugly and you call me an asshole. I'm not going to be down with that. Yeah, they all were. They all kind of, well, the first one, I was all right with that one. This third one, though, I was happy the kid got. Anyway, and did he cream his pants when he stabbed the officer? Absolutely. There was a lot of evil cream coming out this evening in the sewer pipe with Michael Myers when he got his powers back for show. What the fuck happened? Okay, I'm good. The Amazing Webhead. That's a great name, and I love Spider-Man and Webhead. I love it. I love the whole thing. Ends feels like a movie set in a continuity instead of a finale, much like Rogue One. P.S. Michael and Corey are like a twisted Batman and Robin. I'm pretty much reflecting what you said. I've talked about that before. That whole scene when he's wearing the Scarecrow mask and the team up that happens, it's very Joel Schumacher-ish, Batman and Robin. It's very corny. Didn't like it at all. There were moments in that, like when the camera's focused on Michael and he comes out and he stabs that bitch and he pins her against the wall. It's amazing. But putting the hand against the glass, get the fuck out of here. I don't want any of that. And the continuity instead of a finale, I got to give you props for that, because that's a good analogy there. It definitely does not feel like the end to a trilogy by any means. So thank you for the super chat. And Dakota Buckner, thank you as well. Says, what's up, guys? I loved ends. For me, it's tied with kills for first place in the H40 timeline. Did you guys hear the breathing before the end credits? I didn't. I was so Vietnam vet PTSD shocked what the fuck they just did. Like, I wasn't paying attention to whether Michael was breathing, because I was like, I hope he's fucking like dead from the bleed out bullshit they did to him, and have to live through this shit. No, I didn't notice a breathing. And for me, Dakota, I didn't like it that much at all. I'm glad you did, though. I'm glad you had a good time with it. To me, it was just a big old steaming pile of duty sometimes. All right, especially that ending. That was I felt like Jeff Goldblum. That is one big pile of shit. One big pile of shit. Could have gone 100 different ways, and most of those would have been better, but it is what it is. But I appreciate you, Dakota. Thank you so much. Corey Cunningham says, my neck hurts a lot right now, and personally, my feeling are being hurt a lot more. Why is one feeling being hurt? I mean, are you saying your feelings or your feeling? Who hit you in the funny bone, Corey? But listen, Corey, I know what you're saying, because your name is Corey, and I like that you've changed your profile pic to Corey, but you're not really Corey, and you're going to be okay there, Corey. I had a friend once named Corey for like 2 minutes.
He was a dick, but I'm sure you're nice.
He really was. He really was.
Oh God, dude, it's so cold outside. It's fucking winter here. I mean,
no, I know. I like it though. I love fucking cold weather though.
Damn, my titties hurt. Mm-hmm. Danger zone says every victim was made to be unlikable. Bad trope. I mean, that's pretty much horror. Right?
Yeah, I guess I can agree with you. No, yeah, the DJ was asshole. I didn't. Yeah, I hated them all. You're right. All the victims were assholes. 100%.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, maybe you could say not Corey, but I mean, he was a murderer. So, Bushwhack18, thanks, man. Says, what if Lori, after rolling Michael into the compactor, realizes the person that has shaped her entire life for 40 plus years is now gone and goes through the suicide and jumps in with Michael?
I think that. I was like, listen, that bitch drank a shit ton of boons for him. I think that. I think that would be dumber than shit.
Just
she was
quick
like,
decision.
Woo!
Quick decision. Gary says, I want to see what happened after H3. Oh, that would be a fun place to jump in, but I just don't want it without Myers. Yeah, as long as Myers showed back up, I'm good.
Yeah.
Brett, thank you so much, dude. Really appreciate that, man.
Thank you, Brett.
Pixie Stick 666 says too much of Michael's face, and he looked like they put Jason Voorhees in a Myers mask. Woof.
I agree with you. Yeah, and that was one of the biggest complaints. I think Mike and I even agreed on it. We have disagreements on this film, but dude, why the fuck are you going to show his face that goddamn much? I think it was so goddamn stupid, and they knew it was going to make people mad. They knew it, and they did it anyway.
Yeah, didn't like that at all, man. Us either. Brett W. I actually gave it a 10 out of 10. It was unexpected. I love the tag team do it. I dig it, man. I liked how punk it was too.
I don't think your name's Brett W. You might as well be Brett the Hitman Hart walking down with that kind of attitude. That leather jacket. You're going to give your fucking sunglasses away to a kid. I know.
I love it, though. Brian Nash, thanks, buddy. Says, should have been 18, 4 years later ends, same night kills. Again, yeah, the jumping around the timeline really fucked with shit, dude. I mean, it did.
Well, that was going to happen, yeah.
For sure. Michael Parton, thanks, buddy. Says, would you guys watch a gay Halloween reboot?
I'll watch whatever the fuck. If it's Halloween in the title, I'll watch it. I don't give a shit what's going on. If they got if they got a pump and dump and like a butt cheek situation, fuck, I'll watch it.
Ultimate Spotty 24 says, would love to read the OG script before the rewrites. Dude, same. Maybe one
Dude,
sweet day we can get our hands
100%. Yes. I want to see what their mindset was before the COVID happened. 100%.
Maybe one sweet day we can get our hands on that shit, dude.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Vinny C, dude, it's good to see you, Vinny. God
damn. Hey, Vinny, holy shit, man.
I'd like to see a direct continuation from H4. Same. Brings back familial aspect, but still keeps it kind of mysterious as to what drives Michael. As long as Jamie Lloyd's not the killer, and you fix that.
Yeah, because Vinny, because we talked to Alan, and Alan wanted to continue the direct psychic connection with Jamie, and then have Jamie be the killer at the end. And I was like, man, come on, man, I love you, man, because you had a lot to do with Spawn, but stop it.
That's the only thing I think we disagreed on.
But goddamn, man, Vinny is a badass dude. He just pops up like a fucking random Lex Luthor and says, I got an idea.
I love that, man. ProtectSafes.com says, I thought Michael was living in a sewer underneath his original house. That would have been way too H8. Remember when he had like
that he was under like a dungeon or some shit. I'm like, what the? And he had like chains and shit, like he was into BDSM.
I would have not wanted that, my friend. Digo says, I wanted to tell Corey, take that damn thing off.
Take that damn thing off. He's probably queer. His probably name's Michelle Mybell.
Michelle. Gary, not going to lie, I digged Allison's cat outfit. Yeah.
Yep. That was nice. That was nice.
Very,
very cute. Yep.
Yeah. Mental Mike. Thanks, buddy. Says 18 showcase Laurie's strengths, kills showcase Michael's. In should have been the epitome of both colliding and killing them both. Just my opinion.
I love it, Mental Mike. Thank you. I think that's what we've been saying here tonight. Kill them both.
Yeah. The only turn I would have on that is that I still did not want ends to be just a typical Laurie versus Michael the whole way through. That would have been a mistake to me too. There should have been more of that, but like to just do that, I'm glad they did.
No, man, I wanted to be like WrestleMania where Ultimate Warrior takes on Hulk Hogan, and it's for the Intercontinental fucking title, and the fucking fucking have a match.
The final part for sure. Yeah, the final part. Yeah, Fizz on the frets. If there was ever a time to announce a Friday the 13th reboot, dude.
That's true. I mean, that I don't know when that's going to happen. Can we?
It would have been.
When's that going to happen, guys?
It would have been so fucking funny, dude, if they announced that the day Halloween Ends came out just to steal some thunder from Michael.
Do you know what's weird for me? I would have. I'd rather see a sequel to the 2009 Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah, than a reboot. I'm 100% in on that, especially in the snow, like the original.
Derek Mears as Jason. Get out of here.
Yeah,
it's great.
I'm down. Anthony Cunningham. Corey Cunningham says, I like the procession scene was good. I think that it would have been better if they both died and Laurie was honored with the procession.
I like that. I mean, you could do something with that.
Yeah, I don't hate the idea of the procession. I just thought that it happened way too thick. Like, hey, Haddonfield, come on down. They were like, okay, we're here. Like, we weren't doing anything.
Yeah, it was very much like, hey, tonight on Sunday we're going to be having like a get together for the church. You all should come down and like do like some candles and shit like that. Yeah, it was kind of stupid. It's kind of weird.
I brought some macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, it's all right, though.
Andrew Graciosa, hey, good to see you, man. Says, wham, overall, I like it, but a part of me still has that I don't know feeling towards it, which is how I felt after the first time I saw it. I totally agree. Yeah.
Andrew, by the way, your profile pics, kind of reminds me of Corey a little bit now. Because, I mean, we put you, you kind of got that vibe to you, but I like it, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, I'm the same way. Like, when I saw it, I was like, I don't know, though.
I feel strange in my butt.
I don't know.
Drew Johnson says, Mike, you're right. Definitely a Donnie Darko vibe. Yeah, man. The more I watch it, the more I feel that. And it makes me kind of just want to rewatch Donnie Darko on top of it. For sure, man. Sean, thanks, buddy. Says, Evan from the awkward handshake at the theater.
Dude, you guys have no idea how bad that was. And it was so embarrassing. I mean, I feel like we made the merchant configuration from the box in Hellraiser. I did this shit.
Gabagoo. I like that. Gabagoo. Yo, Mike and Jay, look at me new pic.
It looks like Jason's got a fucking like a knife dick. I like it. He's holding his dick.
Let's say grace before we murder fucking campers. Oh my God, what are you doing? Sorry, I was looking at something else. Mohammed Shabib says Halloween Ends was a way for Blumhouse to pay tribute to Carpenter's Halloween 3. I agree, even though it's not technically Carpenter's Halloween 3, right? They even had a Dr. Chalice knockoff. How would you guys have included Michael Moore into the movie? Easy. Easy, dude. Just the beginning of the movie. Show Michael killing people in between the two movies and being the town being like, people are still missing. Is it Michael? I don't know, but show us those scenes. You get 2 or 3 new kills. You get a couple chase scenes in there. You get your Michael fix. And I think it's done, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, like not cut away from the fucking death scenes that Michael was involved in. I mean, that would have been quick and easy and not really cost a lot. And I don't know, just make the fucking movie about Michael Myers because it's called Halloween and not Corey having a romantical date with a very likable character in Allison. But nonetheless, putting a little bit more Michael in the mix is always a good thing. It's pretty easy.
Never a bad idea. Freddy! I like that icon pick too. I think that's the dude from King of the Hill. Michael survived the past 4 years on sheer evil and Activia yogurt. Just found you guys love the channel. Welcome to the
Freddy.
fuckery. Welcome to
your face looks exactly like how I felt the first time I saw one of our first videos. It's like it's terrible.
Wyatt, thanks, dude. Says, hey guys, just able to drop in. Just had a granny hit on me at the gym. Fuck yeah, dude. Feeling weird. Anyway, stay great, everyone. Hey, dude, take that as a compliment.
Hey, Wyatt, you got is that James U. Courtney in the picture? That's badass. Yeah,
dude. Hey, people hitting on you is always a good thing. I get dudes that hit on me a lot. And I appreciate it every single fucking time. Gideon 14, thank you, buddy. Says I would seen personally Corey not being dead either. Finally, be Michael versus Lori, and while Allison goes to the house, she came face to face with the real Michael in what would be the final battle. Could have seen that. I would have liked a final battle between Allison and Michael. Like as we said, like I think that would have been a good thing. You know?
Yeah, we've talked about that. I think Allison should have taken over. So.
Yeah, for sure. And it would have been an earned arc, you know. Gary says, I need to see Michelle teaching Corey how to stab.
I think you mean Michael, but Michelle, yes. Once the transfer happened, his name is Michelle now. Michelle Mybell. And he teaches Corey how to stab. Fine.
Corey tried that shit. He was like, teach me, show me.
Yeah,
like,
you might as well have Michelle Michael saying, this is the way.
This is the way. It's 10 says, did you catch the Mulaney officer who might be related to the punk kids and kills, which set up expectations of what to expect and ends? Yes. The Michael Shannon looking character who chases Corey is like, nobody fucks with Doug Mulaney. And that was the ultimate tie-in to the Mulaney's. Again, like it felt like in Kills, that was going to be such an important thing because they're like, nobody fucks with the Mulaney's. And it was just this kind of like tiny, weird tie-in that I'm not sure what the point was, you know?
All I got to say is, Doyle rules. Doyle rules. Doyle rules.
Doshi Gaiman. Thanks, man. Says, big missed opportunity to have Michael and Corey with a scarecrow mask on and double team by killing some people. I mean, you kind of got that in the pool scene.
Doshi, come on, man. I don't want to see that shit. Like, I didn't even like to see that shit when they were separated by plexiglass. And he was like doing the fucking window love.
They touched
that
tip.
shit. Yeah,
they did touch the tip on it though. Oh my god. Yukino XX. What would you think about the Halloween Return script coming to life for a possible next movie? I say yes. I want it.
I'll be interested in anything that they do after Blumhouse, to be honest, because I think it's gonna be 5 years, hard 5 years. Before we see shit, but we'll see. But I mean, if they did that, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, I'd love to see that movie come to fruition, man. D Ghost, thanks, man. Says, I love your all's beautiful faces. I love your fucking butthole.
Thanks, Dick Ghost.
Dick Ghost, old Dick Ghost coming around to sneak up on the dick. Sweet Tea, thank you so much. Says, been a Patreon for a while. Thank you so much. Says, Halloween Ends was not my cup of tea at all. We need Michael more than 8 minutes. Be safe, my friends. Definitely more Michael would have been a good thing.
100%. I think that, again, it goes back to that's why people are mad. You didn't get enough Michael.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with adding more Michael to a fucking Halloween movie, man. Thank you so much for that.
By the way, her profile pic looked like she's like that girl that would be like, we need more Michael.
She just seemed like a nice person, didn't she?
No, she looks like a nice person. She's like, we need more Michael, though. Stop being an asshole.
I get the vibe.
It's like, fuck you.
D-Bitch said, grateful Halloween isn't stuck in Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street hell. Well fucking said, man. Well said. We should all be thankful for that. No matter how angry you are about it ends, be thankful for we're not fucking there because that would be a dark place to be.
Yeah.
Child of the corn, not children, just one.
It's just one child that survived the corn stalks.
Child.
Yeah.
Yo, fellas, I think I would have enjoyed Ends more if Michael turned out to be a robot and was controlled by Silver Shamrock. Corey being Cochran's grandson.
That'd been terrible, dude. Get out of your face.
They hint. I think a lot of people.
That's fucking terrible, dude. That's worse than like. Listen, we all can disagree on how the movie ended. If they done shit like that, suck a cock from jail. Fuck that shit.
I wouldn't have wanted it, but I'm telling you, there was a small inkling in my butt potato that's where we were headed. Like it kind of seemed like they were going to do.
If they did some shit like that, I'm like, you all fucking crazy. You fucking bumped too many lines in the bathroom.
Solo pilot, thanks, dude. Appreciate that. Says, hey, whammers, Corjai here. Hey, fucking Corjai.
Hey, Corjai.
Long time Patreon member says, Ends to me was mixed, but mostly entertaining. I could agree with that for sure. If they were to do Freddy prequel miniseries / movie, who would you cast as a somewhat young looking Freddy? Because I want to see a new Freddy movie. This is going to sound generic, dude, but I would really go with a newcomer. I would go with an unknown. If you're going to do a young Freddy, I think Robert Englund was an unknown. I think that's the route. For me.
And like I think we've talked about this before. Like an unknown Freddy. It's a really hard question, man, because I've seen people before. I've seen like other actors, and I don't know their name. I'm like, damn, that guy's got like this weird, creepy quality to him. I don't know his name, and I'm ashamed of myself because I should know this. But in Game of Thrones, there was an asshole in the 4th season. I don't know.
Joffrey?
No, not Joffrey. No, not Joffrey. No, it was the guy. What the fuck? He was the one that he gets eaten by the dogs. He rapes Sansa, not Sansa, maybe Sansa. I don't know. But he's this piece of shit. Like, and he was so diabolical. He was so villainous. And like, where he didn't care about the tortures that he puts on his own people or the people. I feel like that guy would be a really good, honest to God. And I'm not saying he's unknown because he is known, but that dude from Game of Thrones, I don't know his name, and I'm sorry, I should know his name, but that dude was awesome.
I remember the scene. I don't remember the actor either.
It was there. Jon Snow and him fought the Battle of the Bastards on Game of Thrones. What the fuck was his name? Holy shit! How do I not know this? But yeah, that dude, the dude that led that charge, would be an awesome one.
I just want to see a fucking Freddy movie, dude. I'd be okay with almost anything they put out at this point. Robin Barker, and thank you, Corjai. Robin Barker says they came out of the gate with Halloween 2018 and it was one of the best installments, but kills and ends were underwhelming and riddled with issues. 2018 should have been a one-off. I understand what you're saying. It's just like, but Halloween 2018 was just kind of it was like a Force Awakens. Like you can't really leave it at that moment because then where do you go? Like, I get the idea of them, even if you don't like kills or ends, like they had to do something with it. They couldn't just let it be at that point, you know? It's for me.
I don't know, man. Well, if I had known they were going to do this bullshit, I'd say leave it as a one-off. Fuck you. Like,
I mean, are you?
I don't know.
I'm still happy that kills and ends exist. I get.
I think he meant like make it a one-off movie and then do your own like other movies.
Yeah, maybe if you went somewhere else with it, but I'm happy as shit that kills and ends exist. I enjoy watching both.
To be honest with you, with Halloween 2018, you could have ended that movie the way that it was, because it was self-contained. Mm-hmm. It was self-contained,
and they went back and did all the shit.
Yeah.
Brianna Middendorf, that's a long name, but it's a beautiful one. I won't lie, I sobbed when Michael died. There's a couple people who have said that tonight.
I know, for real.
Everyone in the theater was staring at me. Do you think Michael will be back? God, I hope so. Absolutely.
Yeah, he'll be back.
I promise you, Michael's coming back.
Like,
this
listen,
was not the end, Brianna.
Yeah, you guys got to understand. Like, Akkad's in control. This was the trilogy that ended the way that it ended. That was their trilogy ending. Blumhouse's ending. This is not, for any stretch of the imagination, the ending of Michael Myers. Michael Myers will be back because Akkad said, you cannot kill fucking Michael Myers no matter what. And I agree with you, though. Every time Michael Myers gets beat down, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I get mad, too.
It does hurt deep down. Austin says Halloween animated series where we can tell all kinds of alternate stories and maybe even comic book storylines. Also animated Loomis, voiced by Jay. The second part of that I agree with. The animated part, I say with today's TV, I say fuck animated. Just do it with actual actors. You know what I mean? We put out content on Netflix like it's nothing. Might as well just do it full on out, not do animated. But I would love to see Jay voice Loomis.
No, I mean, yeah, if Loomis was in it, like Shaggy from Scooby Doo, it's like I don't know what's going on here, but I know one thing: you guys should have listened to me. It depends on the rating. And if it was like HBO Max, like you should have fucking listened to me.
I'm all in on that. Steve Salmon says the worst thing they did in this trilogy was show Michael with his mask off. We couldn't agree more.
I hate that. I hate that. Yeah. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. No way. No way. No how.
Stop doing it. Yukino says if the trilogy was reversed, I feel it works more. Myers escaped weak. Laurie got over it. Corey shows up then and kills. He gained his power back from killing. Then 2018 with Laurie traumatized. A lot going on there, for sure. But I think this whole thing, if you went back and you did it all again, and if they really knew what Ends was going to be when they did 2018 Kills would have been better, and then Ends would have also been better because they could have made it take its time and flow a little better. You know,
I don't know what you're saying there. I mean, I kind of get it, but at the same time, like that's convoluted as fuck. There's a lot of what ifs in there, and I don't know how to go with you here.
Yeah, it's a convoluted fucking. The whole thing they've done's been convoluted, kind of. Texas Tootin strikes again. He says, "I can't imagine how stinky Michael was. Them overalls seen better days, and they sure seen a lot. If we get a random Brokeback Mountain scene in the Blu-ray, I would be kindly tooting about it."
Now, let me tell you something, Texas Tootin', and I told you before, go to your church and get forgiven for your sins, because now you're talking about butt fucking. You're talking about butt fucking between men. How nasty and dirty can you get? You know that's the devil's bread and butter, spreading that butt fucking all around Texas, and your name's Texas Tootin', you nasty asshole. And you talk about how stinky Michael was. Was you imagining that? Goddamn, go raise your children and shit. Don't be worried about how a man's butthole smells.
Oh, fuck me. J-Man 3081 says, I'm down for original story. Only keep Michael as a villain. No Laurie, no Judith, nothing we've ever seen. Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
I think that's perfect.
Michael back and do a whole new franchise around him.
Yeah, and we talked about that. We said reboot the fucking franchise. Take Laurie out of it. Take the whole fucking connection out of it. Do your own thing. Boom.
1,000% in, man. Anthony T says, I went home and drop kicked my Michael Fun Pop.
You didn't like it, I assume.
He said, fuck you. That's what I did about all my Brett Favre shit a couple weeks ago. I said, fuck this shit.
Man, I didn't do it to my Michael Funk Pop, but I slapped the shit out of my wife in the car. I mean, no, I didn't. No, I didn't do that. No, I didn't do that. No, I didn't do that.
Sean, tell me what you said. That was, goddamn, why'd they do that to Michael?
It's like, you know, when you were a kid, you were playing like Mario, your brother comes in, he's like, let me have second remote. Shut the fuck up. No,
Sean Tubby said that one scene in the sewer, Michael's like Corey's murdering Mr. Miyagi. I felt like they wasted Corey with that stab.
That
Van Halen, who else?
No, bro, I feel you. Yeah, he was like the stinky ass Miyagi that came back from the dead to give Danielson one more shitty lesson.
The Violator 862, thanks, man, says, would you watch a Season of the Witch prequel series movie? It would take place in Cochrane's old Celtic lands.
I wouldn't watch that.
I'd watch the shit out of it. I'd watch it with my fucking eyes wide open, like Alanis Morissette. I don't know what that means, but is that where I want this to go? No. If you do a Halloween movie, fucking put Michael in it or shut the fuck up. And that's how I feel.
Listen, Season of the Witch was good. Tom Atkins, like, he was great, but it was a one-off. I don't want to see that shit again. I don't want to see that expanded on. It's fine. It's a one-off movie. We'll leave it alone.
Exactly. Pumpkinhead, my friend, says Halloween ends, movie rolls credits. I stayed till the ending waiting for some cliffhanger or some hope. Everyone leaves. A worker comes in 10 minutes later. Sir, the movie ended.
The Pumpkinhead was in shock. He was like, is that it? He's like, where's the goddamn bonus ending? He was like,
oh no.
That motherfucker was like holding on like MCU, like bonus ending was gonna happen.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Man, I feel you on all levels, Pumpkinhead.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate that, man. Them dogs, though, says man got his arse whooped last movie. Now this.
I asked, yeah. Well, at least in the last movie, he got his revenge, though.
Yeah, he did. And he fucked up some people along. Maybe not, definitely not enough people along the way in this one.
Yeah.
Marcus E, after ends, just make Halloween 9 because this sucks. I don't think this sucked, but I think it would be ballsy as fuck. I would love it if they came out and said, guess what's next? Michael wakes up in that morgue in Halloween 9 and we go back to canon.
And I'm fine with either one. I'm fine with the idea of doing that or doing a reboot at this point. Either one.
That'd be fun, man. Riptide 92 comes back with the bowl cut and says, I don't understand why everyone thinks this is the end of the franchise. Can't wait to see what they do next. Love you guys. Love you too, man. Totally agree. This ain't the end. This ain't even the fucking start of the end.
Yeah, it is weird that people are thinking like literally this is the end of Michael Myers. Like, it's kind of funny when people say that. It's like, that Michael Myers has existed in several storylines multiple times. This is like saying that Chris Nolan's end of the Batman trilogy was the end of Batman.
Yeah.
And then they come out with Ben Affleck, but
not happening, man. Not at all. Elite JC TV says, Jay, can we get a Loomis Reviews Halloween Ends? I'm gonna grab a drink from the fridge over here.
Yeah. Michael died and the shit's over. People hate it and they see what piece of trash Michael is. I love it. That's what my goddamn review is. He gets chopped up in a metal grinder in a junkyard. And his filth, smelling like skunk and vomit, gets pushed out onto the earth and buried. No more Michael Myers movies. I like it.
Raving refusals. Atlas, thank you, says Michael standing like an NPC, non-playable character before Corey took the mask made me laugh a bit the second time I watched it.
That was
he was waiting. He was just like,
Yeah, that was such a stupid scene when he was like, the motherfucker looked like a dad waiting up for his son to come home. Like he was like, it's 2:00 in the morning, son. And I've been staying up all night. Where have you been? And he's like running in like mad because his girlfriend like probably pumped him up in the car. I'm like, I'm going to leave here. Give me the car keys, Dad. And then they fight and shit. It was weird though. Michael Myers looked like a character select on a Mortal Kombat menu. When he was like, Michael Myers. I don't know.
Shit. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
My camera. I'm on my third battery, and the camera's not. It's not registering.
Well, you're a piece of shit, Mike. You should have prepared.
Bitch,
you're terrible.
Got 2 fucking batteries.
Go to Walmart to get another one.
I can't work, bitch. I'm all broken up.
You asshole! I can't believe it.
Don't think I'm not making a mental note of all your shit.
Somebody married you, you piece of fucking trash.
You go ahead and keep going. I gotta exit and come back in. I'll be right back.
Oh shit, he did that. Fuck, dude. All right. Well, I wasn't expecting to talk on my own. Are you guys hearing me? Did he end the whole fucking thing? I don't even know where the fuck we are. So Atlas was the last. Holy shit, fucks. Okay, so anyway, I mean, I don't know what's going on because I have no idea who super chatted at last. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. I really don't know because I'm so caught up in the moment. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. I think it was Atlas, but I could be wrong there. Let me look here real quick. Don't say portrait. It's fine. There's a lot of you. By the way, you guys are amazing. There's so many of you cool peeps out here, and there's like a fuck ton of you. There's like, oh my god, you guys. Oh wait a minute. I think is that. Oh. We might be. Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. Miriam Vanessa, thank you so much. Says I gotta check. Hold on, my screen is fucked up. Like if I move the screen wrong, it gets all fuzzy. Like I'm going into the further. I know you guys can't see that, but I can see that. Like if I move the screen just a little bit, because my screen's fucked up, like it gets all blurry and shit, like I'm going into the further. Anyway, Miriam Vanessa, thank you so much, says, guys, don't know if you mentioned the 7 pumpkins. I think it's for all 7 of Curtis's movies. To add this movie had me, you want to get nuts? Not the best, deaf watchable, or at least background noise. Miriam, I think you've really hit the nail on the head there with your analogy and what you've said to end the chat with you. Definitely. Background noise, 100%. Listen, if there was still a blockbuster, Halloween Ends would be on the screen, right? It would be on the screen. If you were trying to rent a movie, you'd be like, oh shit, it's Halloween Ends. I mean, it's pretty, I mean, yeah, that's happening. Okay, well, I'm going to rent Best of the Best. But it would still be there, and it's definitely watchable. I mean, it's not like a terrible movie by any stretch of the imagination. The 7 Pumpkins, I didn't think about the significance, but it is there, I assume. And because you were so kind enough to notice and talk about that, it is probably true. Gary, goddamn Gary. Imagine him rapidly stabbing the air like in your Michael workout video to teach Corey. Like, you mean when like Corey steals his mask and he's like just doing this shit? I would actually, that would make more sense than the bullshit where Corey beats him down. If Michael was at least fighting back, even on his back, like a tortoise that's turned over, and he's trying to, you know, get himself back up, I would have at least done that where he, instead of him just giving up. I would have done that. BC Firebat says, Halloween Kills is the Michael I wanted, period, for me, with a number 4. Yes, I indeed agree with that. Halloween Kills. Just do it. Yeah, Halloween Kills is that is a very sexy Michael, and I do appreciate it a lot. I mean, I don't know when Mike's coming back. I have no idea what the fuck is going on, but I'm gonna go with this journey with you, okay? Grumpy Old Nord says there will be a new timeline come 2028. What do y'all want to see? For me, in 2028, ooh, dude, I don't know. Well, I've said this before. I think I want to see. I feel like a reboot would be in order at this point. I would be fine with that as long, you know. I feel like you have to do something different now. I feel like you have to remove the Laurie Strode thing. You have to remove the relationship thing or the connection via family, and just do your own movie and get the guy that played Michael in the flashback scenes. Get Chris Nelson to do the original mask. I mean, I think you got to do a reboot, but it would be cool to do a Halloween 9. But
hey, can you hear?
I can hear you. Yeah,
you just can't see me. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my camera. I can't get it to fucking connect. I cannot get it to turn on.
Your face fucking broke the camera.
Yeah,
Carrie,
I'm too ugly.
Thank you. I think we're almost getting there. Chef Boy or
what?
Bay?
What timeline are you?
11:38.
Okay.
Did you notice the faces carved into the cave? What do you think that was about? Do you think the cave had something supernatural about it? I mean, when you say cave, I say sewer. And when you say sewer, you might say cave. I don't fucking know. I missed that part. I didn't see a face. So I missed it.
It's definitely not explained. I think it's just a nod to H3. That's the only thing I can think. Unless in one of the previous scripts they actually explained that, but they totally left that shit hanging in this one. But yeah, his face is definitely etched into that fucking stone. I think it's just an H3 nod, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
We're on Sebastian now.
Halloween Ends was better than Spider-Man movie than Homecoming. I'm okay with that. You're dumb, Sebastian.
I'd probably rank it over Homecoming, to be honest.
Nah, I don't know about that. But
that's just how I feel.
More power, bro. You got them huge nuts you walk around with.
Netflix and Chill said Michael can't be limited to one physical body. Pure evil is more powerful than that. So someone could, in theory, continue the timeline story to try and salvage this storyline, Jace.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. I guess, man. But you know, when you're gonna change the whole lore of an established character, the iconic character that Michael is, you got to drop the hints early. You can't just fucking spring that on people.
Yeah, like I think they did a good a job as I could ever imagine someone transferring the power of Michael to somebody. I would always say no to that. But in this, again, with what Corey was doing, I didn't hate it. Violator 862 said, I would honestly like to see a reboot series where Michael goes to different small towns throughout Illinois, or even to expand to other states. I don't see any reason to actually have to stay in Haddonfield if they don't need to. Like, at this point, just give us the Halloween atmosphere, you know?
For sure.
I'm into that. Jason Bacon says, I grew up in Savannah, Georgia, where they filmed Ends. I kept playing I Know That spot during the movie, especially Allison's doctor's boss's house with the 70s looking vibe. Dude, how cool would it be if they filmed
Jason, you were just trying to show off. Come on. Like, I've been there. I know what that's all about.
That'd be a cool feeling, though, man. If they filmed one of these movies where we lived, be like, oh, shit, that's where I used to smoke dope.
If they filmed a movie like this in our hometowns, you'd be like, man, I remember going to Walmart at 2:00 in the morning.
It's good times. I feel like the dark ghost of the night, by the way, like nobody could see me, but you could just hear me. Enrique Cine.
It's more annoying than you think.
Oh, I'm so sorry for you. Hello, Mike.
I know you
guys are awesome. Since Ends was downs, all Halloween fans should vote so Jay Blum can rewrite the script again and make Ends better. I mean, that's not,
Oh, you're saying Jason Blum is like, I didn't write the fucking first two. Like, I can't do it. I can't do any better.
Yeah, I ain't rate shit but my checks. Gary said, love to see Loomis on holiday because Michael's dead.
It was a good goddamn time. I know it's not real.
Just living
that cocksucker's still alive, spreading his filth.
Just living it the fuck up. Popeye Jingle said, loved when Lori and Corey argued in the abandoned house, and then Lori walked away in the middle of Corey's monologue to take a fat dump.
That's true. That happened.
I still maintain, Popeye, that scene didn't even happen. That was all in his fucking head. Like, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's possible. But last super chat of the night, Michael Parton said, in the reboot, it would be better without Loomis, like Michael had already killed him. Tough.
I guess so.
Tough.
But what I would say to you, Michael, is are you bipartisan? You don't like Loomis because he tells you the truth. You don't like that shit? Get over yourself.
ProtectSaves.com says it wasn't even Halloween based. Nothing suggested it's Halloween. You know what time it is. I mean, they still have the atmosphere. There was kids trick or treating and shit. You know what I mean? They did have that stuff going on. But
yeah, hey man, listen, we're 10 minutes off 4 fucking hours, dude. You guys have been awesome as fuck this entire night. You guys have been so interactive. We've had so many people here. It's been insane, dude. It's been insane. Like, this is one of the biggest streams we've ever done, and I was honored to be a part of it. And thank you guys for showing up in force. It was awesome, dude. It was so cool. So thank you guys. And we could literally talk about this movie for another 4 hours because we're going on 4 hours right fucking now.
Yep. My camera literally quit before we did.
Like, our batteries are running out in real life and in the digital life.
I'm just a piece of I'm now Michael Myers from Beyond the Grave.
Yeah. Motherfucker like goddamn HAL 9000 from Space Odyssey.
Honest to God, though, man, like, it's fucking crazy, dude. And just there's a couple more coming in that we'll grab real quick, but just a real quick. This is fucking nuts, man. Like, the support shown tonight is fucking insane. Almost 4 hours deep. Loved every second of it. Loved every single one of you guys. Fucking thank you guys so much for fucking showing up tonight and hanging with us. This is awesome as shit. And really goddamn, cool, we're lucky to fucking be doing this. Wrapping it up, Atomic number 9. Why was Hawkins buying meat for a family of 10? Isn't he an old bag that lives alone? Yeah, but old men like meat.
Yeah, because that motherfucker was like Sam from Brady Bunch. He was hoping Alice would come in so he could show him her meat or his meat.
I think he was biting for like a firehouse or something.
I don't
But
think
still,
so.
yeah, like men like meat, and that's okay. Dustin Flan said Michael Myers across the country create boogeyman legend. Yeah,
We talked about that before. That'd be an interesting movie, I guess. Yeah.
world travelers, man, get inside you, guys. Good fucking night. We love you so fucking much. Thank you for hanging with us 4 fucking hours deep. Woo!
Hey, thanks, guys. We gotta go because I'm really drunk.
I'm gonna come.
I'm really fucking drunk. I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna say something stupid.
Good night, guys. Thank you all
See
so
you guys.
much. We love you so fucking much. Good night.
Bye, guys.